Well, hello and a very good evening to all. And it is a good evening if you are a Rahul Tripathi fan, which I am and I have been for a very long time. Hardik, what do you make of his
I'm really
selection?
happy for him though. Like I think Maharashtra, like they play most of their matches in Pune. I think
Yeah.
must be one of his local grounds as well.
I
So
mean, same is the case with Rahul Tripathi.
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's really happy for him. Like I mean, if there was one player who actually deserved it,
Oh,
was
I meant same is the case with Ruturaj Gaikwad.
oh yeah, same.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
shit, same team.
yeah, but still.
Yeah, so yeah, like I mean, he has been doing well for the last two seasons in the IPL as well, averaging over 30 and striking at close to 150.
Hmm.
Plus, he's a good player of spin as you keep talking about, and the next World Cup is in West Indies. So I hope he does well because I'm not really sure he's going to get a lot of chances because Samson is going to be back.
Yeah.
And you have more guys coming back as well. So I mean, I'm just happy that he has finally made his debut today.
And you made a discovery today which actually made you like Rahul Tripathi more. The fact that he was born in Ranchi.
Yes.
So Hardik here has a special affinity for players
Jharkhand, yeah.
players born or play for Jharkhand.
It's again. So Hardik Pandya is once again starting.
What about swapping Arshdeep and dropping Harshal?
I think that was always gone. I mean, I think if Mavi wouldn't have done so well, I think they might would have stuck with Harshal because of the batting that he brings. But again, if you have someone who has taken 4 wickets, it's really like you can't really drop him unless you're Karun Nair or someone. So it's I mean it's okay. Like anyway, Harshal hasn't really done well.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Chahal got a go. We have one more man.
Here's the man who got his wisdom tooth removed.
There's too much brightness.
Great to see Hardik Pandya there and Hardik Pandya here as well.
Hopefully you are pain free, my man.
Yeah, more of wisdom or less of wisdom, I don't know. Let's see.
Less of teeth, more of wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, Somesh, did you read the piece Hardik wrote on Harshal Patel?
Yeah, time
I think
to
that
move
should
on.
explain. Yeah, exactly. That should explain. I mean, do you want to explain more about it, Hardik?
Yeah, maybe Hardik can talk about a few poignant stats about both Harshal and Chahal.
I think with Harshal, we saw him in the first 12 innings. If you just compare his IPL numbers, I mean, they're insane in the last 2 seasons. I mean, even the last season, he wasn't as great as what he did in the 2021, but his numbers were pretty decent. He had like close to 50 wickets in 30 innings. But then over here, in the first 12 innings in his T20I career, he was still decent. He was taking wickets. The problem was he's still conceding at 8 runs per over, but that economy has now almost gone above 10 in the last 12 innings. And he's not picking, I think he's taken like less wickets than the number of matches, like in the last 12 matches. I think he has 10 or 11 wickets. Plus, he wasn't really bringing a lot with his bat as well. And at the death, his economy was. And one more which Anirudh gave me a stats was like at his off cutters, earlier this economy while bowling those off cutters are now it's like gone up to 11. And that's mostly because like in his first 12 innings, most of his off cutters were bowled at length. But now they started bowling it short, so batsmen get more time. There's no point bowling off cutters if you're bowling short. You seen like Shanaka, I think hit a six over.
So actually, I was about to mention that his numbers against Shanaka are particularly bad. The only reason is Shanaka is extremely strong in that leg side area, and Harshal just keeps feeding him there.
When you can't bowl slower, I mean, at his pace, you're bowling cutters. Batsman has more time to adjust rather than just.
Akash, your thoughts on India's lineup today in terms of? I feel they are a batter short, but I think with a team like Sri Lanka, maybe they think that. I mean, I know I say a team like Sri Lanka who happen to be Asia Cup champions, but maybe
you also like if we are a batter short, don't you think like playing Sundar ahead of Chahal would have made more sense?
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to get back Chahal into form. I don't know how that will happen, but they're trying to do that. They're trying to give him some confidence heading into the IPL. They think that at least once he goes into the IPL and he comes back, maybe they'll get somebody who knows the Indian conditions, who knows how to bowl on flat wickets, 10 overs, and that's experience and all of that. But it's probably more of that, and they should ideally play Washington Sundar, given that he needs to be groomed before Chahal because he's more vital to the Indian setup. We never know about Jadeja's I mean, at the moment, we don't know how Jadeja is going to fare at the World Cup. Is he going to be fit or not? We don't know about his injury concerns. So they have to groom
You're talking
Washi and
about
they have to
the
play him
50
enough
over
at
World Cup?
least.
You're talking about the 50 over World Cup or the 2024 World Cup?
No, I'm talking about the 50 over World Cup. Game time is game time, right? If you don't play
Yeah,
Sundar now,
yeah,
I mean, invariably he's going to break down after the IPL or something, and then he'll not get enough game time. So
yeah.
that's
Actually, yeah, this is a discussion we had in the last game as well. That given the 50 over World Cup is going to be in India, there will be a lot of venues where India can actually play three spinners, or even if they play two finger spinners who provide them a lot of control.
Yeah.
They can actually do it. They don't really need a wrist spinner in every game
So,
because wickets are going to
true.
assist them.
I had the same theory for the World Cup in West Indies as well, because I don't really think you need a wrist spinner in West Indies unless you have someone like, say, Zampa or Adil Rashid, who you know they're going to do well. I mean, so I think that even someone like Akil Hussain is almost unplayable in West Indies. Like, you can't hit him. So guys like Akshar Patel, Sundar, Jadeja, everyone will become a different bowler in those conditions.
Mm,
Oh, the Arshdeep.
yeah.
that's a good shot.
Another interesting
Maybe.
aspect with Washington is that he can take the new ball as well. So that's something that's
Mm,
not talked about a lot, but he solves another issue as well.
yeah,
I think apart from Jadeja, everyone can bowl with the new ball.
yeah.
I mean, the finger spinners, the Indian finger spinners. I think it was again going for that glory ball that got Babar Azam out in the
So,
World Cup.
पर भाई ये कुशल मेंडिस है भाई. बाबर आजम नहीं है. Oh, पातुम निशंका
Oh,
है.
this is Nisanka.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not any other flat track bully.
Yeah, he's not doing it on the flat tracks of
So,
Pakistan.
Akash, did you hear what Simon Dool had to say earlier in the test?
Simon Dole.
Yeah,
No.
a comment on the wickets that are prepared in Pakistan.
Oh, he
He
said good
went on to
batting
a-
tracks.
he went on to ask on air who's deciding these tracks. Is it Babar? He wants to improve his stats.
I remember this similar kind of conversation when Pakistan welcomed Australia, and somebody was on air and they said that it's a flat track, and then they had to say, "Oh no, it's a great batting wicket," and they had to change it that time.
Yeah.
So it's
Mm.
pretty much that.
Talking about the new ball, I am quite liking this Hardik Pandya taking the new ball. The reason for that is because if you look at the broader scheme of things, India will need more whenever Bumrah is back. India will need more of Bumrah towards the back end.
Yeah.
So this gives them that liberty. Second, I think if Hardik Pandya can actually become a power play bowler, this opens the door for Umran Malik as well, because we've seen how good he is in the middle overs as an enforcer, as a wicket taker.
Yeah, perfect. Like, I mean, if you see any like good captains, guys like Owen Morgan and MS, they always talk about like having as many options as possible in the second half of the innings. So with Hardik bowling, giving you 3 overs in the power play, and in West Indies, you'll have guys like I'm sure you'll get few overs from Akshar, Sundar as well. So then you can have guys like Bumrah, Arshdeep, Umran, everyone for the like second half of your innings, like once the power play is over, which gives you more control rather than.
So I would always have Bumrah ball one in the power play, one somewhere in the middle, and then maybe 17th and the 19th.
But do you think like in T20s, India can afford to play these three fast bowlers in the playing 11? And someone like Bishnoi who can't bat?
I mean, not all three. I mean, ultimately,
unless your spinners can bat.
So yeah, this is where probably I mean, let's forget about the top six for a moment. Top six will include Hardik Pandya.
Yeah.
Then seventh is gonna be your Akshar or Jadeja. Let's assume eighth is your Washington Sundar, and then India can play these three fast bowlers.
Yeah, I mean, this is what he was asking as well. Like once Bumrah comes back, which fast bowler sits out?
Yeah, and based on conditions, maybe they can alter between Umran and Bishnoi. If they're playing on turning conditions, then maybe Bishnoi, and then there are three spinners and three pacers. And if they are playing on pacier tracks, then maybe they can play Umran and not play Bishnoi at all. Or no.
I still feel like India can survive without Bishnoi in West Indies.
Yeah, definitely. Two spinners and a lot of. I mean, see, the point is we're talking about bowlers like Bumrah and Arshdeep, who we at this moment we feel that will be good anywhere.
Yeah. Also, like,
but the other aspect is Hardik, you're forgetting that X factor comes in play, right? India have to groom some kind of X factor. It's not like, I mean, like what happened with Arun Chakrathi. They just took him directly to the World Cup, didn't perform, dropped out of nowhere. So it
Of
should
course,
not
like
become
in
like that. It should
Indian
at least they
conditions, you
should
will
try
have to play
grooming.
someone like Vishnu. Yeah.
Yeah, the only chink in Arshdeep's armor is him bowling a lot of no balls.
He's replaced Bumrah, so
Oh,
oh
ball.
God.
Wow, cheap
But
shot.
four, unfortunately.
But again, I mean, we talk about batting depth a lot, but if India's approach is going to be in a certain fashion, do you think that batting depth really matters? I mean, it's the same with CSK, right? They had so many batters, but they didn't. I mean, in 2020, they didn't approach it that way, and then they ended up just wasting three batters. So, is it
That's
more of
why
a case of change in
But I
approach,
guess,
or
see, but I guess India would change their approach, right? Everyone has admitted that their approach during the World Cup was flawed. So I don't. I mean, we saw them scoring as many runs in the first 2 overs as they scored in probably 5 overs during the World Cup. So the approach is clearly different.
but the
but
approach
it
is different even last year, bilaterals.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
हाँ वो तो फिर वो तो time आने
yeah, but
पे पता
eventually
चलेगा
I
कि
think you'll need all rounders to like sustain that approach. Kyuki, sure, I like shit ball, but
free hits taken to the cleaners.
oh, the last one was also a no ball.
Yeah, 2 no balls in a
Yeah,
row.
two no balls in a row.
Oh, not a great comeback.
Oh,
Oh
three
shit,
no
three in
balls
a
in a
row.
row. पिच से डाल दे भाई कुछ नहीं हो रहा.
I still don't feel like मैंने काफी ऐसे मैचेस में देखा है like all of a sudden there will be someone who will ball like 2-3 no balls in an over. Why can't you just stop, like check your run up once again and like क्योंकि अभी भी he's just coming and bowling with the same run up in the sense like कि वो जहाँ पे marking है.
Yeah. I mean, there are a few bowlers. I mean, like Rabada and Stokes, who come to my mind, who actually bowl a lot of no balls. Maybe
But
it's a
Hardik,
good time to
is it more
bring
because they are
Anirudh
like,
and
let's just finish it and let's go, kind of last ball?
yeah. Maybe it's a good time to just check with Anirudh. I mean, last year was Arshdeep one of the highest no ball bowlers in T20Is. It's gone, but it won't matter.
Too easy for him. And I think, do you see Ishan Kishan being India's wicket keeper
in tests?
No, at least here in the T20s.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? I mean, obviously that we won't know anything about Pant for a while now.
And also, I feel is like Ishan Kishan is someone who's like personally very close to Hardik, so I think he'd want some type of players. I mean, even in the previous match we saw during the last over, he was the one setting the field and discussing with Hardik and the bowler.
Yeah, actually, it was him, Surya, and
so I think
Kishan.
Every captain generally needs someone like who's he close with, and I mean, it's with his personal space.
The only thing is, I mean, Ishan has to bat in the top three. I mean, you can't go below that. That's the only thing.
I mean, I was not surprised, but then I thought that teams are pretty clear. The team is pretty clear because they handed gloves to Kishan in the last game and not Samson.
Yeah.
And now I wish had they given the gloves to Samson, probably he would have been fit to play this game as well. But I mean, I'm happy that they replaced him with another favorite of mine. So as long as
we haven't
Rahul
spoken about Jitesh Sharma as well.
Yeah, I mean,
in the squad. I mean, I mean, Akash was really happy about it. I mean, it makes sense as well, rather than going for some random guy.
So his first ever retweet on Twitter was a cricket.com post. So yeah, he's
good luck.
He's close to our heart.
I really thought they'd go to somebody like Jagdish and they'll be like, let's go and pick a guy who's in form. But they didn't do that.
And Jitesh is also is in excellent touch. Like he had a very good Syed Mushtaq Ali trophy. He scored somewhere around 250 runs at a strike rate of somewhere around 169 or 171.
190, I think. 180 or 190, something like that this year.
180, somewhere
it was
around
above 170, yeah.
It was above 170, that is for sure. So, Somesh, to the question which you asked last year amongst the top 10 team bowlers, Arshdeep had the most number of no balls, which is 9. And the next was Akil Hussain, who had 4. So
9 and 4.
Yeah, 9 and 4.
Guys, this is not a setup. We did not plan this.
Yeah. Of course, we can't plan like 3 no balls.
And neither did Ashdeep. I mean, I must
unless.
add. Yeah, so I mean,
Throughout his career, like he has bowled what, 12 no balls, so 9 and today 3, 12.
Three
In
today. Yeah.
22 innings, 12 no balls is way too much. That's
Yeah.
way
He
too much.
started bowling a lot of no balls like in the last few matches compared to how he started. In the meanwhile, like
So,
Sri Lanka,
12 no balls in 22 games, Babu Rao. I love your name, by the way.
Thoughts on
what do you think
Hardik's?
of Hardik as a captain? Like, is he someone you feel like जिसको हर चीज करनी है?
100%. I mean, we were discussing this last time कि अगला मोहम्मद हफीज ना बन जाए ये कि मैं सब कुछ करूंगा, मैं सब करेगा मैं.
But अब तक I think it's decent. Like अगर start करके bowling में दे
Yeah.
रहा है.
I just hope batting wise he doesn't get the Dhoni syndrome,
Yeah.
because once Dhoni became the captain, that aggressiveness in his batting style
Short.
just evaporated. And I think even, and this is a discussion we had, and Jamie Alter was very, very passionate about this, that even now when India are trying to experiment with other finishers, Hardik Pandya remains India's best bet, because at least he's done that for a while. But yeah, he's sort of tailored himself to anchorish role now, but I don't like that. I mean, I want him to play more freely.
Yeah, I'd want him at like number 5 and 6. He's much more ideal. Even in West Indies, I think where you don't, we want. I mean, where you won't really have fast bowlers bowling back off a length to him.
And his 6 hitting game against spin is top.
Yeah, I think in the middle overs, I think he has struggled to score. I mean, maybe it's because he's not wanting to take that amount of rest.
But
I'm
now
pretty
with,
sure.
I mean, Surya, Rahul Tripathi, India have like too much options against spin. It's like everybody can bat well against spin, so you don't have any issues against spin.
Even Kedar Jadhav is coming back to form.
Yeah, missed out on a triple century.
Nearly scored a triple hundred. Nearly.
Yeah. Scored more runs than Sarfaraz Khan as well.
Subodh Chauhan, Gurkirat Singh Gill is having dinner. It's his birthday tomorrow, so he's partying a little early.
Yeah, can't blame him. Rather than watching India Sri Lanka.
Yeah. I really want Sri Lanka to score 180 plus, so that this game is interesting.
I think they will end up scoring, but was it surprising for you guys that Hardik developed this new in swinger, came out of, because I never expected him to get so much swing as he did in the last game.
Yes, I mean I heard him speaking about working on his swing bowling or something
after the last game. So actually, I think more than working on the swing, I think what he would have done is probably altered his length. To enable the ball to swing, because he was predominantly a back of a length bowler, but obviously to make the ball swing, he'll have to pitch it further up.
But even now, I mean, I don't think he's bowling a lot full. He's just hitting that length.
Yeah, I mean,
slightly more
from back of a length, he's moved to good length. Yeah. See, I mean, we've never seen Hardik bowl this full.
Yeah. We have the last match hero.
Hardik, have you ever seen somebody with such a bowling, run up as Shivam Mavi?
No, even while delivering, he looks somewhere in the sky.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen that? Where he's going to bowl? But it doesn't matter if he's taking 4 wickets, then who cares?
So even James Anderson is not actually looking at the batter when he's delivering. His head falls.
Yeah, but it doesn't go up. I've never seen anybody.
देखो देख नहीं रहे हो, चाहे ऊपर देखो या नीचे देखो, जहाँ देखना है वहाँ तो नहीं देख रहे हो.
There have been a lot of ages though.
Movie.
Oh, shot.
Full ball punished. Good start.
Speed is like close to 140 now. First match it was.
But it was 140 during the Under-19 World Cup as well, no?
It was touching 150 according to the speedometer. Both him and Nagarkoti.
Hogger bloggers asked, can this Indian batting lineup chase 200?
Another no ball.
I doubt. I think they can chase 200, but they'd need a significant contribution from Surya Kumar Yadav. I feel they are a better
finisher. Or Hardik the finisher. Yeah. If he doesn't promote himself.
because Gill is an anchor. Tripathi is playing his first game.
Can't really.
Hardik is another anchorish batter. Deepak Hooda, I mean, he still has miles to go. And Akshar Patel, I mean, you can't ask a lot of Akshar Patel with the bat.
The lead few runs from Ishan Kishan as well at the top.
आज मुझे लग रहा है कि कुछ रन अप मेजरमेंट में कुछ ना मार्कर गलत हो गया है.
4 नो बॉल 4 ओवर में
टेप कुछ अलग आ गया है. कुछ मैट्रिक्स सिस्टम की जगह उन्होंने वो ले लिया है यूएस वाला.
But can't bowl no balls in this era.
On a side note, Cameron Green might miss the Nagpur test. सही है ना?
क्या?
अच्छी बात है. किसकी टीम में हो बाबूराव?
But India में again test match we haven't really seen him.
Yeah.
Who knows? उसकी bowling तो I don't think उतनी effective होगी India में ऐसा भी.
But he gets the ball to reverse swing, so that's something that might be very useful in India. So they might
With
miss
and
that
without
balance.
sandpaper.
I don't know. Without is what I think. They've not used the sandpaper in 3 years.
No, I'm saying
4 years.
he can. What I meant was he can reverse the ball with and without
Yeah,
sandpaper.
without. Yeah.
We haven't seen him with.
With तो कोई भी कर सकता है यार.
Nishanka is like another one who never scores at good pace in the power play.
That's a good point actually. Maybe we can ask Anirudh again. Anirudh, is Patum Nissanka one of the slowest batters in the power
Starters.
play?
Yeah.
Kushal Mendes फिर भी दिख जाता है कभी-कभार.
कि थोड़ा aggressive
Yeah,
है,
he's
मतलब कोशिश
trying to.
कर रहा है. हाँ.
I know he hasn't really looked.
Kushal Mendes has always been aggressive. No, even in Asia Cup when they used to get like 15 3 overs and all, Kushal Mendes was like
Yeah, he
29
was
or
the
And
40.
he
Kushal
got off the
29.
mark of the 6th ball. He was 0-5
Yeah,
Kushal
yeah.
Mendes. Oh, Sunil Chawri is going out to ask, will India get a wicket in the power play? Good question. Maybe I think they will be tempted to give Akshar a ball because two righties are
Yeah,
batting
it's
and
not a bad option.
they're actually
Sixth over.
hitting pace quite well.
I think 5th. I still think like Hardik will come.
over,
Yeah,
I
Hardik
think.
will come and 6th over can be
Hardik will
Akshar.
bowl one more.
Shot.
ऐसे ball पे उसको wicket.
So if
मिलेगी.
Akshar balls, maybe India can get a wicket.
Did you guys notice in the last game when Chahal misfielded the ball, Hardik gave him one expression, one cold-blooded expression.
Yeah.
And then you could
That was
not
a similar
see Chahal
expression
in
he
the
gave
field.
Mohammad Shami in the semi-final.
Yeah.
जब उसने ball ऐसे फेंक दिया था कहीं पे.
But actually, Hardik has shades of Dhoni in his captaincy. Because I
Minus,
think every person who's led India after Dhoni wants to be the next Dhoni. And
But also, yeah, they're pretty close as well.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
उनका bonding भी सही है. He dropped himself when GT were playing CSK कि ठीक है भाई. And yet GT went on to win that game.
I think it's Akshar now.
Pranavan says India lacks finisher. They could have played Jitesh tonight, right? Hooda could have been sent up to 3-4 to attack spinners. Pecking order is good, but sometimes one has to look beyond it too. A good point, Pranav. But at the moment, but then it's not fair on Hooda, right? I mean, if they've given him this role, I mean, how many times will India chop and change with his position, especially when he's done well in the last game? So rather than that, they've gone for a player who's natural number 3-4. I mean, the most surprising part would have been, and I was actually expecting that this management will go in that direction, that they would have instead played Ruturaj Gaikwad and have had him batted 3 and 4.
Yeah.
That would have been a mistake, so to speak. But I think I'm still fine with this because at the end of the day, after one game, if you now move Hooda to 3-4 again, it becomes confusing. And then again, you don't know what role has he been given.
I think this is also an important series for Akshar as well.
Akshar is bowling now, yeah.
Yeah. Because his bowling numbers have like gone down slightly in the last few games.
So, wicket in this over?
No wicket in this over.
Pressure build होगा, wicket अगले end से आएगा ऐसा?
हाँ, अगले end से आएंगे. मतलब वो ठीक है. So, regarding the numbers,
Petum Nissanka.
Patum Nissanka in his T20I has a strike rate of 103.85 in the power play. So since his debut, among the top 10 team players who have faced 200 plus balls in the power play, 1 to 6, only Mohammad Naeem of Bangladesh has a lower strike rate than him. That is 94.3.
Hmm.
Apart from that,
Wow. So you're saying KL
so
Rahul has a better strike rate than him?
KL
Of
Rahul
course,
has a
KL Rahul
better
का
strike rate
101 से
because
ज्यादा ही होगा भाई.
he scored runs against minnows. No? So that is that.
Yeah.
And
He has a strike rate
Malan,
of over 200 against teams like Namibia and everyone, Scotland.
What? Do Sri Lanka have other options if they ever feel, if ever the question arises of having someone like a Nisanka up top who is not a natural T20 player by the look of things?
the thing
Because
with the
I
Pathum,
really feel if a batter is playing at around 100 in power play, it's actually a waste. It's a
Yeah, there's
waste
no
of
point.
position.
see the thing with Pathum Nisanka is like I guess he's the only anchor. He's the only anchor who they have. After this, again,
Hmm.
Dhananjaya De Silva is a bit careless, and Panuka Rajapaksa is careless. Like he doesn't even care. Kusal
But
Mendes,
even
you don't
Kusal
know when.
Mendes is anchorish. I mean,
That is,
he's not a
Kusal
blaster.
Mendes goes at a good pace. At least he scores
He
at a
goes
good
at a good
pace.
pace, but
Uh,
I mean, if
दिखने में नहीं लगता.
ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि he's not like a Raja Baksa who's trying to whack every ball.
and the thing why he has been surviving is like
Oh, we have
even
Chahal
though he's slow.
bowling the sixth.
Oh wow! Even though he's slow, he scores runs,
Hmm.
which
Yeah,
no other
runs
Sri
is a
Lankan does it.
currency. End of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I don't think
Which no
Chahal
other
has
Sri
bowled.
Lankan does.
Yeah, I mean there is Sadira Samavikrama, but
Oh,
I don't know
ball.
why they've not picked him.
There's another Osita or Asit no Osita or
Fernando.
Avishka Fernando, right?
Avishka
Avishka
Fernando.
Fernando.
बाकी
Avishka
सारे Fernandos
Fernando.
Avishka Fernando.
bowler है.
Yeah, Oshida was long
एक और
back.
batter. I think Ushada Fernando is one more batter, but I think other
Oshada,
Oshada
yeah,
Fernandos are
Oshada.
Fernando.
all
Yeah,
bowler.
No,
Oshada
Avishka
Fernando.
Fernando.
Avishka Fernando भी batter ही
Avish,
है. I'm saying कि वो
Avishka Fernando or two other options.
yeah.
So,
Avishka
apart
Fernando
from,
actually looked like the next big thing during the 2019 World Cup.
yeah,
I
yes,
mean, he was
exactly.
class in that World Cup, but
Smashed
then
Archer as well. No?
yeah, but his numbers sort of
And then I think
dipped
even
down.
Jayawardene said that he's a very good batter and they shifted him to the middle order because he's better there. Didn't work out.
I guess they opened with Dhananjaya De Silva a few times, if I'm not wrong.
In the Asia Cup
Oh,
final.
No, no, no.
Yeah, they
banter
tried
noodle.
Dhananjaya De Silva as well. Oh, going in the Rajasthan Royals
Another
route.
Rajasthan Royals player.
Yeah, Adam Zampa, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Yuzvendra Chahal.
So that's a qualification criteria, eligibility criteria to represent RR.
Eligibility.
You should be open to mankading. Let's see what
And
Josh Butler
No,
has to say about it.
run out at the
or
non-strikers end. How do you call it?
run,
Run out at the
no, run
non-strikers
out at the
end.
non-strikers.
Bronze.
I don't mind it being called mankad actually.
अपने को प्रॉब्लम है
Bronze.
उसके फैमिली को प्रॉब्लम है ना.
अच्छा उसकी फैमिली को प्रॉब्लम है होनी नहीं चाहिए ना बट क्योंकि
Yeah.
कुछ एक बहुत अच्छी एक्साइटिंग चीज की है
वो
भाई
नहीं वो नेगेटिव इमेज बना के
बट नेगेटिव
रखा
इमेज
है
So
तो
उसका.
wait,
एक ही
if a
पर्टिकुलर देश
bowler
के लोगों
gets
ने हो रहा है बाकी एवरीवन ग्लोबली इज
Okay,
एक्सेप्टिंग
wait.
इट
ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी आई थिंक.
If a bowler gets hit 4 sixes in the last over, will you call him getting bench stoked?
see that is different this actually does not have a negative connotation and they've just
It does have
made
no.
it negative see for example I mean so the player who I mean we these days people have started calling it left arm unorthodox
Yeah.
but it is Chinaman because the first bowler who ever did was nicknamed Chinaman that is why this bowling style is called Chinaman but uski family ने तो कुछ नहीं बोला आज तक
Akash, in that way,
Sathak.
then getting hit 4 sixes, then he should be named as Aksar Patel, I guess.
and
More than
five wickets kya you've got Imad Wasim
God
yeah
knows.
Yuvraj Singh
Yuvraj Singh.
Decent comeback though.
Yeah.
By the two spinners.
we will make a substitution we'll get more hair in the panel
More hair in the panel, okay? Daryl hair, no. Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Basically, I'm talking to just Akash right now.
Why Anirudh is there? No,
I met him
He was
already.
sitting-
I'm in
he was
office.
sitting
I was
right in
sitting in
or like that.
front of him only. So, भाई but इतनी नो बॉल्स कभी देखी है पावर प्ले के अंदर इंडिया की साइड से?
हाँ देखी तो नहीं है बट ठीक है मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि थोड़े रन बने
रन बन जाए ठीक है बट ये क्या
मैं वो
तरीका है
बैट से नहीं
भाई?
बनाएंगे तो फिर नोवल देके बनाने पड़ेंगे
It's a killer team, guys.
so as
It's a
it turned
killer
out
team.
no wickets in the power play
More no balls in the power play than wickets. I mean, Wickets तो है ही नहीं.
Oh, no, but
Shot.
yeah,
Oh,
that,
no.
there's an interesting comment, Somesh. Would you call players not walking out after nicking as Brody?
Yeah, probably, yes. Brody.
He's just done a Brody.
And if an umpire gives a wrong decision against India, would he be called? He did a Puckner or something like that.
Yeah,
So it's an
he's been
endless
dal
list.
held.
It will be.
Why
But yeah, matlab,
wasn't it supposed to be AB de Villiers? AB de Villiers was the first one, no? Against
yeah,
India.
true,
या
true.
तो ऐसे उससे भी पहले बहुतों ने रखा होगा ऐसा कि भाई स्लिप को निक करके गए नहीं.
हाँ
Actually ना
भाई.
ऐसे 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 करने लगे तो फिर स्टुअर्ट ब्रॉड ना सबसे बदनाम क्रिकेटर बन जाएगा एंड में. इसमें भी कर सकते हैं, 6 में भी कर सकते हैं. Wasting time, opting for a toilet break when the game has to be stopped for bad light. Everything you can call it doing a Brody.
Six.
It's more Kusum Mendes.
Multi-purpose word.
Yeah,
Multi-purpose Broad,
multi-purpose
yeah.
word.
Multi-purpose fraud.
Subash Chandra Bharata asks, can our statsman tell who has got more first inning test match centuries? And is Steve Smith part of it? Yeah, of course. Anirudh,
ये तो मैं भी बता
तुम्हारे
सकता
बाएं
हूँ
हाथ
सर.
का खेल
ये
है.
तो सही में ये तो मैं भी बता सकता हूँ थोड़ा सा देख के. By the way,
I like how Subhash you use the term our statsman. I mean the
सबका ही है भाई.
the motive of these watchalongs is to make everyone feel inclusive.
By the way, I mean it's a basic stat. I guess a very interesting one. Though the last time Sri Lanka won a T20 match against India
Was
in
in
India,
Pune.
it was in Pune itself.
I remember. I mean India were bowled out for what, 80 odd?
101.
101. It felt like 80 odd.
They were 59 for 6. I guess all those 6 wickets were taken by pacers. Rajita was making his debut. He was the man of
Shanaka
the
was
match.
player of the match, I think, that game.
Kasun Rajita was making his debut in that game, and
I think
Rajita
Shanaka
was the
also
man of the
took
match in that.
Shanak also took wickets. So every pacer in that game, every lanky Sri Lankan pacer took wickets.
Okay, so considering first and second innings of the match as first innings, Sachin has 38, Ponting has 35,
Of course.
Jack Cullis
Ponting has
34, Ponting has 35,
okay.
Cullis has 34, Dravid 30, Steve Waugh 30, Jayavardene 29, and Steve Smith 26. He just overtook Brian Lara's 25. So if we say only the first
So
innings of
26 of his 30 centuries have been first inning centuries. First inning
yeah,
bully.
so
Dravid also 30 out of 36, and Ponting 35 out of 41. So I think it is a
But
pattern. It happens.
Tendulkar 30-21. What a
38
38 and
of
oh
50.
yeah.
So I think it is a
13,
pattern kind of thing
38,
that the
13.
most
नहीं
of the
pattern तो
centuries
होगा
are
but
in the first inning.
it's pretty skewed. Pattern तो of course होना ही है.
so and if we take only the first innings of a match, it has been so Ponting 21, Jack Cullis 20, and Steve Smith 20, and Tendulkar also 20.
Oh, okay, cool. So Steve Smith is most likely to get past
Overtake.
to be on the top of this tally actually.
Good,
Next
good.
home season.
Thanks Subhash and thanks Anirudh. We have Sanket waiting in the wings, so probably we'll add him, but we'll definitely reach back to Anirudh whenever we need help with any of the stats. And you guys can ask your questions as well.
A variation
बढ़िया
up
run
front,
बन रहे हैं
just
यार.
141.
I mean 73,
50 of
50 runs,
27.
50 of 73 he has been scored by Kusal Mendes.
Yeah, and he's actually scored 50 of 22 because of he was 0 of 5.
He was 0-5 in after the first over. Oh no, after the first 9 balls of the game.
Umran Malik.
Bhai, I mean,
So I saw a tweet from our very own Dan Weston about Umran Malik. He feels that people are actually getting a little overboard with Umran Malik. He does get a lot of wickets, but he bowls a lot of boundary balls as well. Plus, so far he has been a one-trick pony because of where he is used. I mean, obviously no fault of his own. What his raw skills are unmatchable. But so far, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
But Somesh, wouldn't you say the same thing about Mark Wood? I mean, Mark Wood is similar, right? Because he's also, I mean, if the pit is, he's not a swing.
Marky has been a lot more under control than Umran Malik actually.
I've not seen him.
But Mark Wood is more experienced. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm saying
But
like
I mean,
in terms of terms of bowling style,
Oh, yeah.
both have similar this thing.
See, I mean, if
Still
if
slow.
Imran Malik goes on to have a trajectory of Mark Wood, I would be very happy. So
But
let's take
unhappy
it
as
that
well
way.
because if he keeps getting injured at the frequency
But
of Mark
at least
Wood,
you're playing all three formats
at least you're playing on three on kya?
impactfully.
At least he'll be a World Cup winner by what?
Both formats.
Both formats.
Both formats.
Sanket, what is that an Argentina jersey?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
I also had this question actually that has been put up by
Are
Sunil
the boundaries
Chori. Are the
smaller?
boundaries smaller?
Sunil, I
Because
think.
ball is carrying quite well.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, I've watched most games in Pune. The boundaries are not that small as compared to, let's say, Chinnaswamy, Wankhede, or
Kotla.
Brabon, even Eden.
Brabon is not
Indoor.
small, I guess.
Indoor as well, right?
Brabon has pockets which are really deep.
But I think one side is pretty small, or straighter one. I mean,
Could be.
blame Shweta. She says that it's the best batting wicket in
It
the
is
country.
actually मैंने कभी Brabon पे low scoring match देखा नहीं है. I mean
Hmm.
वहाँ पे कम वहाँ का low scoring match is like 160 odd in a T20 game. So yeah, and
The only
so
time
you
you'll see a
saw
low
that
scoring game there is when Chennai play.
This Pune wicket and Pune ground is pretty. I mean, I don't know it. It's very shape shifting. You know, I remember everyone remembers that Kedar Jadhav game, right? And today is Kedar Jadhav day.
283 he scored, right?
Yeah,
How much?
283 scored. I think
Massive
at a
score.
100 strike rate.
Yeah, 283 or 283.
India versus England first ODI 15 Jan 2017. India went on to chase 360 at Pune easily. Kedar Jadhav and Kohli both got 100. 2 months later, this wicket was a ranked runner against a test in Australia. And an year before that, this was proper green top where where Sri Lanka actually bowled India out for
Multi-purpose
101.
Pune.
So proper multi-purpose pitch. मतलब इंडिया कहीं भी travel करती है, they should actually practice at the MCA stadium in Pune कि भाई यहाँ का pitch
सब
बहुत
कुछ मिल जाएगा.
adaptable है.
Sanket,
Or they
there
have
is
to play
a
at Lali, I
comment
think.
for you. From
संकेत भाई क्या कर रहे हो? राजकुमार की कोई दुश्मनी है क्या?
वो राजकुमार है यार, out of all people
जैनी,
राजकुमार
तुम
मतलब
इनका कॉल रिक्वेस्ट क्यों नहीं एक्सेप्ट करते थे?
I haven't checked them in days, so I'll probably just go back and check it.
Sanket was pretty busy with his CA exam. So that's plum. That's plum.
नहीं, बहुत ऊपर लगा है भाई पैड पे. वो फ्रंट फुट पे था बहुत आगे.
Oh, look very close to me.
Also it might be turning a bit towards the leg side.
Hardik is animated. I don't know the reason.
भाई I mean
क्या
दांत
नहीं
देनी
ले रहा?
पड़ेगी भाई हार्दिक
ले
के
लिया,
कंपोजर की. लिया क्या? नहीं लिया.
नहीं समझ में आ रहा.
वो लिया तभी वो दोनों.
हार्दिक ने कुछ अपना ही बनाया है ये. This means कि भाई रिव्यू लेना है मुझे.
I was just about to say to appreciate Hardik's composure कि इतने बड़े स्कोर के बाद 80 for no loss के बाद भी एक अपील हुई उस पे. He was not going to take a review because I also felt that it is not out, but then he actually went for it. So
I think अगर बैट नहीं लगाए तो आउट है. Out
could
है
be
रे.
out, could be out, but I still feel umpire's call. Initially I thought knee row के ऊपर की साइड लगी है बॉल पर.
पुणे का विकेट है, गावा का विकेट नहीं है.
पुणे भी बाउंस होता है यार फिर भी.
इस बार तो ब्रॉडकास्टर भी सुपर स्पोर्ट्स नहीं है. Gone.
Gone gaya. Nice. Oh, Chahal.
Come back
the
wicket for
partnership.
Chahal. Kusal Mendes goes.
Nice. Chalo 80 for
What do
1.
you think is the pass score?
अब कौन आएगा? श्रीलंका.
Is it the perfect time for Nisanka to get out now as well? I mean, थोड़ा सा और partnership करके ताकि 100 for 2.
ये ऑन फील्ड आउट कैसे नहीं दिया? ठीक है बाबूराव, कोई बात नहीं, एंड में हो गया आउट. नॉट लाइक व्हाट हैपेंड विद साउथ अफ्रीका कि ऑन फील्ड वाले ने भी आउट दिया, सब कुछ था, सॉफ्ट सिग्नल भी आउट था, आउट भी एक्चुअल में भी आउट था, बट थर्ड अंपायर ने नॉट आउट दिया.
Actually, maybe out था.
Even the on-field umpire, he is also like, how is that missed? Everybody.
और हमारा जो ब्लॉग कर रहा था बंदा, वो डाई हार्ड ऑस्ट्रेलियन फैन, अपने ब्लॉग में लिखता है I think the right decision has been made. मैंने कहा बस कुछ भी.
Bias.
So, I mean, have you ever seen two most boring test matches going on in parallel? मतलब आप चैनल भी चेंज नहीं कर सकते, ऐसी फीलिंग आ रही है क्या? Sanket, do you feel the same? Do you bother waking up to see Australia playing a one-sided test, or maybe opting out to watch those tests on flat wickets in Pakistan during your lunch breaks?
No, I'm only watching bits in between.
Hmm.
But it's fun
Akash,
to see
what-
the Australia tests. No, it's very
Akash,
fun.
what
I
about
mean,
the
just look at
Aussie in you?
Rabada's face. It's very happy getting smashed.
रवाडा का तो पता है ना, अभी 2 दिन बाद जाके अपना होम T20 लीग खेलना है, चिल करना है, क्या लोड है?
They still have a
He'll most probably win the league also.
The Pakistan New Zealand test is shaping up for an
Yeah,
interesting finish actually. Pakistan again none for two.
सऊदी ने डिक्लेयर करके बोला, देख ये उसको बोलते हैं डिक्लेरेशन. वो 15 ओवर में 120 120 डिक्लेरेशन नहीं होता.
बाबर एक्चुअली थॉट कि चलो 15 ओवर के अंदर 10 विकेट निकालने की कोशिश करते, नहीं होता भाई. इवन बेन स्टोक्स भी मतलब पॉकला जाएगा तो
It should have
क्या
been
रहे.
fun if the match went on and then it would have backfired. Then it would have been fun.
It would have backfired. It
bad
was said to
latest.
be backfired actually because New Zealand were already 61 for 2, and I don't think Pakistan had any
Yeah.
chance to pick that remaining 8 wickets as well.
Okay, is it me or do you guys also feel that Chahal is not delivering it from a height, but rather from a
Roundish
from
arm.
roundish arm to keep it flatter?
Yeah, maybe Hasranga school of.
Yeah,
I think Anirudh
Asrama
can
yeah,
enlighten us more. He's
he's
a
the
leg spinner in
here.
himself. So
He's everything. He's the statsman. He's the leg spinner.
I have a
he's a
slightly
Maybe
translator as well, man.
See, I mean, he's not giving it any loop. Usually, Chahal is like all loop.
Also, but this is not a pitch where you give a lot of.
But
loop
Chahal हर
करने
pitch
में.
पे loop देता है कि भाई
उसके
कहीं भी
बाद
go
वही
मैं
है,
तो loop
उसके
ही
बाद
दूंगा.
वही है, but maybe now he has understood कि चलो भाई मार तो कम खाओ, at
मार
least.
कम खाओ भाई,
मार
यही
तो कम
ऑब्जेक्टिव
खाओ,
यही
कुछ
है
तो
भाई.
मिले,
विकेट लो या ना लो.
मिले या ना मिले, मार ही कम खा लो.
I personally have a slightly different view on the Pakistan pitches. I actually think that tests going deep into the 5th day, and like you know that in a test in Pakistan, you know that you're definitely going into the 15th session of the test, and I think that
कल तो मजा ही आएगा.
Oh, yeah, I think that is
No, but
I think that
every-
is something even Pat Cummins said when they toured Australia, that we are looking at it as a 15-day test.
yeah.
But
And I think
if you
that
see, I
is-
mean, 8 tests have been played. Almost all tests have gone deep into day 5, and it has become interesting in the final.
So basically
session.
यही है कि 4 दिन highlights देखो, 5वां दिन लगा लो.
3.5 दिन highlight देखो,
But I
बाकी
think that is-
बाकी 4 session के
added
लिए
so
देख.
much. I think that has added some much needed variety because I think we've been seeing far too many 3-day and 4-day test matches like all over the world over the last few years. So I think that's a welcome change. Like let the batsman also score some runs, and then you always
है.
get an excitement there.
No,
Problem ये है ना
Sanket,
कि
you
अपने
don't
इंडिया वाले नहीं
discredit-
खेल पा रहे
you
वहाँ
don't
पे, तो इनको
discredit Narendra
Old
Modi's form.
this is proper speed, and Bhanuka Rajapaksa again not working out well. So in just before this series, Sri Lankan players played in that LPL. Rajapaksa scored only 95 runs in 7 games.
Actually, I would be very interested to note, Anirudh, if you can hop on for a minute. I want to know Rajapaksa's number
Since
from
Asia.
the IPL till Asia Cup and since the
Asia
Asia
Cup
Cup,
and then
overall
post-
T20 numbers. So maybe you can, whenever you're ready, just hop in and enlighten us.
Average
why
would
I
be
said-
around between 10 and 15 because I wrote the preview yesterday. I mentioned this thing. Average would be between 10 and 15. The strike rate is also under 120. In the Asia Cup itself, his strike rate was 150 and average was 48. So I mean, उसके बाद से जो he has just the numbers have just gone down.
It was
That's
just
why I said
146. Just
Rajapaksa is actually pushing himself from Punjab's first 11 to the bench.
That's what I said. Even when I think we were doing the IPL show, I said that Rajapaksa had a good season last year, but he's not someone. He's not a superstar. Like he's not a Johnny Bairstow. He's not a Liam Livingstone.
Yeah.
He's not one of the top 10 players in the world. You cannot have him as one of your top 4 overseas players. I think he's a good utility option to have, like providing certain specific skill, which is a left-hander who can hit, spin, maybe for certain matchups, certain games. But he cannot be a 14 games a season player. I don't think he's good enough for that. Like so, I think it's a good idea by Punjab to have Sam Curran in, and I think they need to use him in the floaters role in the middle order to because they don't have any other left-handers, right? So
Yeah. But now, though, they have to make space for Sam Curran. So I think
Yeah,
Rajapaksa would
Rajapaksa is
be the
not
one,
going to be
and
in
not
bowling.
just being a high-profile player. I mean, he's not as consistent as Johnny Bairstow is. Johnny Bairstow, I mean, he's far more
yeah, I
consistent.
mean, he is not
Consistent.
high profile, but he's not
But
consistent. Basically.
see, the only thing for Punjab is that there are not many players like this, right? You don't find players who come out and score four of the first ball. So that's what helped them last season to an extent. When they dropped him, kind of backfired. So maybe he would still continue to play, but again, he's not like somebody who can score like a 30 plus average and 150 plus kind
He's
of
Yeah,
not
but
going to be
player.
if you think about it,
beyond.
you have to start Bairstow, you have to start Sam Curran, you have to start Livingston, and then you have to pick one of Rabada and Ellis. So I think Rajapaksa will have to make
Rajapaksa तो नहीं
space.
है यार.
The only way Rajapaksa can play is if Best is not fully fit
Yeah.
at the start of the tournament because he's coming from a long
Mm.
injury layoff. But even then, I think they've got other options, right? Who was the other backup batter that they've got?
Yeah,
Do they have any?
they have
Overseas
Sikandar
backup.
Raza as well now.
Sikandar Raza is a good, but
Yeah, I actually
Sikandar
think
Raza
Sikandar Raza would be a better pick than Rajapaksa.
Hmm. हाँ अनिरुद्ध भाई.
हाँ. So, जो तुमने when you asked about Bhanuka Rajapaksa, no? So since the IPL till the Asia Cup, since the 1 second.
Take your time. Take your time. Asalanka.
Okay, so since the IPL till the Asia Cup, he had scored 611 runs at an average of 26.7 and strike rate of 148.3 in T20s. In all
Hmm.
T20s, not only in T20Is, but post the Asia Cup, in 16 innings, he has scored 232 runs at an average of 14.5 and strike rate of 111.
So both the numbers have dropped off. Any particular bowling type that has troubled him?
right arm
So,
pace.
in this time,
Right arm pace.
yeah, right arm pace only. So right arm pace, he's got out 10 times out of 16, at an average of 10.7.
Mm,
Hmm.
So he
And
just
again, right arm
needs
pace.
somebody
during
to bowl. That's it.
so during that time, he had scored at a strike rate of 174.8 against right arm paces. Now it has
The
come down to
average,
111.5.
what was the
अभी तो
average?
ये भी नहीं बोल सकते हैं. अगर ये पुरानी वाली श्रीलंका होती तो हम ये बोल देते कि राइट आर्म पेसर्स नेट्स में खेलने नहीं मिलते होंगे.
But what is his average like during his good period against right arm pace?
25.7.
Even then, like it's like the average was always on the lower side. So you
Yeah,
know that
average was always on the low side, but at least he was
it
still
was kind of
scoring
a
those
home
30.
contribute कर ही रहा था पहले. But I think
And
a good
like most of them get out to right arm paces because the abundance of
that
bowlers
is
are
the
right
most
arm
common.
paces.
That is the most
That
common form of bowling available.
so that is why.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that start, Anil.
और भाई
But here
इसके
it's
बारे में तो
genuinely right arm pace. Genuinely
Yeah.
right arm
genuinely right
pace.
arm
This
pace.
is
genuine right arm genuine pace.
right arm lot
बहुत
of pace.
बहुत तेज.
Right arm बहुत तेज bowling.
Like I mean, if we go
And
very like
so Somesh,
yeah,
the thing which you were asking about Chahal, na? So it depend on like how from where he bowls. वो depend करता है कि कहाँ से release करता है. If he's releasing a bit from a bit back, so तब तुम्हें flight मिलेगा. जब पूरा आगे आ जाएगा, जब पूरा आगे आ जाएगा, उसके कान के आगे आ जाएगा, तब like your loop will always be flatter. हाँ.
Hmm.
So you have two
So did
kinds
he
of
learn
release.
from
One
Kedar
is
Jadhav?
I can't say that. That
so
I
I
can't
think
say.
this.
So
So I think this
so
Rajapaksa
is he bowling a lot flatter today या फिर it just
To to be
Net it
very
just looks that he's
misunderstanding.
bowling a lot flatter today.
to be very frank, जब से उसका वो wide वाला flight length पे when he has gone for runs, since that time he has started to bowl flatter
But
and
ये मतलब
flatter
since
on the
that time मतलब
stumps.
since last game.
Not since last game. Like it's almost like probably since the Asia Cup. Since the Asia Cup, he started to bowl flatter. That's what I've observed, but I cannot get that data obviously. But
Hmm.
since that time, he started to bowl a lot flatter. on the stumps, which is becoming very easy for the right-handed batters to slog sweep it.
जैसे अभी
Once,
निशंका ने ट्राई करा.
So yeah, I just had a point to make on the Rajapaksa numbers. So I think there is a growing tendency these days on Twitter or in cricketing discourse in general to just reduce T20 discourse to strike rates. I think that is this example. I think just kind of highlights the pitfalls of that. Like when a batsman has a low average and a very high strike rate, it is quite likely that he's been lucky over a short period of time, and then those numbers are likely to normalize, and that's what has happened with Rajapaksa as well. Like even during his good period, he was only averaging 25, 26. Now when his form has fallen off, it is like completely gone off a cliff, and even the strike rate has suffered. So I think a good batter
Not
will always have a good balance of an average or a strike rate. So you cannot look at those numbers in isolation and say that just because it's T20 you can have like each batter facing 25 deliveries and like everyone will score at a strike rate of 200, and that sounds only good on paper, but it doesn't actually work out in theory. Like I've seen a
uh,
lot of guys like Abhishek.
Sanket, sorry to barrage in, but I don't think so. What you made up is a good point, because if you look into Surya Kumar Yadav, you can't say he's lucky.
No, I'm Surya
You
Kumar
can't say
Yadav has a good average. Surya Kumar Yadav has a good
he
average. I'm
doesn't
not
have
saying.
a good average.
no.
Sorry, he has an average of somewhere around 26 against leg
No,
spinners,
you're talking about his career
20
numbers.
against.
But his,
I'm saying
his
career only. I'm his career
no,
in his
I'm not talking about his career. Obviously, players can improve, but he has a good average over a decent amount of time. Like not just 2 months or 3 months. He's
I'll
been averaging over well for the last 2 to 3 years now. So that's a decent sample size.
I don't think so, because
No,
see,
but I mean,
think
T20 has also like evolved a lot, right? So nowadays we don't judge people because their roles have been very different. I mean, you don't expect Rajapaksa to score like a 40 or 50 because his role is like 8 balls 20. That's it. He
But I
only plays
think,
for that.
but I think
No, I
that
don't.
role is specific to the team that he plays in, right? I mean, if he plays that
Exactly.
role for
That's what I'm
Punjab,
saying.
that's still acceptable. I think for Sri Lanka, it might not be acceptable because the reason they won the Asia Cup because Rajapaksa scored those 70s.
yeah.
Yes, you
So
can't win with.
I think
Yeah,
average
yeah.
pretty much depends on your batting position. Obviously, an
Exactly.
average
So
of under
that's
30
what I'm
for
saying. We can't
number
have
three,
still
number four
average
should
as
not
a
be acceptable.
metric.
Yes.
Fielded, drop but fielded.
Good fielding, bad catching.
Sounds like Kohli.
What I was guarding against is that I think there are a lot of people who just think that like you can just have each batter can face 10 deliveries and score 20 runs and then the team will make 200. I don't think the sport works like that. Like you can have maybe one or two players who can play that role, but not everyone is going to score 20 of 10 like
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day.
of course. I mean, if a player is averaging
Yeah.
25, that doesn't mean that she will score 25 in every game. So that is why it is always counted as a lower
Yeah.
average. Okay, cool. Anirudh, I mean, we will definitely see you guys. Predictions.
Predictions भाई 160. I think
180.
I think the
182.
I think बहुत ज़्यादा रन नहीं बनेगा, but again as I said last time
One
as well, जितना मैं
170.
predict करता हूँ उससे 10-15 रन ऊपर ही बनते हैं.
9 overs to go. I
Sri Lanka
think 170.
171.
I'll say 165.
Yes.
182.
So,
Shanaka is still there, guys. Shanaka.
but आज हर्षल पटेल नहीं है ना?
हर्षल पटेल नहीं है.
मारेगा किसको?
There, no?
अर्शदीप, मावी.
A lot of Shivam Mavi, Harshdeep.
अभी तो पता नहीं
He
कितने
likes
नो
pace,
बॉल्स
basically.
उनका डालना बाकी है आज.
They've still got 2 overs of Chahal. I think it would be a good idea to hold it back for Shanaka.
Yeah, but it's too brave a call. You'll have to keep him till
No, I don't
16,
think it's
18.
brave. I don't think it's brave at all because Shanaka is genuinely incompetent in its leggies.
No. I'm saying like if he rotates strike, that's it. That your plan is out, right?
Who
And
are the
shorter
best?
boundaries.
Who are the best
Yeah,
catchers of their own bowling apart from Chris Jordan?
Southie.
I think we saw one today.
Who
I think we saw one today in the test.
Maharaj, that was a dolly.
This is straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bravo is a good shout actually. Excellent shout.
Even Harbhajan, I think, off his own bowling, he was good.
What about
Oh,
Trent?
good catch.
What
good
about
catch.
Trent
Excellent
Bolt?
catch. Mavi.
Guys, what about Trent Bolt in terms of catching up his own bowling because he's taken some blinders?
100 blinders.
कुछ भी भाई कहीं से भी डाइव मारी बॉल अपने आप हाथ में
Bucket
आती है
hands.
उसके.
In terms of spinners,
But isn't it easier for spinners? We should be counting the spinners who are not great of their in terms of catching up their own
I think
bowling.
I don't have numbers, but I get a feeling Chris Gale was quite good. Even though he's not a great fielder in general, but I think he was quite good of his own bowling.
Big hands again, maybe. Soft
भाई
he
माविया
just
के
like
त्रिपाठी है. Oh, त्रिपाठी है भाई, मावी नहीं.
he celebrated while diving down, like yeah.
पकड़ लिया मैंने. First international catch for Rahul Tripathi.
Yeah, Nathan Lyon, yeah, safe catcher. Dilshan was a brilliant catcher of his own bowling actually.
Yeah,
With the
Dilshan,
World Cup
bhai.
final में भाई कहाँ जाके
Yeah.
पकड़ लिया था catch.
So
Big
what
one.
Dilshan is an excellent catcher.
Hmm.
So in terms of bowlers, for pacers who are good fielders, generally I think Anderson, Stein, and Brett Lee were excellent in terms of fielding anywhere. In fact,
But I
not
don't
even
remember
just
a lot of Brickley return catches. That's the. I
not
remember only
return
Gold,
catches,
LBW.
yeah, but I am just talking about outfielding as well. They were
Oh,
really
outfield,
quick in the
okay.
field.
I think
Catchers, as catchers,
Yes,
they were
you-
quite safe.
catching of your own bowling of Brett Lee or Dale Steyn might be very difficult because the ball is going to come at an extremely ferocious pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the own pace and then the bat coming.
I think Shane Bond was
And
also
they
a good
don't
catcher
land
of
in
his
that
own
position
bowling.
where they can recover fast as other
Mhm.
people.
So Nisaka got out for 33 of
35
35
balls.
balls. I mean, that is a pretty poor knock. And if
I
you are
mean-
replacing him with DDS, who himself is not a great striker of
And
the
definitely
ball.
not a number 5 in T20.
Exactly. So
I just got a feeling watching the Sri Lanka team for a while. Since Asia Cup, their team has remained predominantly the same.
same,
They've
yeah.
not made any changes. But I think there is there must be some player lurking around who can provide more impetus to the batting lineup.
I think the problem is again with everyone, the players are predominantly at the top of the order. Like they've got Sadira Samara Vikrama who's scored at a great
Samavikrama.
CPL, but LPL. But again, he's another opening batsman. So I think they do need someone in the middle order, and obviously the middle order, the designated middle order players like Asalanka and Rajapaksa, they haven't really clicked. So
even their
There's one
backup
player I
has
think
been
you
same.
will agree, which is Angelo Matthews.
I
I
actually
think
feel they can. I mean, they won't lose anything if they have Hasaranga opening, because he has not
Oh,
done a
wonderful.
lot in T20 cricket with the bat anyway. So maybe not a, because he has the skills to bat.
probably better, I think, is a float up in the middle order playing to tackle
I mean,
spin.
whatever.
Yeah,
at least,
exactly.
At least
Number
promote
three,
him and
number
four. Number four.
try to do something with him, because I think he's slightly wasted at number 7.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably in
His
ODIs
game-
he gets a lot more
And-
balls to face at number 7, but in T20s, whenever he's in, like it's 12 overs already, he might come in at around the 15th over mark. So I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time to set himself and then play his shots. But he has
That's
the shots.
exactly
to
where
probably-
somebody like Shanaka thrives, because he can hit the ball from the first. I mean, Hasranga is not that kind. He takes some time to.
His innings against Afghanistan in the ODI was outstanding. Like Hazaranga, the way he
Yeah,
took on even
exactly.
Rashid Khan, he did not spare. It was brilliant. And his game against pace is actually quite decent as well. I remember the ODI against Australia, like the first ODI, he took on Jai Richardson. I think hit 6 boundaries in an over. And then even in the Asia Cup final, he took on Naseem Shah and Haris Rauf. So he has the game against like pace as well as speed.
Even in the
So-
T20 World Cup 2020, I think, was it Ireland or one of those games where he
Yeah,
saved
they were. I think
Sri Lanka with the bat.
they lost 3 early wickets and then he took them to.
Yeah.
He took them to. Even against England, I think he was threatening to win them the game. Then he lost. I think if he had stayed, they would have probably won that game because England were a bowler short
Yeah,
with
that's why
time
they
Mills out with injury.
Oh, shot that 6. तो 4 बन चुके भाई मतलब 170 तो पहुंच जाना चाहिए यहाँ से and I think they could have easily sent Shanaka here instead of TDS. Shanaka I mean आता थोड़ी सी अपनी मतलब थोड़ा time लेके and then he could have just shaped himself
think-
quite nicely for
I
a
think
big finish as well.
This would have been the perfect situation to actually send Hasranga because he can actually get enough deliveries
Yeah,
to face.
Hasranga as well, yeah. Anyone of Shanaka or Hasranga, they would have been better.
Shanaka, I think,
No, if
Batman
you
at this
send
stage.
Shanaka, India will bring in Chahal, no?
Yeah, I think Shanaka for me is strictly a last 4-5 overs batsman.
So maybe then that's the case of promoting Hasaranga over Shanaka,
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least.
exactly. I think I
Yeah,
agree
yeah.
completely. And I think talking about Angelo Matthews, I think he definitely needs to be back in the ODI side because honestly, I don't see what Shanaka, even though he's the captain, I don't see what he adds to the ODI side. He's not a 10 overs bowler. He's not even a 5 overs bowler,
Can more
and
bowler.
he cannot bat higher than number 7. Like you cannot have someone who's a number 7 and is not a fifth bowler in ODI cricket. And I think Matthews would offer them a much better batsman, like a proper top order batter, and he's also a better bowler than Shanaka. So I don't know
But
why he's
maybe
being
they
ignored.
see him as a better captain. I think that's probably.
Yeah, probably. I'm not saying Matthews should be the captain. I think they could probably have Asaranga as captain or anyone else. But I don't think they're gonna have he's Shanaka is basically Darren Sammy. Darren Sammy was a decent T20 cricketer, but
Specialist
he's
captain.
not in ODIs or in other formats.
Mhm. Yeah, so Arshdeep has just bowled 1 over. He's gone for 19 though.
And India have used six
Six
bowlers
bowlers,
so
yeah.
far. So फिर Arshdeep, I think he will bowl at max 3.
Yeah.
Actually, this is oh, अंपायर को लगा वो signal कर रहा है छक्का है. So this is something that happened before the World Cup as well, and now too. If India have Deepak Hooda in the side, why not
don't
have
use
him
him as-
ball? No, there's nothing to lose. These games are anyway a preparation for bigger things to come. There is a left-hander in the middle, so might as well give him a ball.
Yeah.
Teams
I mean, we
don't
have
actually think
talked
along
about
those
it
lines
so
before the match. They plan, but when they actually get into the action, I think they always like the win always becomes the priority. And they
Yeah.
always think that like just let's get the W against your name because I think every captain like ultimately they know that the keyboard warriors on social media will judge them by the win loss record. So I think ultimately even though like even Rohit Sharma talked a very good game, like I think the match against the West Indies where he said that he bowled Avesh Khan over Bhuvneshwar Kumar at the death because he wanted to give him exposure and then he was absolutely pelted on social media for that. So I think
Yeah.
that is probably the
But
reason
then,
why most captains
but
feel
then two.
reluctant.
But they keep saying that they keep the outside noise shut, so 2 and 2 are not equaling 4 here. Because I think this is something very similar to what Ashwin also said on his channel after the test, that he asked Rahul Dravid to send in Umesh Yadav instead of Jaidev Unadkat as a night watchman, or even if a wicket falls early morning, so that he can whack the off spinner, and even if he hits 2 to 3 sixes, Bangladesh's plan will be ruined. But he said that teams and everyone are a little skeptical that अगर ये move work नहीं किया तो बहुत गाली पड़ेगी.
No, that's
So
what
Yeah.
Gurkirat actually tweeted on Twitter. Gurkirat, that's what he tweeted, and when India
yeah,
actually won the
I know. He tweeted that
there were
it's
like
not a bad
500
option to
balls
bring.
rolling in. Like, what do you know about the game and all that sort of
So
stuff.
Shubh, this is the answer to your question. Why are not modern day captains not being like Don
ये
Bradman?
ये
This is the
ये
answer.
ये ट्वीट के बाद ही तो भैया वो
We
जो
have a lot of
जर्नलिस्ट है उनने पूजा वूजा करने को बोला था.
कब की बात है? अच्छा वो that बांग्लादेश वाला टेस्ट मैच, right?
Yeah.
But
I think
again,
only
I mean,
only one captain has the guts to do this. That is Dhoni.
Dhoni.
He knows. Yeah, he
He
knows.
did
I
it
don't
in
care
Pune
about
itself,
anything.
no,
You talk
against
whatever you
Punjab.
want to do.
Ben
You mean
Stokes.
India captain या वर्ल्ड, क्योंकि वर्ल्ड में तो Ben Stokes is doing all of these ridiculous things
No.
anyway.
I mean like in Indian landscape. I'm saying for the
Yeah, but I
longest
think
year, that's what Dhoni have been doing.
but I
I mean,
feel at
do you
times
remember the game where he didn't even bowl Harbhajan one? I mean, Harbhajan didn't even bowl in the game. He just batted. He was a specialist
Batted,
batter.
yeah.
I mean
Punjab versus
we have
CSK
seen
game.
a lot of such things happen with Chennai, but with India, pretty sure. I mean, I remember very well that there have been days where Dhoni has at least frustrated me with his selections quite a lot. He was a firm believer in the
Same
pecking
here.
order and giving a longest rope ever possible.
That's true.
Oh, भाई एक हाथ से
Single handed,
भाई कोई ऋषभ पंत नहीं होता
हर कोई
भाई.
ऋषभ पंत नहीं होता भाई. एक ही बंदा है जो एक हाथ से छक्का मार सकता है.
100%
I
consistency के
will
साथ.
be back in an over or two.
So, over or two भाई थोड़ा सा लंबा ब्रेक लो, तुम डिजर्व करते हो.
अपने पे भरोसा नहीं है.
Went with one hand, and I think it's good for Sri Lanka that Dhananjay got out. I couldn't see him adding
Yeah,
a
but
lot.
true. But with this batting lineup, then that is putting more pressure on. I mean, I don't think
But
then Shanaka can come out and hit. He has to play at least 2 overs before
but
even
Shanaka
trying to
can
hit.
do that. He's not a slogger. He can get behind the line of the ball and he can just stay
No,
there for
no,
a few overs as
He
well.
did that in the previous match as well.
exactly.
As well, like, he can
Yeah,
Unless
play.
exactly.
Chahal comes out to bowl,
And
until
he still got two
everything
overs
is
to
true,
bowl.
until like Chahal comes out to bowl,
But
then he
Chahal
looks like a
does not bowl a lot of googlies as well. So I think out of all leg spinners that he has faced, Chahal should be an easier proposition for him.
Shanaka,
Though I'm not
Shanaka,
aware of his record against Chahal right now.
No, also like there's no Harshal. So जितना भी runs बनाया उसके 50% runs have come against Harshal.
Ah,
Close to 50%.
50 of 20 balls. That is what he has scored
And
against
plus, I'm
Harshal
sure he
Patel
scored. He
without
has like
getting
60
out.
odd runs in 5 overs against Harshal.
20 balls, 50 runs,
and
0 wickets.
and Bhuvneshwar
Well,
Kumar.
he
I think he
took
still
him था तो
Bhuvneshwar Kumar in that Asia Cup game. I think.
why Shanaka goes unsold in auction.
I
I
think
think
Sanket actually answered it a while back. He said about Bhanuka Rajapaksa that he's a good batter, but not good enough to take one of the four overseas spot in an IPL 11. And I think that is the same case with Shanaka as well. A lot of these Sri Lankan cricketers are quite decent, but they are not good enough to exhaust one of the four overseas
yeah.
spot of
I
any
think the problem
IPL
with
side.
Shanaka is that I think the problem, as I said, even as I said with Shanaka in ODIs, I think the same is true for IPL. He's a decent number seven who's not one of your fifth bowlers. So that's
Yeah,
what he
for
cannot
sure.
be higher than number
and
seven
in
in an
IPL
IPL
you
team,
and
and he
in an
cannot be one of
IPL
your
where you can play only four
five
foreigners, you
bowlers.
have to pick the four best.
Exactly.
It's not
So
like
teams don't see him getting into their 11, and that is why he gets unsold. Although he's a good
Yeah,
player, a good
I
hitter at the back end, but just not. He just does not instill as much confidence as some of the other players
yeah.
do.
I think
I don't
David
think
Visa is a
he'll
much better
even be your
than
first
Shanaka.
in
gone.
your first six bowlers.
David Visa gives
Yeah,
you
first
four overs
6 maybe,
every
but
game.
not first 5.
Five took chance in it. It gets in.
That is
I think that's why
close.
somebody.
Oh,
That's why I
either
think
way.
somebody David Visa is better than Shanaka because he gives you four overs every game.
That is given not out. 50-50 call. Someone Gary, we actually thought it is going to be out, but it's not.
Tripathi
And
didn't
Tripathi
take
doing too good in the field. I do hope he does equally well with the bat as well because he's someone I have seen as a potential India's T20I cricketer for a long time, for a couple of years actually, and after a long time he has gotten a chance. So I really hope he does his best with the bat, and Pune wicket should suit him as well. First of all, is it is his home ground for sure, but he likes the ball coming on to the bat, and that is what we have seen in this game so far.
He had a pretty good season with
And
Pune
should I
Super
mean one
Rising
more
Pune
He
thing.
Super
started
Giant
with
team.
Rising Pune Super
Yeah.
Giant, then KKR. KKR he did well as well also. RR also.
Number three,
RR was the only side who could not
number
use
seven,
him well
right?
because of Shane Warne's obsession with Darcy shot. He wanted Darcy shot to click for RR, and that is why Tripathi was continuously batting at 5-6, which is certainly not his spot. So yeah, that did not work.
Wait. Sorry to interrupt, but if I just looked at
Oh,
Shanaka's
so
numbers against
Okay.
spinners, right? Off spinners 88 strike rate, against left arm orthodox 83 strike rate, against leg
Oh,
spinners 96 strike rate. So basically,
okay. So basically
he's been poor
he
against
cannot
spinners in
get
general.
spinners.
DK.
DK.
Imagine being in a team where there is Hasaranga, there is Tikshana, and you can't play spin. So that's
But are these his overall T20 numbers or T20I numbers?
T20I
But
T20I
overall,
Yeah,
his
numbers.
T20I
Overall,
strike rate is less than 120.
that because he did
Yeah,
not started as a
because he
striker of the
is
ball or
no no.
back-to-back
Oh, Chahal.
sixes. Chahal back to his best.
Just
He
when he
had
fell in.
given 3 overs. He was 14 runs, 1 wicket. Now his 3.3 is shot up to 27. 3 more
See,
balls to
exactly.
go.
This
By
is
एक छक्का और
what I was
खाएगा
saying,
क्या?
Sanket. This is what
Yeah.
happens when you're playing the matchup, right? He takes a single and then you get exposed to the better batter.
yeah,
So
but I don't think like Sri Lanka don't exactly have a Glenn Maxwell or someone like
no,
Sri Lanka
Asalanka
is
is
decent,
quite
but I
good
don't
against
think he's
spin.
someone that you should be
No, I think
terrified
he's
of.
quite good against spin.
Yeah, but I don't think he's
Pace he
someone that
struggles, but
yeah. Still,
you have to
it's not
you
like I
can't.
would be terrified of bowling Sri
True, but it's Sri Lanka at the end of the day. Sri Lanka is their Maxwell. You
Yeah, I
can't
don't think Sri Lanka
compare.
has any batter against whom the bowler would be terrified to bowl to. I mean, they have a few good bowlers, but in terms of batting, I don't think they have that X factor as yet.
Then it becomes even more important to like use your resources wisely, which they did during the Asia Cup as well. Like
Mm.
sending out players, like the matchups becomes more important for them. You think teams like Sri Lanka are like slightly more creative or like open about changing
They
their
have
batting
to.
lineup
They have
than India?
to. They have, oh, four. Oh, not a four, but again, pretty good shot in the gap. So 3 runs or two only. Only two. So almost 16 runs, yeah. 16 run खा लिए
Two
थे
is
हमने
better for
last
Sri
में.
Lanka because that keeps Sri Lanka on strike.
This is, I mean, smart batting for a team that doesn't believe in smart batting.
Oh, almost.
Or one
Okay.
dot finally.
Still reasonable figures actually. 30 for 1.
I mean, if this is one of your better days, then I think you have issues. Like this is
He
probably the
has
best game,
issues. We all know that actually.
and
Now, also,
this is against
also
one of his favorable opponents. Like
I
Sri
had
Lanka,
one
are not
question in mind. Like I wanted to ask about. I mean, we want to see Bishnoi in place of Chahal, but say in countries like West Indies, don't you think you'd rather have someone who can contribute in like two departments? Say someone like Tewatia in that sense, because his bowling at this point of time is like not. If you compare Chahal's bowling and Tewatia's bowling, that
Tewatia
I don't know the
is
difference is. I
really,
mean, he's been doing well, but don't you think you'd rather want someone who can contribute in two departments?
But Tivatia is not. I don't
No, I'm
see him as
just
a leg
not talking.
spinner
No, I'm not
actually.
talking about Tewatia. I'm talking about say
Yeah, if
someone like
there is
Shahbaz Ahmed, Washington Sundar. Do you really
okay
need a
Then wouldn't
frontline leg
you give
spinner?
him Rahul?
front line leg spinner, but
Hardik,
Shahbaz.
in that case, wouldn't
No, no, I'm
you
saying do you
give
need a
somebody like
frontline leg
Rahul
spinner in
Char?
West Indies? Huh?
I think that's what.
Because Rahul Char has shown that he can bat and he's improved in the
Yeah, for
recent times.
Punjab.
So maybe they
I
can
think
try out Rahul Char.
No, but his
I think
numbers are still horrible. Like
But I think that's what Gurkirat said. I think in the last watch along that we did, that I think he said that he would rather have two accurate finger spinners in this in West Indies where the pitch is grip rather than a wrist spinner, because you don't necessarily need to do something like extraordinary there. You just need someone who can bowl in the right areas. And Akshar and Sundar both are capable batsmen. So I think that was the balance that he was talking about.
I know that
But
points
if you,
become even more valid in West Indies.
yeah, but if you're talking about leg spinner, then I don't think there is any option that can actually bat. Like Tewate is not a spinner. He's a
So that's what
batsman
I'm
who
saying.
can.
Like so, rather than just going for someone
That
like Bishnoi
is
or Chahal,
gone. Oh, man. Took it too easy
Tewatia
क्या
is
जो भी था
yeah,
वहाँ पे
Again,
बैठे
again,
हुए थे गेल.
like I think Tewate is as much of a bowling option as someone like Manus Labuschagne. Like
no,
Yeah, yeah.
Tewate is like your seventh bowling option.
Labuschagne is better than Tivatia
बहुत
maybe.
ज़्यादा हो रहा है.
भाई क्या but Tivatia is just ऐसे
know.
भाई just there's nothing else. Flatter balls. Labuschagne will still pick timely wickets. I don't expect that from Tivatia though.
Still, you're like he was one of the top wicket takers in Syed Mustaq Ali or Vijay Hazare.
So was Labuschagne in Pick Bash last year.
Oh yeah, he picked 2-3 wickets. In that.
See,
Every
Hardik, at the
game
end
he
of
was
the day,
getting
what's
wickets.
going to happen is India are going to pick Kuldeep. They're going to play him in the ODI World Cup and they're going to play him in the T20 World Cup. There's no second doubt about that. That's what is going to happen. He's going to start.
So we'll once again end up having 4 bowlers who can't bat.
No,
Gurkirat
one has
Baji
a
आएगी like in
century.
second innings. I don't know that.
He won't.
He won't.
No.
आज छुट्टी है भाई की.
Well-deserved break.
Needed for him as well.
You never know. अभी Hotstar में बैठ के देख रहा हूँ वहाँ पर.
One day you are taking 4 wickets, and next day you are going at an economy of 15. Yeah, for sure. This is Shiva Mavi is talking about, right?
Of course.
he's going
Yeah.
at 12, not 15.
भावनाओं
He's
में.
already predicting he'll end up at
15. Oh, Sri Lanka is batting over at a strike rate of over 200. After a long time, he is playing a fruitful knock for Sri Lanka in T20I
Played
actually.
really well against Australia at Perth, like on a pitch where
Yeah.
you're not expected to do well.
In the World Cup or the T20I series last year?
In the World T20, in the World T20.
Okay, I don't remember for some reason.
At Perth, it was like he got I think 36 of 19 or something.
Okay,
smash
he scored at the back end of the innings, right?
and smash
Yeah,
Pat Cummins in the final over.
yeah.
I think the last innings everybody remembers from him is the Sharjah one. I think everybody
Hmm.
fondly remembers the Sharjah innings against
If you're talking about ODIs, then him and this guy, the Gunit Walalage won them the ODI against Afghanistan
yeah,
Australia.
yeah.
last week.
Has Arshdeep only bowled 1 over?
Yeah, and he
I
has
would
been
have
in the
thought
field
that
as
he would
well
be in 12th
throughout.
now.
So
Now he won't be able to bowl his full quota.
So, yeah.
And he is your senior quick today. Like he's the seasoned performer.
yeah, for
No, no,
sure, he's the
Hardik is
leader
In
the
of
this,
this pack.
season.
Or Hardik,
Har-
shot. अरे this is
The
going
pace will.
nowhere. अब तो पकड़ लेगा भाई.
Oh, yeah.
See, how do you define a leader of the pack? Is when somebody takes a new ball, that's the leader of the pack. That's the pecking order. Yeah, that's
I
why
think he was
Australia, right?
leading the
Stark is
bowling
not.
attack in his second T20I only.
So Mohammad Hafiz was the leader of Pakistan's bowling attack for a few years. Then.
Pakistan's
Then
bowling
Imad
attack
Rashid.
no, but
was
for Australia, Pat Cummins bowls first change for Australia.
no, not red ball. I'm saying like in white ball.
Yeah, right.
But white ball as well, he has bowled first change a few times, right? Because they have
But
Hazelwood and they
he's
will
not
have
the leader.
someone else.
Stark starts.
He's not the main bowler in
Stark,
white
yeah,
ball.
Stark wise में सोच रहा था कोई लेफ्ट आर्म पेसर था उनके पास. So Shanaka and
I think
Hasranga time
Sushant
to
has
end
a
the
very
innings.
valid point.
Let's Sri Lanka 180 plus and you can actually test batters like Shubman Gill. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I remember. I mean, everybody. I think we doubted like Shubman Gill before that. The first half of the last IPL. I mean, he will not have a good strike rate and all of that. After 3 games, he had a average of nearly 100 and I think strike rate of 160 or something.
Yeah, I had a couple of
First half
90s,
of
no?
the
Yeah, he started
yeah,
with a couple of
exactly.
90. एक 80 था, एक 90 था बीच में.
I
But
think
every time
I think in
whenever
one
he
of the
plays a
matches,
big knock, he's able to accelerate. Oh, what a ball!
That's too quick for you, boy.
That was only 140.4. I think the speedometer is wrong because that just went past his bat in the blink of an eye.
Shivam Movi was bowling more than 140
Yeah,
in his under
exactly.
19 days.
उस पैच में तो हर कोई 140 के ऊपर फेंकता था भाई. नागरकोटी, पोरेल वगैरह जो भी आ रहा था, they were bowling 145 plus.
Arshdeep, seen that.
so I think in that match,
I mean,
in that
Angel
famous
Kekar
match
was
where
bowling 150.
Rahul
So
Tewatia hit in that match where Rahul Tewatia hit 2 sixes of Odin Smith to win the game. I think
Yeah.
they were chasing 190 and Shubman scored 90 at a strike rate of 160 or something like that.
Yeah, but the problem with him is he's a slow starter still. He does not really. If he's in for a long time, only that is when he's able to catch up. But otherwise, there have been more occasions where he has just started slow, and then he tries to pick his strike rate up, and then he perishes in that attempt. So in the end, it just becomes neither here nor there kind of a knock.
That's something what Rituraj
talking
also
about
does,
neither
right?
here not there is Hasaranga. Neither here not there. He's ended up in
Or
a very
Tanaka.
like terrible position here.
Babu Rao says Umran Malik did Hasranga on the length. Hasranga was expecting a short one. Could be because he was just caught up on his crease. So yeah, maybe he was expecting to go on the back foot, anticipating a short ball, but the ball was actually on good length and it was in line with the off stump as well. And just that top of the off stump mark as well, which troubles everybody.
And at that pace, I think it's just
But it was only 140.4.
no. It's
I mean,
Pretty
that's
sure
the
the
thing. No,
speedometer was wrong though.
no. It's the illusion of the pace. You know that this guy
Yeah,
can bowl 150,
yeah,
155. So you get prepared in that way, and then you end up.
yeah.
seen some of the pitches in West Indies. Do you think Umran fighting for that spot with Arshdeep for the second pacer spot? Because you'll have someone like Hardik. You might go with 2-3 spinners.
I don't think
don't-
Umran can
I
be a
still
second
see-
pacer because he can't bowl with the
Yeah,
new ball. He doesn't bowl in the
same
power play,
as-
so he's your third
In
pacer.
West Indies, you don't need Umran bowling with the new ball. I'm just saying, like, do you
True,
see
but
him
I
fighting for a
still
spot
see
with Arshdeep?
no, I still see Umran coming only as a replacement if something happens to Bumrah. I don't think he's
Shot,
entirely
yeah,
like
shot. Oh,
can play
follow
as
through.
a second.
No, as a Bumrah and
I think
Umran.
we can
And then
play
you have
if they
Hardik.
play three crosses.
They can play three spinners in West Indies in like at least a couple of pitches.
By the way, Karunaratne has a boundary, a
Yeah, I
ball
think also
too
depends
late.
on the pitches. Like not
No,
not
No,
all the
I was
pitches in
saying
the Caribbean are like three
no,
spinners.
that's what I'm saying. Just
Guyana
a
will
few.
probably be a three spinner track. Maybe Port of Spain. Yeah.
No, but the
Jamaica,
way they
Barbados, I think they
prepared
would probably play the
the
extra first.
CPL pitches last season, everything was a 100, 120 pitch.
Oh, yeah.
CPL is always
Yeah,
like
I,
that.
Yeah,
I'm expecting. I would expect better pitches for ICC tournament. Like, there are also some certain games in the
Good
UAE,
call.
right? In the USA, so those will be
yeah,
better
a lot
pitches
of hill.
than
Florida.
West Indies. Yeah,
That will be
that
200,
will have
200
flat pitches,
plus.
I would think. Yeah,
Shamika started with
very
a
short boundaries
boundary.
as
I
well.
think he's the ball too late in terms of collecting a four because last game Lanka needed a four of the last ball and he could
4
only
of last ball.
pick two. And now he has started with a boundary.
Not even
So
2.
just
He
the
only
ball
picked
too late.
1. No, he got run out.
Yeah, he only picked one. Yeah.
Next ball leave करेगा शायद.
अबे
Duck
क्या
किया.
बात है भाई, nice.
नहीं नहीं.
As close as you could get.
So
144, 20,
Sri Lanka currently have
20.
two batters at the crease. Sri Lanka currently
Sorry?
have two batters at the crease who both have actually got very good numbers against pace and are very poor against spin. I think both Shanaka and
I think that
Karunaratne.
is Sri Lanka's USP as well. I mean, they bat really deep. They don't have any X factor in their batting lineup per se, but they have Chamika Karunaratne at number 8, which I think it is pretty good. Having a batter like him, though, he's not someone who will play a big knock, but he can contribute with those 12 ball, 25, 30s, which could be really helpful.
So is Chamira still not fit or not picked?
I'm not sure about Chamira, but it is strange that if I think
Is he part of the squad?
huh?
Chamira is part of the
I
squad.
think he is.
No, he's not fit. I think he's still not fit.
No.
He's not part of the squad.
Yeah, he's not part of the squad.
Okay, then I think he's still injured.
Yeah. Because
So neither
injuries
IPL
in
teams are
the
picking him
World
nor
Cup.
his national team. So it must be a case of him suffering through an injury because otherwise I do a bowler of his quality should be in the team.
Caliber, yeah.
Yeah, his weight was totally on the back foot actually. Hasranga was actually anticipating a short ball. That's what I feel as well.
आएगा.
Is it? I mean, is it him just
मैं
anticipating a short
मैं
ball,
बोल
or
रहा
is
था
it more
हजरंगा
like
से ओपन कराने का और उसको फास्ट बॉलर की बॉल नहीं दिख रही.
yeah. Or did he go on the? I mean, Hardik will know this. Did he go on the back foot just because he'll have more time to face Umran, or is just he didn't anticipate?
And that was just that was the first ball he faced, right?
या फिर वो केन विलियमसन जैसे लेट खेलना चाह रहा था पीछे.
उस pace में क्या ही लेके खेलने वाला. He was just expecting, I mean, Umran
I
to
think-
target his body. I think.
So,
But has
as we
Hardik
were
forgotten कि हर्षदीप भी खेल रहा है?
Yeah, no, I think as we were discussing earlier, like about captains trying something different. So this could be like maybe he has forgotten about Arshdeep, or maybe this could be a tactic where he just wants to try out the newer bowlers like Shivam Mavi and Amran Malik, because already know what Arshdeep can deliver at the depth. So I think it will be interesting to see what Hardik Pandya says in the post match interview. That all will also depend on how this match
Yeah, but I
ends. I
think
think you would expect India to win pretty
Arshdeep,
comfortably.
either him or Arshdeep will have to bowl at least one more over because next
Yeah.
one would be Umran's last and then Mavi's last.
I think
Yeah.
Mavi will beat. I think next two back to back उससे करवा ले.
Arshdeep, yeah, maybe that can be a possibility.
Umran still has an over left.
Yeah, and he's on a hat trick.
Oh yeah.
The last time we said that a bowler is bowling in the 19th over just because we are trying him is nowhere to be seen. So just hope Mavi doesn't go in the same direction.
Double substitution. And the statsman is back in front.
Yes.
Oh, Yellow Army represent.
In front of camera.
Who's bowling this? Who's bowling this?
Umran Malik. He's on a hat
He's
trick,
on
by
a
the
hat
way.
trick now.
Yeah.
Hat trick ball, guys.
Hat-trick
Predictions,
ball.
quick predictions.
Hat-trick.
Oh, will he be the second Indian to get a hat trick?
In the air.
Oh, no.
And 4.
Boundary.
Shanaka belts him down the ground for 4.
क्या
He's
हुआ
saying the
वो?
revenge from last game.
ईद की जवाब पत्थर से.
ईट का जवाब पत्थर से. This was 151 by full prepared था.
151. इज्जत ही नहीं है.
So I think the prediction of around 170
I
looks
think
good.
Sanjay Bangad for Star did a package before the game began that how Shanaka struggles against the slower balls.
भाई वो पता नहीं कैसे यार like 2 बॉल से छक्का.
6.
सही है.
भाई
It's
के
just not
165.
slower balls. Against spinners, in general, he struggles. He has a strike rate of under 100 against all types of spin.
Slow.
Yes, basically
maybe
he struggles
slower balls
against
of other bowlers, not against Harshal Patel.
तो शुभ के 165 से तो ज्यादा बन रहा है.
But
180.
Guys, what is coming? Comment your final scores. Up to I mean, you guys have a significant advantage to what we had because we predicted the
I'm still
scores
sticking
midway.
to 170.
भाई वो अभी देखा like they're wearing something for covering over here.
Who?
हार्दिक ने तो अभी पहना था एक ब्लैक कलर का कुछ like some kind of a glove or something. I don't know how
It's
they
allowed,
started
right?
to how they have started to allow.
Because
it's not only Hardik.
catching will be easier. Yeah.
It becomes so easier.
Most batters have played Umran towards third man point, etc. using pace. Saw stat which said he's been cut more than average IPL bowlers and his shot was more off than average. Yeah, Pranav, I mean, इतना डिटेल में बोला है तो maybe you have a point here. But it makes sense,
This
right? I
reminds me
mean,
of that Shoaib Akhtar, this thing only, Sachin.
yeah. I mean, with that pace, if you can inevitably, even if you want to play in front, थोड़ा भी
Yeah,
edge लगेगा तो पीछे जाएगा.
anything outside of it's gonna go towards third man
Yeah.
only. Because he surprises with the pace, where back foot punch खेलना भी है, like it goes towards the third man itself because you'll be playing that late. Oh, कौन था भाई वो? Super athletic. Oh, Rahul Tripathi. Rahul Tripathi. Hey, what do you think? Where will he bat? Number 4.
4 looks like. Shanaka is
4.
Thala of Sri Lanka, doing same job.
Oh.
Big praise for Shanaka.
Depends on which version of
Except
Salah
he
you're
can-
talking about.
Shanaka भाई अपन
And one more thing, except he can play a high pace, unlike the OG.
अब अपने ही कैप्टन के मजे ले रहे हो सीएसके भाई.
वाह 6 more.
Or is it? It is. भाई,
So which
chance ही नहीं
which
है भाई वहाँ पे. एक any other fielder I would have
so Somesh, which IPL team?
been okay.
I don't support any team. I mean, Avnish tries
He's an open MI
tries
fan.
to
Convince.
He's an open
paint me as
MI
an
fan.
MI
but
fan.
I
And
don't
no
give a
ball.
damn.
देख बात.
I mean, MI fans have no reason to stay behind the door if they're actually MI fans.
Another no ball. Sixth of the match.
I was an MI fan, not even a proper, but I had a soft corner for them till the time Tendulkar was playing. But since then, तो कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the unique things about Sri Lanka.
भाई तो किसको गाली दे
One
रहा
of the
भाई?
few-
छोड़ दिया भाई यार. Bold.
Raja Human is saying, I think Shanaka is more suitable RR team, but he's unsold. So sad. Yeah, I think in the last IPL as well, after the IPL, we felt that he might be one of the replacement players. Not after
But
the IPL,
I don't think-
after the auction. Yeah.
Because RR were playing 5 proper bowlers. I don't think Shanaka could have been their 5th bowler. Like and they don't have a lot of bowling options in
No,
the top order either, like who
no,
can
they lacked an
pick up the slack.
all-rounder. No?
Unless
True. And that this is why they've gone for
unless
Holder, because they need a proper bowler.
yeah,
उमरान ने
Holder I
एकदम
think
से
is the
वक्त
right
बदल
right
दिया,
fit.
जज्बात बदल दिए यार.
Yorker or bold. Maybe they go 48 runs.
उमरान, I mean, seems a combination of Alan Donald and Dale Steyn to me. उसका पूरा एक्शन और सब कुछ.
भाई मेरे को तो ये उमेश यादव लगता है.
उमेश यादव.
Yes, उमेश यादव.
Maybe
A bit of Umesh
maybe a
Yadav.
younger version of Umesh Yadav.
A bit of Umesh Yadav. Like his action is very similar to Umesh Yadav.
Quite whippy.
But can he take so many popular wickets?
Hmm.
And same category
I
as
think
well.
most-
Wickets alongside runs.
Yeah, I mean, but
And
no
if he
no puns
can
on Umesh Yadav
replicate
in
the
front of
impact
Sanket. He's a big fan.
No, I'm saying like I'm praising.
Yeah. Umesh, obviously, being an Umesh Yadav is a praise. I mean, he's played so much. He's played so
he's one of the best
so
fast bowlers in
crucial
some
role
modern-
for India in red ball cricket at least.
Yeah.
in Asian conditions. He's been one of the best test fast bowlers of the last decade in
Yeah.
Asia.
I guess like Shami and him are the only bowlers who have been that successful in Asia.
Arshdeep, hope he doesn't bowl too many
And
no
he's done
balls.
well
here.
against done well against top sides.
He doesn't bowl no ball when he comes around the wicket. It's only when
Oh.
he bowls over the wicket that is when he does that. Because
Team
when
India
he's bowling
analysts,
around,
if you're watching us, please note this point.
what? Yeah.
That just get him to bowl around the wicket. Doesn't matter which batter is playing. Just
Because he goes way
bowl
too
around the
wide.
wicket. No ball.
He goes way too wide.
Run up वहाँ पे compensate कर लेता by going wide.
Let's see. I hope he doesn't prove me wrong, obviously. I don't want that to happen.
Let's see. Anticipated with
90
baited
over
there.
plus.
Oh, he's gone over the wicket. Maybe a no ball.
Oh, ball, bat, सब कुछ सही भाई. Shot यार. Shanaka has played a blinder.
Yeah.
He had to keep the series alive.
Half the time Shanaka plays
He's
anything is a
he's
blinder.
always been good against. He's always been good against India.
Yeah. I saw a stat where he's the top 5 run scorers out of both teams. India, Sri Lanka. He's the top 5 on the top 5 list. He's there.
Oh, nice.
चलेगा भाई, अच्छा बॉल था, ठीक है. एक आध शॉट तो लगता ही है.
Yes, Sushant, Shivam
Yes,
Avi will
he's
bowl
gonna
the
bowl the
last
last
over.
over.
Fine leg goes back. I
Or
think the
is
plan is
Hardik
to keep
Pandya
it
going
full,
to bowl the
which makes
last
sense.
over?
Wide outside off.
क्योंकि सारे long on of पीछे
Or
है.
else he's coming around the wicket. Yes. Boundary.
ओहो.
2.
राहुल त्रिपाठी full जोश में है भाई.
भाई, he feels really well. बहुत बढ़िया.
The best thing about players like him, Sanju and Sky, they're always, I mean, they seem jovial.
हाँ.
हमेशा हंसते रहेंगे कि भाई जो भी है बढ़िया है. And he made his first class debut in 2010. He's waited for 13 years for this opportunity.
Yeah. In these last 3 years has what made
Gone.
Oh,
Sky,
Surya.
the safe fielder. Shanaka finally goes. Rajiv Umar is saying Shanaka is better than Holder. Hetmeyer as a finisher. Holder maybe. Hetmeyer, I don't think so. It's a no ball. Unfortunately.
Oh, he's proved me wrong. He's proved me wrong.
आज टेप गलत हो गया. मैं बता रहा हूँ. पक्का मेजरिंग टेप गलत था. रनअप गलत मार्क हो गया है.
I think Hardik should
so
just go and
close,
say
so
like
close.
bowl from my measure up, my run up.
But Rajay, I mean, the point still remains that is he a 4-over bowler? Because I mean, they'd still need someone to bowl 4 overs if he's playing at number 7.
Wow. 13th
Or you're
over.
saying, oh, he means Shanaka over Hetmeyer? I think that's a stretch.
6.
6.
Yeah.
भाई ये तो 200 बन रहे हैं.
And there comes the competitive score.
राहुल द्रविड़ क्या लिख रहा है नोट्स में? मेजरिंग टेप सही रखेंगे अगली बार से. आई विल पर्सनली गो एंड चेक द मेजरिंग टेप
हाँ.
सही है कि नहीं.
अभी ऐसा ही होता है भाई. वो क्या ही कर सकता है,
Would,
मतलब लिख ही सकता है और
no,
कुछ नहीं कर सकता वो.
No. Somesh,
Yeah,
would
I'm just
Rahul
thinking
Dravid
that
now?
I'm just thinking that from his perspective, that what he must be writing at this point of time. What is the note that would have been taken from this ball?
Declare on 194. That's Rahul Dravid's note. Declare on
सुपर
194.
50 में बोलता है, आप अध्यापक है, आप अपनी खुद ना एक मोटी सी गाली चुन लीजिए जो आप बोल सके. वही बोलता होगा कि हाँ तुम खुद चुन लो कि क्या गाली दो तेरे को.
मैं तो दूंगा नहीं, तुम खुद को दो.
मिरर के सामने जाओ, खुद को गाली दे लो, बस हो गया.
Yes, Vikram, I agree. Let us keep saying the only
Another
chink
no
in
ball.
Arshdeep's armor, and
Another
he's gone
no ball.
overboard today. 5वीं नो बॉल है भाई, ये तो थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया.
Is this the most a bowler has bowled in a game?
जाओ भाई.
But the only thing is that no ball 5.
I think mid innings, but I mean, is this stat
the
up your
eighth,
alley?
actually 8th, no, I guess among the top 10 nations, yet all the test playing nations, this must be the most no balls bowled by a team in an innings.
But Anirudh will definitely confirm that for us during
I'll
mid
confirm
innings.
it. As of I remember, 10 is the most, which is UAE or Oman or somebody. So there were a lot of 7s and 6s.
Ball.
So I think Hardik
tell
was
me
talking
another
to
no ball.
Arshdeep, right? I think he said that only. थोड़ा आगे या पीछे लूं उसको रन अप.
उसको यही बोल रहा होगा कि अच्छा था, मैं भूल गया था कि तू भी है इस टीम में.
But like, how can you mess up the run up so badly to bowl 7 no balls in 5 no balls?
हो जाता है यार. गलती
भाई
से होती है.
वो नहीं हो सकता भाई, इसलिए तुम.
भाई ये भी बहुत आगे ही लग रहा है मुझे. Should bowling coach be sacked now? किस को सैक करोगे सुशांत भाई?
भाई को bowling coach
Catch
क्या
पकड़ा
करेगा
नहीं जा रहा है.
भाई?
Arshdeep has an economy of 12.3 death in his last 10 T20s.
The India curse.
Something to ponder upon.
भाई जो गलती फील्ड पे होता है उसके लिए कोच को ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते भाई. कोच ने नहीं बोला होगा कि हाँ ये तुम नो बॉल की चिंता मत करो, खाली डालते रहो. कोई कोच नहीं बोलेगा.
But I've seen a lot of bowlers actually when they practice in nets, they do not
care. They do not care.
They actually
do not care actually.
Yeah. Probably that then seeps in.
So since the time Bharat Tarun has been the coach, like every coach stands over there and tells them not to bowl. It's not only with Paras Mamre, right? It's not only with Paras Mamre or anybody. Even when Bharat Tarun was there, like that is what he used to tell. ले भाई
इस लेंथ पे तो शानका बहुत मारेगा भाई.
स्लोअर बॉल किसने पूछा था? स्लोअर बॉल संजय बंगार.
नहीं, बट ये लेंथ सही नहीं है. Either it should be slower, very short, or slower थोड़ा ऊपर, wide.
Before this over started, in the last 5 overs, India considered 73 runs.
Amazing. But good. I mean, this game has become interesting. India's batting would be worth watching.
India's batting will be tested now. At least last 30 balls, 78. Wow.
He's a better
इंडियन
version
ने
of Russell,
Shanaka को
at
रसल
least
बना
in
दिया.
T20Is.
Bold. Nice. अब बनेगा मजा. अब बढ़ेगा मजा.
You know, Hardik Pandya is Chammika Karunaratne's favorite player. Idol, so to speak.
Ideals. Sorry, idols. भाई सबका होता है ना भाई ये.
बट किसी ने नहीं सोचा था कि मेहदी हसन का रमेश पवार होगा.
रमेश पवार
बट है जो है सो है.
भाई उस जमाने का बहुत बढ़िया बॉलर था भाई वो.
यार बैटिंग भी कर लेता था.
हाँ बैटिंग कर लेता था वो अलग बात है, लेकिन वो जेंट्स वर्जन ऑफ पूनम यादव है वो, बस और कुछ नहीं.
वेरी स्लो लूपी.
I
लूपी.
thought you were going to say.
लूपी
I
नहीं
thought you were
भाई
going to
वो.
say cricketing version of Adnan Sami, but okay.
वो लूप
भाई रिटायरमेंट के बाद कोई कुछ भी करे.
भाई लूप भी नहीं भाई, जो फिशिंग के लिए ऐसे डालते हैं ना, पूरा ऐसा जाता है पूरा ऊपर.
दो 200 बन रहे.
हाँ बन जाएगा भाई, आसानी से बन जाएगा. अभी एक छक्का पड़ेगा देखो.
Oh, 6. 200 is up.
कैसे बोला, अभी एक छक्का पड़ेगा देखो.
What a knock from Shanaka.
50 of 20. वाओ.
अगर ये सीरीज दिसंबर में हुई होती ना तो अभी आईपीएल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता शानका के पास.
भाई वो पहले
year-
सीरीज में
Last year
2022 वाले
he
सीरीज में भी
performed
उसको
before this
लेना
thing
था.
only, no? Before the IPL
कहाँ से
auction,
हुआ?
but he didn't get.
I don't think that was before the auction.
That
That
was
was
not
later.
before the auction. At least तुम्हारा जब कोई बंदा इंजर हुआ तब तो you could have got him in at least.
एक्चुअली वही हम सोच रहे थे लास्ट ईयर भी कि इंजरी के बाद आएगा, बट
बोल्ड
नहीं आया. मेक सेंस.
ये वही है ना, मतलब
समीर संतोष इज सेइंग आवर 19 ओवर कर्स कंटिन्यूज अगेन एंड अगेन. हाँ भाई, तो अब वो बुमराह आके ही संभालेगा 19th ओवर.
शायद one odd game maybe.
But this is good, guys. I mean, I wanted India to bat first so that the batting is tested. But now, inevitably, the batting will be tested.
Inevitably will be tested. लेकिन उनका वही है ना, हसारंगा को खेलना पड़ेगा मिडिल ओवर्स में.
और तिक्सेना को पावर प्ले में. FOMO.
So they end on 204.
6. Wow. 206.
So after a 4-wicket game, Mavi goes for 53 without a wicket in his second game.
सही है.
This partnership is 68 of 27 balls. Wow.
Harshal Patel like figures for Shivam Mavi. What is Hardik so pissed about? No balls.
पिच नहीं भाई, वो आके जाके कंग्रेचुलेट कर रहा था. अच्छा इनिंग्स
बट थोड़ा गुस्से में कंग्रेचुलेट कर रहा था. बहुत अच्छा खेले तुम, बहुत अच्छा.
हाँ बच गए तुम.
आउट था वो, आउट. लकी डे.
चलो भाई मैं किसी को भेजता हूँ.
बिल्कुल.
अपना
So,
स्टैट्स भी देख लेते हैं.
Please arrange
Akash, what do you think?
a guy for me also.
How do you feel this game to be progressing from here?
I just want to see Rahul Tripathi finishing this game. That's all. I don't care about how it happens, when it happens. Even if he comes at number 7, I don't care. I just want to see Rahul Tripathi finishing the game.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'm just thinking that probably he'll come at 4. Maybe at 3 as
I
well.
think he should come at 3.
Yeah, but then in the last game, India had Sky at 3. So why would they change
I
it?
mean, I know, but Sky is again good at 4 as well. So could just play in there. Because Tripathi is genuinely good. And by the time you just delay everybody, right? So
Shanaka 56
But
of
Hardik should
22,
be the
6
finisher.
sixes.
What a knock.
I mean, Shanaka, we were also discussing before he came out to bat that he is not a proper batter. You won't bat him above 6, 7.
Hmm.
Shanaka is a guy who gives the feeling that he has not studied for the exam, but he will be the highest scorer. Today is literally the highest run scorer for Sri Lanka. 56 of 22 balls. What a knock!
He's basically like Russell from the KKR, the season where Russell said, "No, no, I'm scoring runs. I have to bat at number four." He's just like that. And once he bats
Yeah.
at number four, he won't get enough runs.
Yeah.
The best part about this is Akash trying to actually speak like Russell as well. No, no.
Mm.
Prediction: do you think India will chase this?
I think tough है because Sri Lankan spinners are quite good and India वाले मेरे को लगता है it will be the same thing.
Hmm.
That
But yeah,
I have to go for a couple of minutes. I will be back.
maybe we can make this a bald panel again.
Play bald.
Play bald. But at least the series will be set really well if Sri
Yeah,
Lanka
not like
actually
a lot
wins.
of people care about the series.
Yeah, but
It's
still
like-
better to watch a game where something is alive than watching a dead
Yeah.
rubber.
So you're saying you won't watch the third T20, which is going to be a dead rubber.
I will, but many won't.
Yeah,
अपना
I
तो
mean, again,
काम
it'll be
है.
interesting who is India's finisher. I want to know that. Is it still Deepak Huda, or will you? I mean, given Rahul Tripathi is batting, would you keep Hardik Pandya also as the second finisher and then just
But I
that
think
will
5,
be
6, 7 तो सब finisher ही होते हैं.
yeah, but hopefully they don't play around and do something very random, like sending a
Hopefully.
Hardik at 4. Who is the third
I
fastest
don't.
Sri Lankan to get to a 50 of 20?
No, this is the fastest
No,
T20
wait,
50 for Sri Lanka.
yeah, and it's the third fastest against India, I think. In India
Hmm.
or no, against India, yeah, because Cameron Green was the fastest, and then I think was it Evan Lewis or Johnson Charles, one of them in the Lauderhill game, and then this Shanaka. So yeah,
So interestingly, when Shanaka reached his 50, Sangha in the commentary was saying no team bought him in the IPL. Maybe we need to rethink our strategies. It is big coming from someone who is already in the management group of one of the teams. And maybe Sangha
Yeah.
was thinking holder की जगह Shanaka डालिए.
But वही हम discuss कर रहे थे ये चीज कि is Shanaka a 4-over bowler?
He's
That-
not. He's
That
nowhere
is the
near a
reason I
4 over.
think too tricky a buy for a largely one-sided player, one-dimensional player, and the point is even his batting it's not that consistent, right? I mean, if you're gonna
Although
bat,
he has batted quite consistently over the last 12 months,
true,
but yeah,
but
I
at
can
the
understand that
position-
he does not instill that confidence in the franchises as well.
and the reason is only because obviously 4 overseas, right? अगर
Yeah, exactly.
overseas ज़्यादा होते तो maybe definitely would have given a.
So that is where he will get a good chance in ILT 20 for
Yeah.
Dubai Capitals because वहाँ पे no overseas players allowed है. So
no, I
the
mean
outside-
they're 11. All 11 are overseas only.
and
By the way,
Indians.
T20 won't be given a official T20 status.
yeah, I really want someone to go past Chris Gale's 175 and then that score won't be registered as the
Yeah.
highest T20I individual or T20 individual score. The outcast says yes,
Wait.
Arshdeep was poor, but that's the problem with these so-called fans. One bad performance and they start trolling and want everyone to be dropped, sacked. Yeah, for sure. And
True.
this actually holds true for players who perform only once as well. Because Shivam Mavi, with all due respect to him, I don't think he's there yet as an international cricketer. And when he picked that 4 for 20 odd in the last game, everyone was going gaga about him. But again, he's back to how much did he concede today? 53.
Normal services
Yeah.
resume.
Yeah, so it is true on both sides. Actually, we should not put a player on the pedestal after one brilliant game, and it holds true vice versa as well. Samish Santosh says, "Do you
But
see a
why? Why? I mean, I don't know why people. I mean, I don't. I've seen this with India fans more than other countries. Why do we want so much change? And then at the end of the day, when India doesn't perform on big stages, then we blame these experiments. That bhai itna experiment kiya.
this is
Why would you want
I,
to do it?
first of all, I blame the आबादी जो इस देश की है
Ah,
जितने लोग उतने ज्यादा opinions
because
and
if you replace a number 4 player with another number 4 player, play him at number 4. I mean, back your moves. Now, why would you chop and change this much?
Or
कुछ
Max
अपना role
bat
ही
him
नहीं
at
पता.
number 3. It's not.
The biggest
Yeah,
biggest
Max bat
issue.
him at 3. No, don't be like open with him.
Yeah, and the biggest issue with Indian T20 cricket has always been role definition. Players have hardly
Yeah.
known their role.
करना क्या है वो तो
Wait,
बताओ.
before we get to the second innings, in the last 5 knocks against India, Shanaka has scored 255 runs at a strike rate of 205. That should really just last 5 knocks. He scored 255 runs and at a strike rate of 205. That's like
So if there is one
insane.
batter who has really enjoyed India's poor record at the death with the ball, then that guy is Chanaka actually, because that is how he started last year when India played Sri Lanka in that 3-match T20 series. That is from where he really picked up, and again he picked up Harshal Patel really well. He was smashing him
Yeah.
all around the park, and from there on, Chanaka has been a different batter actually. From after that, he smashed Hazelwood. Basically, everyone who came in front of him at the
Kane
death, he has
Richards
been
and
really good.
Hazelwood. Mm.
Hmm. Speaking about Hazelwood getting a go in place of Boland, Akash, what did you think about it? Because of its home ground, because it's his home ground.
I guess whose home ground? Hazelwood's.
Hazelwood, Sydney.
Yeah, maybe I see. The thing is, I just feel like they want Hazelwood to get some game time before coming to India because worst case, if somebody gets injured, they'll need Hazelwood. So that's why they're giving him the chance, and they know that Boland is pretty warmed up, so they can just unleash him at any time.
या
That's
फिर
the
उनको पता
only
है
thing.
कि 5 में से 2 दिन तो इफेक्टिवली बारिश ही होनी है.
और साउथ अफ्रीका को
Yeah.
1.5 दिन से ज्यादा बैटिंग करनी है नहीं अक्रॉस देयर टू इनिंग्स.
Exactly. Yeah. So
By the way, do
expect
you guys think
Travis Head to pick a 5-4.
yeah, by the way, do you guys think Australia have the most secure fast bowling resources in
For
Test
sure,
cricket
for
right
sure.
now?
Yeah.
Because Boland, Michael Neser, Jai
Naser,
Richardson, I think
Lance Morris.
ये ठीक है, but I think Jai Richardson is an excellent bowler, and if he is
Sure,
not in
yeah.
the side, वो इतना pecking order में पीछे चला गया है, so yeah, Australia. Hmm.
And most of them are fit, unlike England.
So if Gill starts slow today, what will you feel about it? I mean, just so suppose after 5 overs, Gill is 15 of 12 balls. What would you feel about that knock? That अच्छा ठीक है cover कर लेगा और
Cover कर भी
would
लेगा
be
तो
like-
भी खराब ही knock है. I mean, the point
hurt.
is, I mean, in my opinion, Gill in this squad was always
Questionable, first of
meant that they're mixed formats.
Uh-huh.
I don't see him as a T20 player as of now.
Especially when you have better options at your
Especially as an
at your
opener, as an
at your
opener. I mean,
disposal.
I understand कि कोई ऑलराउंडर है तो खिला लो या कोई मिडिल ऑर्डर प्लेयर है या स्पेसिफिक स्किल सेट के साथ आ रहा है तो खिला लो बट
Anything below 16 power play is not good for India. Okay, that's
True.
interesting. But
This is where
पिछले
Shubh, I
गेम में
think,
मैं जस्टिफाई
First
करने का
game
ट्राई
चला
कर रहा था कि एटलीस्ट श्रीलंका के साथ स्पिनर्स हैं गिल प्ले स्पिन डिसेंटली वेल फिर वो ठीक से नॉक आउट हो गया.
Shubh, this is where I think if Ashwin was in the dugout, he would just pull and drag Gill out of the. If he was on 5 or 15, be like, please come. Retired out, it's enough. We've seen a lot. That's what I think. More radical. Maybe India are very scared to be radical, as Ashwin said. Maybe that's what the.
But I
need
think
of
Ishan
now is.
Kishan's stock will be very important here because I'm not expecting big shots from Gill first up. It has to be Ishan Kishan. But having said that, Dilshan Madhushanka to bowl the first over, he is pretty good with swinging the ball, right? And Pune is
Yeah,
a place where the ball swings early on.
Mm.
So
early
it
on.
could be a
Yes.
case where India try to go too hard and then they are 10 for 3 or something like that. In that case, though, the game is gone, we all know. But the first 3 4 overs will be very crucial because it could go either ways. India can also gain a good start in terms of a number of boundaries, or Sri Lanka can also get early wickets. Oh, nice ball.
I
Hey,
just hope
even
Swinging
the
all
the
last
the
game,
ball.
I think
all these.
Kishan started very well, and then he slowed down, and then he again picked up pace. So hopefully it
Yeah,
doesn't happen today as well.
I just hope Rahul Dravid releases all his notes after his tenure as in a book or something. But actually, a lot of people are waiting for Rahul Dravid's book to come out. But I not just because of his coaching tenure, from his playing days as well. Because people who've written books from autobiographies from that time have actually overlooked the controversial things. So probably let's
I
see.
don't think Dravid will interest them as well. He's a very
Oh,
safe guy in that regard, but it would be interesting if he comes out very, if he puts out everything like Faf did, like
uh,
Faf has done. So, but if Dravid's though that rough notebook is released, I think it will carry that four-letter word a lot, which starts with S. Just addressing the batting approach and the death bowling of the Indian team. Jisko bhi khilao. Everyone is that.
most of the time when he's writing, I feel he writes, "Here we go again."
Here we go again.
Oh ball.
If Babar Azam releases any of his notebooks, it would be just one word repeated several times. Definitely, definitely, definitely.
Definitely.
Whatever you ask him, छोटी बच्ची हो क्या? Definitely. क्या
Definitely.
आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है? Definitely. Whatever you ask him, he will start with that word.
Yeah, Hemant feels Gill is going to be crucial. Maybe.
It
Let's see.
depends on how he starts, because if he starts slow, then he will be crucial for Sri Lanka. But
No, at
yeah,
this
let's
rate,
see.
every batter has to be crucial. Given that India is just one, I mean, one
Good
batter short,
ball.
everybody has to be crucial.
It was a good ball, but did he play it properly? It was a half-hearted drive.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was
Ishan
he was
Kishan.
very lucky not to edge that one.
See, there are only two versions of Ishan Kishan. One is tentative, the other is just kitchen sink.
Kitchen sink.
Kitchens,
Kishan sink.
Kishan sink.
kitchen sink.
Oh,
Okay,
Tripathi
at
fired
this
up
point,
at 3-2.
He should be one down, yeah. With
I'll take a
that
small break
Dinesh Karthik
and be
has it.
right back.
Okay, so Akash has gone for a little breather. So it's just
Us
for
two right now.
us to entertain.
Okay. I hope it is Ishan Kishan who entertains us as well. Otherwise, it will be a big problem. So, भाई तुम कह रहे थे you want Sri Lanka to score some runs. इतना सही है क्या?
चलेगा
Yeah,
ना
you are
भाई।
like कि चलो ठीक
अगर
है
ये गेम
कोई
नहीं भी जीते
देखते
तो भी चलेगा, एटलीस्ट आखिरी गेम में कुछ देखने लायक होगा। there'll be something to fight for.
There was a comment when I was with Shaunak. He showed me a comment where a guy was actually saying that these guys only play for money in these games, etc. मैंने कहा भाई bilateral श्रीलंका के साथ पैसे के लिए खेल लो भाई, ठीक है यार। इतना वर्ल्ड कप
मिले तो चांस तो मिले।
मिले तो सही। ओ 5 runs।
चलो ठीक है, ऐसे ही बन जाए रन।
वो जो 5 नो बॉल फेंकी थी हमने, उसका कुछ तो उधार चुकता करा है मधुशंकर ने।
एक बार में 5 वो रन दे दिए हैं। ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हैं, अबे इनके पैसे काटो।
ये रहा, वही
पैसे बना रहे हैं,
comment आ
देश के
गया।
लिए खेलना और जीतना इनके लिए सेकेंडरी है।
तो ठीक है भाई,
कहाँ से काटोगे पैसे? मतलब कैसे काटोगे? I firmly believe that for India to win ICC tournaments, they have to lose a few bilateral games and not series.
Exactly.
Because
भाई biggest example, Australia lost the
shot यार, भाई देखने में तो उसका तोड़ ही नहीं है यार।
short arm jab
Aesthetically,
especially.
Gill is one of the best batters to watch at the moment.
I was saying something, I don't remember it now.
Australia lost everything.
No, so yeah, right before the T20 World Cup that they won in 2021, they lost a T20I series in West Indies. They lost a T20I series in Bangladesh as well, and both those teams actually performed very mediocre in the main tournament itself. Similarly, New Zealand lost in Bangladesh as well, and New Zealand and Australia went on to play the final.
Yeah.
So I mean, bilateral.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया वही
it is
टैक्टिक
totally
अपनाने
fine.
का ट्राई कर रहा था when they lost to England before this year's World Cup. कि हार के पहुंचेंगे.
हार के पहुंचेंगे.
They were experimenting as well. Stark was reduced to a middle over bowlers in that series.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's okay to lose these bilaterals now. We all accept that इनका significance it is next to nothing right now. So हार जाओ
Glorified
भाई ठीक है
friendlies.
यार. हाँ.
Bolden
भाई लग गए. और कसन राजिता पुणे. The Pune demolisher for India. He picked 3
Home ground है भाई
something.
Kasun
कसन राजिता का home ground है भाई सही में.
Guys, who's more classical batter? Gill or Roshan? Of course, Gill.
Who's more talented? That is
अरे बाप रे.
a tougher question. Because Rohit Sharma has built his career on that level
Rohit
actually.
talented Sharma.
हाँ. बहुत थी यार, but it just he was not playing it late enough. But again, it's not test match, so चलता है. Or what a perfect ball from Rajita yaar. He drew the batter into the shot and then the ball swung.
This was a pace bowler version of how East Sodi dismissed that second Pakistani wicket today.
Oh, अच्छा देखा नहीं यार वो तो. Because I was getting ready to rush to office. So अब क्या लगता है भाई क्या
राजस्थान
chances
कैसे
है?
होम ग्राउंड है पुणे भाई वो पिछली बार 2016 में वही कहर मचाया था जब इंडिया
So Rajasthan's T20I debut was in 2016 at Pune. He picked 3 for 20 odd, 3 for 29. And that game is the last time when Sri Lanka defeated India in India 2016. So I think the history is going to repeat itself. It's on course so far.
Here is the man. Here is the man.
Unless Rahul Tripathi, another
waited
debutant, turned the tables. We really are excited to watch him bat. Guys, why Tripathi ahead of Surya? Because I think Tripathi के लिए number 3 ज़्यादा suit करता है, and Surya can bat at 4. That is what he has done for India for in a majority of the T20I games that he has played. So I think it is fine. It is a fair call. Tripathi at 1 down.
Well left.
Don't mind it because ठीक था यार वो ball. It was worth leaving. Though it was wide, but चलता है. What is India's win percentage now on Crickletics? 18%. The innings started at 30% for India, but it has gone down to 18.
Gill Pant are playing T20 game in test match. But coming to T20 playing a test match game.
I think that Gawa knock was the only time Gill played a quick knock in test cricket as well. Apart from that, he has been quite methodical.
Oh, second ball, he comes on the track and hits
Short
it.
boy, first runs in international cricket, and that's a boundary. BSNL चौका.
पहली बॉल sign of nerves थे और second ball पे तो भाई उन्होंने कहा काय के nerves कौन से nerves.
पहली ball you just वो होता है ना you have to spend some time in the middle. पहली ball देखी खत्म अगली ball मारो भाई. And charge down the track as well, bro. Some confidence is
intent.
KL राहुल को दिखाओ भाई ये पहली 2 बॉलें राहुल त्रिपाठी के नॉक की. And he seems a lot jittery at the crease as well, but again
4 more.
चलो भाई मिल गया चौका किसी तरह से by hook or by crook. रजिता is like ये मैं यहाँ का जयकांत शिखरे हूँ और ये उसने मुझे 2 चौके निपटा दिए. त्रिपाठी up and running. Yeah.
अंपायर किसको बुला रहा है?
भाई पर ये I mean this is a bit too much. Oh, it's not a boundary of the bat, of the helmet.
Actually, his bat I think got stuck between his pads जब वो try कर रहा था.
I think it's a very strange shot for a player who is facing only the 3rd ball of his international career after waiting so long in the wings.
Proof करना चाहता है कि भाई अपने को डर नहीं है किसी का.
अपने को डर नहीं है भाई. ओ concussion check. अरे यार.
अब helmet change होगा. This
is where cricket is.
Physios like ये वाला helmet दूसरा भी नहीं है. तुम अलग टाइप का helmet पहने हो. कहाँ से change करें? This is where I feel sometimes cricket is restricted by its own
फाउंडेशन की भाई
idiosyncrasies.
कुछ भी मतलब यार यहाँ पे आई थिंक त्रिपाठी वाज आल्सो सरप्राइज भाई इसके लिए क्यों आ गए तुम यार खेल रहा था अच्छा खासा ये तो भाई
मोमेंटम
चौके
मत ब्रेक करो,
लगे थे
बढ़िया
भाई
सर
यार
हेडर मार के बाउंड्री लिए मैं।
So after these two boundaries, what is India? Oh, bhai sahab. So at the start of the innings, India's win percentage was 30. After Ishan Kishan's dismissal, it went down to 80. Now it is back to 27. So this is what those two
दो चौके में
these
9%
two
बढ़ गया।
boundaries have done. Tripathi is like, bro, I know Pune pitch so well, better than you guys. This is Shanakan boys. Nicely played, 1 run only. Tripathi was eager to run the second one on this too. He was disappointed. He was just like, क्या यार second भी था.
थोड़ा और स्लो मारना चाहिए था मुझे।
Is this a song from that Kantara, that main song? I don't know because I did not understood that song at all.
Sorry, Raja, you lost us there.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the
But
comment.
it means change come when he came.
Like a fire.
अरे यार
Short arm jab,
मूड खराब
mistimed,
कर दिया भाई बिल्कुल.
completely mistimed, and Gill goes.
What was that though? This is another half-hearted shot. भाई मारना है तो पूरा मारो यार shot.
वो ये shot अच्छा खेलता है, but I think this ball was slightly fuller for that shot.
Also, I think he was not confident about it. I think while playing that shot, he realized that he has chosen the wrong shot, and वो बीच में half-hearted रह गया and edge लगा फिर.
And Rahul Dravid made one more note of here we go again.
Again, that 4-letter word that starts with this. राजेता अगेन भाई 2 विकेट निकाल चुका है. मतलब राजेता has bowled 5 overs in Pune now and he has picked 5 wickets.
5 wickets. A wicket and over. Which is basically a strike rate of 6.
And with that, India's win percentage has gone down to 16 now.
But I think
this could be a blessing in disguise.
I think for all lovers of T20 cricket and shot making, there can be no better batting partnership than having Tripathi and Sky batting together. So probably, I mean, we should brace ourselves. We don't even know if it'll ever happen again, but at least it has happened today. So yeah, I mean, the moment that I've waited for these two sexy T20 batters.
This is where the outcome of the game goes out of the window and you just want to watch two batters. Oh गया क्या? चलो भाई खत्म करें आज का Watchalong अपन भी या फिर करना है और we have to sit through the pain.
Jinxed it. Jinxed it big time.
I hope Tripathi gets the next game too though.
No ball नहीं है क्या?
Okay.
भाई बड़ी मनूस घड़ी में है वो.
मनूस घड़ी में.
We're actually talking about how for a T20 cricket fan watching Sky and Tripathi batting together can be a feast, but it lasted only one ball. So now we are back to Sky and his old Mumbai Indians teammate. Game over already or not till Sky is around? What do you think, Sanket?
Yeah, I think he's pulled games off from like worse situations in this. I think the game against England when they were chasing 220 and he almost pulled it off, scored 100 of like 40 deliveries or something like that. So
England game,
and this is it's not the greatest attack in the world. So it's a decent
हम
attack.
लोग बैठे ना अभी.
It's not beyond Sky.
But the conditions right now, I think it is a lot different from that Nottingham game. Ooh.
Yeah.
Because the spinners will also come into the effect now, so it will largely depends on how Surya tackles the spin duo of Tikshana and Hasranga. And also, Hardik, though the sample size is low, but in T20Is, Hardik has a strike rate of under 100 against both Hasranga and Tikshana. So let's see how that fares for India.
Where is the next T20, by the way?
Saturday.
No, I mean, where venue?
I think it's the Rajkot.
वेन्यू तो भाई हमारी ऐप पे चेक करके बताते हैं आपको.
Yes, Rajkot. Another
I
good
think
batting
that.
wicket.
So I think that should suit India. Good batting surface.
Hmm.
Sri Lanka should have won the last one. I think that was a match that was actually just right up their alley, like a
सीरीज ही खत्म हो
160.
जाती है भाई अभी.
भी निपट जाती भाई अभी
Yeah,
तो फिर.
like that was I think the best chance to win a series in India. I don't think they won a bilateral series in India like in any format.
No.
Like I don't remember when was the last time they did. They obviously never won a
They
test
have
here.
not
I
won
don't
any
when
test
was the last
matches
time they won
in
a
India.
series. They've not won any test, not even a series, like let alone a series.
तो बाबर फेयर पॉइंट यार. मतलब इन्होंने जब 5 वाइड्स मारा था तब भी मुझे लग रहा था कि यार और 5 वाइड्स हो, कम से कम कहीं से तो हिसाब बराबर
Should
करो, बैलेंस
cancel
आउट
their
करो.
IPL contracts. कितनों के पास है वैसे? I mean, अभी
I
because
think
Samira भी
fewer
नहीं
than
है,
last
but
time. Definitely last
maybe
time.
he's talking about
Karuna,
Sanka
last time
and
Karuna Ratne भी था and
but what about Sanka and Jayawardene
So looking ahead to the
and Woodley,
ODIs,
of course.
like do you think like what is the situation like with the second opener? Is it going to be Ishan Kishan after the double hundred, or are they going to go with Shubman Gill's larger sample size, where he's performed one of the best ODI batters last year in 2022, or are they going to go for the guy who's got the double hundred? Obviously, he's a left-hander, and in the absence of Pant, he is a specialist wicket-keeper. Unless otherwise they have to go back to KL Rahul for keeping wickets.
I think they will be tempted to go with Ishan Kishan, but I think it's fair to go with Gill
In T20s.
Yeah,
in ODIs.
ODIs पे तो
Yeah.
बिल्कुल भाई
I think
ODIs में तो should be
Gill
Gill.
is easily the superior. Gill is easily the superior player.
Are we the farmers? आप बताओ.
ना मुझे सवाल समझ आया ना जवाब.
नहीं नाम.
हाँ,
M
नहीं
Shea.
नाम.
He has a. Is that Messi? Yeah, I think it's Messi.
Yeah, jersey number 10.
So maybe Sanket, if you know understand the reference, maybe you can tell us about it because we don't.
Sorry,
Just that it's
The
Barcelona
reference
jersey.
of this
What's the
comment,
question?
maybe.
the farmer comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Mm.
because I think
Oh.
Missed again. Would you mind India taking their time now, these two, for the next 3 overs? Because Hardik will take his time. I don't think he will be just
Yeah, but I
smashing it
feel
around the
Sri
park.
Lankan spinners would be much more tougher to hit than pacers. So anywhere you have to
अभी मारना है तो
make
मार
up.
लो बाद में तो वैसे ही मैच
बाद में तो वैसे भी
नहीं
नहीं.
बचेगा. Tikshana
And this is where India's
and
thin batting lineup will be exposed, right? It's like it stops at 7, and even 7 is Aksar Patel, जिसको तुम हर दिन मैच विनिंग नॉक खेलने का नहीं सोच सकते.
So we will see Shivam Mavi, the batter now.
Yeah, maybe tonight is the night of Shivam Mavi, the batter.
और with the farmers मतलब
like
क्या हम ही बेकार है like
Oh, क्या हम ही बेकार हैं. ठीक है यार, अभी ठीक है. मतलब बहुत सारे
I
तो
think
नहीं, but there are a few players from the first 11 who are not playing, and Sri Lanka are playing the best 11, so चलता है.
no, but
I
like what is
think
their first 11? Like, are you thinking that Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, and Virat Kohli are actually in the best 11?
no, not really. I just I meant Bumrah. Bumrah isn't
Yeah,
available, and who
bowlers.
else?
Yeah.
Who else?
Mm,
Yeah, and I don't
maybe
think Gill is in the first
again.
11 yet,
But
but
do we know our best
Maybe.
11 at all? Are we
not
anywhere
really. We're in
close
the
to know
process
our?
of
We have
identifying.
been in the process of identifying that for a couple of years now. In
Yeah, I mean,
podcast.
I
I
don't
think
think Rohit,
there are
KL,
players
and
even in
Virat
this.
should be anywhere near this T20 side, to be very honest.
And a big reason why India are not
Yeah, and I
anywhere
think
close.
like if
Yeah, Sanket, go
I
on.
think there are even players in this very squad who would actually be an upgrade in today's 11. I think that is Washington Sundar. Like he should be a regular in the T20
Hmm.
side,
Yeah, I was surprised
but for
Sundar
some
is
reason
not
he's
there.
not being. Even though he's been doing well in ODIs in recent times, but somehow he's not getting a run in the T20 side. When actually he came to the side as a T20 specialist, and then he made his Test debut and suddenly became this middle order Test batter. And now he's suddenly an ODI specialist who's not getting into the Test or T20 side. So that's slightly strange.
Actually, if you think about it, if Washington Sundar would have been here in place of Chahal, uh, it would have been ideal to send him instead of
Yeah.
Hardik
अभी
because he's
भेज
a
भी
good
सकते
pace
थे
hitter,
and he would not
left-hander,
have
good pace
conceded
hitter,
that many runs. So
and yeah,
I was actually expecting Sundar to come in for Chahal, but nahi hua. वो they continued with Chahal. So Heyman says there's still a silver lining in the sky. Smart comment, but let's see because the
भाई
target is
पुणे
also
का
a bit
विकेट
too
अचानक
much.
से गाबा का विकेट बन गया है भाई.
It's about bowling in the right areas.
एंड
Actually, India
अफसोस
did
अभी
not
तो
bowl well.
पंत और सुंदर भी नहीं है बचाने.
This is a really good new ball attack. I think for the first time, I think in a long time, I think Sri Lanka have got a really good new ball attack.
Hmm.
Sri Lanka actually did quite well with the new ball in the last year's bilateral series as well, if I remember correctly. They were swinging the ball
Yeah, like
continuously with
Jamira has
in the first
improved.
six
And like,
overs.
yeah,
Yeah. Vinav Gupta says, is it more helpful when youngsters debut along with senior players, or like in present scenario where they play together in different 11s? I think the second scenario is quite fine as well. I mean,
See, I think overall it just depends on how the side is balanced. Today, I mean,
yeah.
though India had a lot of bowling options, the batting is weak. Not weak, the tail is too big. So the team is not balanced, and this is something that we said
I
at the
think it
start as
also,
well.
I think it also depends on who the senior players are. Like if your senior player is a Virat Kohli or a KL Rahul, and if you're a young player who bats down the order, then you know that they're going to consume like majority of the innings, and then
yeah.
you have to go out there and hit from ball one. So that was not always an ideal scenario for a young player as well.
Hmm.
Except Bumrah, I don't think anyone will come back in T20s, says Sahil Nagdev.
Yeah, I think that is what they should be doing. Like, but I don't think they necessarily pick the best players even here. Like there are players like Samson. I think he's injured obviously, but he should be a regular. I don't think Gill and Kishan is the best opening pair because I think both of them are slow starters.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see it happening, but maybe they can give Tripathi a try ahead of Gill in the next game, not ahead of Tripathi.
नहीं होने वाला है, too good to be true right now. It's just that limelight factor that is attached with Gill as well.
Hmm.
That also you know tempts them a lot more
Yeah.
to play Gill ahead of anyone else.
Yeah.
No, I think
Actually, in my best
there is
T20 11,
some merit
Pant
in,
opens.
yeah, I think there is some merit in having Gill in the side for a World T20 in the Caribbean because those pitches will be sluggish and you probably do need an anchor there, and so you don't want any of the older anchors. So he's your young anchor. He's actually got to play spin really well, much better player of spin than Virat Kohli in 2022 or KL Rahul or Rohit Sharma, and he can actually improve. Like he's still got time to improve, unlike the older guy.
Yeah, but I
And
would rather
but I
take
think
a punt on someone like Abhishek Sharma, honestly speaking, because uh,
yeah,
he's very good against spin and provides a bowling option as well.
yeah.
Short.
Oh, smashed. I mean, Karna Ratne bowling to his
KL also
idol
had a really
and
good
getting
ODI
smashed
series
for
in the
gone.
Caribbean, so maybe that is why it's in the plans.
Hmm.
Losing the match on the purpose to keep the series interesting. Absolute masterclass from Rahul Dravid, Akka Indranagar ka Gunda. Says Amsha again. No.
Hmm.
I think Rahul Dravid is in a position to do that. Like I genuinely think his job is under threat. at least in this format. I think there is already talk of him being replaced by Ashish Nehra. So I think a series lost to Sri Lanka will be the final nail in this coffin, like at home.
But going to
But I
Ashish
think if
Nehra
India
also,
wanted to lose this game on purpose, they would have opted to bat first.
Yeah.
No teams want to lose the game, of course. I'm just saying. I think India opting to chase itself was a move where they wanted to win this game at all cost. Because in an ideal world, I feel India should be, whenever they win the toss, they should be batting first because it's very clear that that is where their weakness lies. वो
ball
बॉल
यार,
भाई
oh.
क्या हो क्या रहा है भाई ये क्या पाउडर छिड़का है मिड इनिंग्स में
What a ball though. That ball straightened, or Hardik was playing down the wrong line.
नहीं नहीं it did straighten a bit.
Yeah, but just a tad bit, not completely, just a tad bit, and it was just in such a tight angle and
वो थोड़ा
in
बैट
such a tight line as well. Hardik was squared up.
सीधा खेलते तो शायद एज ही लग जाती
हाँ,
ओ
ओ
लग
लग
गई
गया एज. गॉट यार, लग गए भाई, एज लग गए, एल लग गए, सब लग गया भाई.
Hmm.
You know what? I lose every single match from there on, but win the World Cup.
हाँ
No,
सही है
don't mind that. It will give us a lot of content as well. So Hardik started with a boundary, but then in the end, it is the
चलो भाई
apprentice who has gotten the master.
हुड्डा और स्काई सही या करुणा रत्ने getting his idol out after being smashed for 6
छक्का था चौका था वो.
6 भाई बहुत दूर
Nice.
गिरी है
Karunaratne obviously keeping his celebrations
Is
mellowed
there
down
like
because
maybe
respect.
so?
Yeah, Sanket, you're saying
I think is
something?
maybe Gurkirat the lucky man for India. He was. I don't think he was there for the watch along for the semi-final, the World T20, and India lost that. Now again he's absent and they're losing this.
Yeah.
सही है भाई माना कल बर्थडे है तो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दे दी बस फिर भी हुडा the man of the player of the
Match in the
match.
last game. Too tight, bhai. Chauthis pe char. And I mean, there was this
So,
comment, no,
two
before the
successive
start of the
wins.
India's innings that anything below 60 won't be acceptable.
हाँ
ये तो भाई जितनी नो बॉल डाली थी पहले 4 ओवर में उतने ही विकेट भी खो दिया आज.
yet another forgettable game for India in
In Pune. So the only memorable game for India in Pune has been that
England
Virat
game.
Kohli Kedar Jadhav game. Except that India has lost
because I think
almost nearly every time.
2013 में they lost to Australia as well the first ODI that 7 match epic series
They didn't lose the first game.
yeah that was the only
Correct.
boring game of the series
Oh. हुआ क्या था यार उस मैच में? I
कुछ भी नहीं
remember
पता
second third में
बहुत
बढ़िया
मारा था
हमारे तो
ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने
चेक
कुछ
कर गए थे.
300 मार दिए थे and then
And
India
India?
were
James
never in
Faulkner
the
bowled
game.
really well. James Faulkner and Mitchell Johnson bowled really well. in that
Oh, the left arm seamers again.
I think that is the only game that Johnson played. After that, he just left for the Ashes to prepare for the 2013 Ashes.
Oh, ऐसा क्या? And आप जो उसने
No, he
करा था
played.
वो
I think he
तो
played.
भगवत
I think he played the first 3 games.
But
No,
he did not play the
Johnson
full
played.
series.
I think the first 3 games.
Yeah.
No, he played. He only missed the last game. He only missed the last game. He was
No,
there
yeah,
even
Zara
in
scored.
Nagpur.
It
I
was
think
a
he played
7-match
at Mohali
series.
as well. Yeah, no. I think one of the matches was washed out.
Yeah.
It
The
effectively
last game was
became
in
one of the
Bangalore
matches was
when
completely
Rohit
washed out
scored
and
the
one of the
double-handed.
matches was washed out at
And
halftime.
Faulkner replied with a 30 ball.
That he missed
Not
that
30
game.
ball, but yeah.
Bangalore. He missed the 7th game. Yes.
Rajita again. Sri Lanka has a pretty good bowling attack, yaar. I'm surprised they did not do well at a World Cup जहाँ पे bowlers ने outperform
I
करा
think
था
they
batters
faced
को.
a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
वर्ल्ड कप में हर मैच में उनका कोई
every
ना कोई
game
प्लेयर
they
इंजर होता
lost
था
one of their front line
और बीच मैच में
seamers.
इंजर हो रहे थे यार.
बीच मैच में, हाँ. Oh, so I think we will see Hasranga and Tikshana bowl in tandem, which don't happen a lot.
Yeah,
It does not
doesn't
happen a lot.
yeah.
Hasranga actually bowls through the middle over. Tikshana bowl half of
So
his overs in the
actually,
power play and the rest at the death. So today we might see them bowl in tandem.
another
And
great
भाई उनको
opportunity
tandem में
for
मारना तो बहुत ही मुश्किल काम है भाई. Ball.
another great opportunity for Huda to bat at a position which is not typical number six role, score some runs and cement his place in the side.
Yeah. The only problem is the target. It's just too much, and then he cannot just bide his time at all. He has to go for it a bit quicker than he would generally do.
But he's got nothing to lose like in this situation.
Yeah, and Surya has played only
He can
four
score a
balls
flick.
until now. Hardik came after him. He came in. He scored a few boundaries. He got out. Then Hudda has played four balls as well.
Oh, misfield.
Surya is just getting off the mark now.
So Sushant is asking, what are your thoughts on India's seamers after seeing havoc created by Sri Lankan seamers? Sanket, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that they're obviously playing an experimental seam attack, so I think that was expected. Like, I actually think that they had a better seam attack today than they had in the last game. They replaced Harshal with Arshdeep, but Arshdeep
Arshdeep
was
just did not
disappointing.
click.
He was taken apart with the ball, and then he was only used for 1 over at the death. Like I was expecting Arshdeep to bowl, like if not his full quota, at least 3 overs, given that he was the senior statesman in the side today. But I think Hardik Pandya, like I think we already spoke about it earlier as well, that he probably wanted to experiment. I think we will no, I think, and especially now that India are losing the game, I'm sure he'll be asked in the presentation, like about his usage of the bowler. So it'll be interesting to see what he says about that. Although, given how Arshdeep has performed in his 2 overs, anyways, I don't think anyone will be questioning him for not bowling his full quota. But yeah, I think it was a collective failure, but it's to be expected because you look at the pace attack that they got. You got Umran Malik, who's always going to be boom or bust with the style of bowling. Shubham Mavi is
Yeah.
just playing his second game. Doesn't have a good T20, but I think what he did in the last game was the outlier, and this is more probably of his usual self in T20 cricket. So yeah, not
I think
not that surprising. I think Sri Lanka do have a better pace attack in this game
about Arshdeep
or in
not
this series for
bowling
that matter.
much. About Arshdeep not bowling much, I think Hardik Pandya gave Arshdeep the new ball and said कि तू इस ओवर में जितने रन खाएगा वही ओवर तेरे को मिलेगा नेक्स्ट. So उसने 19 रन खाए and the next over he bowled was the 19th one. Stupid jokes aside, do you think there was a case for Umran Malik to bowl today in the power play given how the pitch is?
I mean, there always is, but I think Umran Malik ka role is pretty defined
I
even
get
for his
that, but
IPL side.
एक आध ओवर तो आज डलवा के देख सकते थे given
Yeah, but
what
I
the
think
pitch is like.
शुरू में after first 4 overs, Sri Lankan openers were actually playing pace really well. So they gave India gave fifth and sixth over to Aksar and Chahal respectively, which I did
That
not
is
feel
fine.
was
I'm totally
Yeah.
okay with that actually because the no balls that the seamers were bowling, but I think पहले चार में there could be one over
But
for
वही rope
Umran
बचा नहीं
Malik
ना
as
because
well.
Hardik has sort of
Actually, like,
हाँ कि
Kusal
gave
Mendes
this role to him, has given this
Kusal
role to
Mendes
himself.
doesn't have a good record against left arm. Kushal Mendes doesn't have a
yeah,
great
yeah,
record
he
against
does not
left
have
arm
a good
swings.
record against left
On
arm
paper,
swings.
Arshdeep was actually a very good matchup against him. It just didn't work out today. But in general, he struggled against Josh Little in the World T20. He struggled against Mitchell Stark. His record against
Yeah,
left arm swing, I think that's generally I think one his area of weakness. I think he was dismissed by Faruqi as well in the Asia Cup.
yeah, true.
Hmm.
जमीन आसमान का फर्क है भाई. 55 पे कोई नहीं और यहाँ पे 41 पे 4 गए हुए हैं.
So I think now this is going to be the third successive T20I in a row in India, which is going to be won by the side batting first in the winter season. That's quite interesting, I think.
Mm.
It's good. It's good. I mean, the trend has been so lopsided for a while that
Chase
I
करो
want
जीतो
sides
मैच.
batting first to
Of
win.
course, of
Actually,
course.
Yeah. I think the IPL was actually quite good. It was exactly 50-50. I think 74 games, it was 37-37, if I'm not mistaken. But that is in the summer, so you would probably expect that pitches to deteriorate a bit.
Vikram Mohanty asking, can you guys still tell why India's batting has been declining in all formats for quite some time now, especially from our top order, to the point that our bowlers are batting well? Hmm.
I think it's just a series of coincidences, a series of like a lot of. First of all, most of the games are played by Rohit and KL, who have not been in great form themselves.
Yeah, I think. See, uh, if you just think about last year when it was Rohit and KL who were actually doing really well in England, and those two were the only one who were carrying the India's batting lineup in that series, which India actually finished 2-1 before the last test. But in white ball setup, I mean, we've spoken about this time and time again that though India batted in a different style,
They were substitute, by the way.
hey, I should be the one subbing. So in white ball, it just been that in bilaterals India had a different strategy, but when it came down to the world events, the fear of failure took in. And apart from that, I think it just has been too experimental. Uh, it has been experimental to a point that it has become difficult to actually identify who India's top order is.
I think that is a trait of all Rahul Dravid teams. I think we saw that even in the IPL, with whichever teams he captained or coached, there was way too much chopping and changing to the point that where you want to experiment in a certain way. You want to prepare players for a variety of roles, but beyond a certain point, it does have a destabilizing effect. And I think Rahul Dravid often probably blurs the line on that front. So I don't know.
Hmm. So is there a case of him being actually feeling to try and give everyone a chance, or at least try and give chances to as many players as possible? Because obviously, giving everyone a chance will never be possible.
Yeah, like I think the classic example again. I don't know like how much of a say he had in the squad selection, because it is said that the selectors pick the squad whatever they want in I'm not, I don't necessarily buy that, but the coaches and the captains are only picking the final 11. But they picked Rajat Tripathi and Rajat Patidar and Rahul Tripathi for the Bangladesh ODIs out of nowhere, when there was like no, there's no shortage of batters. Like you already have Sky on the bench in ODIs. You had Samson was doing well.
Hmm.
He can't
Yeah.
get into probably a first squad, let alone the 11. You have one of KL, Iyer, and Pant who's probably going to miss out, and then you add in two more batters who are top order batters, who for no apparent reason. Like when you're just a year away to the World Cup, you need to be trimming down the pool of players, which is what Jai Shah has now come out and said that they've done. We don't know whether that's
Hmm.
true or not, but they're now saying that they
Yeah.
are settled on a list of 20 probables. But it just felt like they were just trying to create that additional depth, but ultimately it's only 11 players who are going to going out there and playing a World
Yeah.
Cup semi-final or a World Cup final. So you do need to identify a clear pecking order and have a clear hierarchy, rather than just building depth for the sake of it, because it's not an India A tournament. Like it's your best 11 versus the opposition best 11.
Hmm. So I think I want to ask this to you, Hardik. Looking at the next T20 World Cup, if I have to ask you to pick a pool of 12 players, well, basically best 11 and a substitute, at this point of time, who would you pick?
Oh, okay, like I won't get a certain order. Let's start with bowling. Like I'd have Bumrah or Steep, uh, Washington, one of Akshar or Jadeja. Uh, then you have Hardik, Surya Kumar, Samson. I'll have to see on how guys like Ishan Kishan, Prithvi Shaw, they perform. But who are there? Wait, how many did I say? Like,
I think 10 players. There's still one remaining.
no, the two like I'd have one of. I'd rather like I'll have someone like Umran Malik as well, and in the middle order,
No place for Pant.
Pant. I think will have to come and do something in T20Is first.
Hmm.
Also, you have no idea. I mean, how he'll be like. Even I'm sure it'll take him mentally some time as well to come back to cricket. Prithvi Shaw in West Indies, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably KL. I think I don't know if he comes back.
KL is inevitable. But
If they
actually,
want an anchor, I think they should rather invest in Gill rather than going back to KL. If they want an anchor in the Caribbean, because I think he's more likely to deliver in big games. He's got that ability. Even in the IPL final, he scored runs. He scored runs in
Then
Australia
what
under
about Ayyap?
pressure. He's a good player while
Shreyas?
facing.
actually, I was thinking about India's T20 side for the next World Cup, and for a change, I really feel it is a very good opportunity for all the openers in this IPL and the next to try and do something crazy in the IPL and get a run in. Because in my head, at least, numbers 3 to 11 are pretty much sorted. I don't know who the openers are because in my mind,
Who's your number three?
Sky 4
Who's your number
Samson,
three?
5 Hardik. Uh, Hardik is now spot too high.
6 is
You can have 6,
who's
7,
this
8.
number 6?
Someone.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 can be utility
No,
players.
look. What I had in
Would
mind
you
was
prefer
I think
someone
I
like
had
Shreyas
Huda
Iyer
at
over
3.
Shubman Gill?
Yeah, I had Huda at 3 and the rest like Sky 4, Hardik 5 and Samson 6. That was what I was
That,
thinking.
that will also make
And
sense.
then
And
7 and
then
8 would be Sundar
Sundar and Aksar or Sundar or
and then the
Jadeja to follow,
bowlers.
and then
But
your
yeah,
pacers.
as you said,
But again,
openers
the
is where
point I was,
actually the vacancy lies, which
and
is quite odd
this is a
because
change in Indian cricket because for a long time you always knew who your openers are. You never know who were the
The
middle
middle
order
order
players.
and the lower middle order.
So this is a very good opportunity for
All
Jaiswal,
the guys, yeah.
Yashasvi Jaiswal, Abhishek Sharma, Prithvi Shaw to have a crazy couple of IPL seasons, Ruturaj Gaikwad, and just break that door and be in the Indian team for the World Cup.
Gaikwad in West Indies is a decent option,
Because he
considering
plays
how he
spin
plays
well.
spin well.
I think one more thing. I think you saw that interview with Arsha Bogle, which Rishabh Pant did, and he said that he wanted to open in T20s. So now he's most probably going to miss the IPL. But and I don't think there is another IPL before the World T20, right? Because the squad would probably be announced before that. So I don't know where when he's going to get the opportunity. So whatever opening he'll do will probably be for India only. But it would have been interesting to see like if he played the IPL, and he might still play some part of it, but he most likely probably won't be the captain or will be playing a very limited role. So
But I
if he
think there
had
will
the
be
influence to go,
I think there will be two
if he had
IPLs
the
before the next World Cup.
Yeah, because I don't think the
no, I
T20
think the
World Cup
world.
will be before October.
No, it will be in June. It is in the Caribbean, so the squad will probably be announced midway during the IPL. So it won't be like they would they would have to nail down the pool of 15 players before the IPL, because maybe one or two spots you can decide based on the first half of the IPL, but the squad would like you have to announce it a month in advance. So it would be pretty much more or less locked in before the tournament
Hmm.
starts. So I was thinking like if Rishabh Pant has the influence to go and tell Ricky Ponting that I want to open for India, so
Yeah.
let me open for Delhi Capitals, and then you can move David Warner down the order probably, because otherwise I think that, and I actually think even from a tactical point of view that would have made sense, because David Warner these days is a better player of spin than pace, and he can like
True.
you probably want to protect your most valuable asset from new ball movement or express pace, which he has tended to struggle with at times
Hmm. Hmm.
in recent times. So it would not have been a bad idea for even for Delhi to have
And
maybe David Warner batting at 3-4, controlling the innings against spin in the middle
four
overs,
can
and
be
Rishabh
Sarfaraz,
Pant
and then they can move actually Mitchell Marsh lower down the order to provide assistance to
pace
Robert
hitting.
Powell and
But
hit pace.
but with Pant being injured, I think that goes out of the window. And I think if they had any coach other than Ricky Ponting, then I think Pant may well have got his wish. But Whether Ricky Ponting would be keen on moving David Warner down, I'm not particularly sure. But
Yeah.
now that Pant is injured, I think that kind of becomes a moot point. So that
Hmm.
could have been a very interesting clash between Pant and Ponting. Like if Pant was really keen on opening for India, and if the BCCI and the Indian team management told him that they want him as an opener, whether he actually goes out there being the captain, he has the authority to go out and tell to his coach that I'm going to do that in the IPL.
But now there have been talks about Sarfaraz keeping for Delhi Capitals. I think TOI had a report or something.
Who is their backup keeper? There
It's
is no-
Shalt or Sarfaraz.
Hmm.
For Salt, I think they'll have to leave out Warner.
Now
They
releasing
don't
KS
have,
Raj seems a
they don't
mistake.
have any, so they don't have any Indian keeper as a backup. Like
No,
I'm
I
not
think
talking
I
about
read it
Sarfaraz, but
some Sarfaraz. Yeah, he's like an occasional wicket keeper.
Yeah, he's been keeping in the domestic
but
circuit
they
time.
don't have any recognized wicket keeper, Indian wicket keeper as a backup. That's
Yeah.
quite shocking. Because I don't think you can play Phil Salt in the 11. That would like they've got better overseas options.
Surya Kumar, 14 of 16. I mean, that's rare.
He's chilling.
Is it the curse of the vice captain? Earlier you had
Don't
KL
tell me.
Rahul
भाई कैप्टन का भी कर्ज होने लग गया.
because you had
KL
KL
Rahul.
Rahul
Yeah, I
saying
think-
after he became
Huh.
strike rate is overrated and
I think Chetan has a point. If youngsters don't take the chances, I won't be surprised if all the old horses come back.
no, I don't think Rohit Sharma will be coming back.
Rohit is
I mean,
there.
I
maybe
think
not
he's probably
Rohit.
going to
That is
retire.
stretching it too far. But Kohli definitely, because he'll always be fit. KL, because he will always be
Kohli
among the
actually
top 3 run getters in IPL.
Kohli actually performed in the World T20 as well. So KL stocks are down. I think he's been sacked from vice captaincy as well in ODIs and
Yeah, but one orange cap will change everything, no?
Yeah, orange cap with Lucknow finishing probably 7th or 8th in the table.
Yeah.
Do you think India still have a chance in this match? It's over.
Not really. I think they are chilling. Anirudh, you can come and join us as well. So, what are your biggest takeaways from this game?
These games,
This game.
Aksar Patel at least bowled well. She was struggling before,
Hmm.
so that is one good point. Apart from that, I
Umran
don't
Malik was
see any.
decent.
Umran Malik was decent. Maybe I could say his pace was his
Yeah.
undoing, because a lot of his boundaries and sixes were through edge or maybe all those things. So yeah, probably his pace was undoing, and that is very common when you have high pace. Apart from that, there is nothing actually. He's gone. He's gone.
Another one.
Gone. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust.
Why is he so excited about getting rid of Hooda?
ये क्या नेमार का celebration है ना?
नेमार का celebration.
Yellow shirt भाई बोलो भाई.
Exactly.
His name is Anirudh.
Acha. No, I don't. I don't miss. I don't miss Rituraj Gaikwad.
Maybe do you think there is a case for Rituraj replacing Gill in the next game?
And again, the point over here comes back to the same old thing. Like, तुम ठीक है, you're giving chance to Rituraj Gaikwad. Rituraj Gaikwad is nothing different than Gill.
Mm.
Again, it goes on to that. Okay, fine. You're experimenting. You're trying to find another opener.
But
Like,
then
that is what.
And giving just one game to Gaikwad won't be fair on him.
It won't be fair. And again, it comes up to that.
I mean, but we have the New Zealand series coming up, so maybe a series of 4 games potentially.
I mean, like, it goes on the same way. Okay, fine. One is not performing. You give another chance. He's not performing for 2 matches. You give another chance. And the same old goes with the other guy, the third person who's getting.
True, but then the point remains: do you feel Gill is a type of T20 player that you would want in your team? Because over the years we have seen the undoing of India being playing a lot of anchors, and Gill is an anchor. I mean, there is no two ways about it.
No,
See,
but that's what
like-
I wanted to ask as well. If you're going for Gale, why can't you just go with Iyer?
Iyer,
I think
see,
it's
I mean,
the
quite
thing is,
interesting.
Sure, I mean, yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you
if
why.
you project it that way, it makes
it's
sense.
it's very simple. If you want to pick if you want to pick an anchor, he has to be an opener. He can't be a middle order batter, because a middle order batter you can't, like, it depends, like if you're coming at the end of 10th
Say
over
Iyer
or
at three.
something,
Iyer at 3.
maybe yes, then you have to have two
The only
explosive
middle
openers.
order anchor,
One has to be there to stall the innings.
the only,
If anything, if you have
the only
everybody,
middle order
you have
anchor
to have
that I can
you need an anchor to stall the innings, and that has to be either an opener or a number 3. Number 4 is way too low for an anchor.
Yeah, of course.
So what Hardik is
the
doing now,
only
like taking some time before getting into that groove, it's
That's for
not.
CSK.
Then Rahane is a no. No way. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not in support to
Because you're
having an
wearing a
anchor.
yellow jersey, I think.
Oh, I am not a CSK supporter.
He's from Bangalore.
only
I am not even a Bangalore supporter.
I think the,
So it doesn't make sense at all.
But I mean, yeah,
But still, if you are
it's
having
the
one anchor in your
it's
team,
the
then
yellow
it
shirt.
has to be an opener or a number 3. You can't have, like, that anchor needs to, he should have the capacity to take it after the 15-20 balls. That's one
The
thing.
the only
I
anchor
feel
that I remember.
I feel if there is an anchor in a T20 team, that player should be contributing in some other ways. You cannot have a pure batter who is an anchor. I think that player will always be a
Someone like
liability.
Stokes.
Someone like a Stokes. I mean, a player like Stokes is the only one who deserves to be an anchor, not anyone else. I don't think T20 team
Yeah,
needs
guys like
even
Stokes
one
and on,
anchor.
like when the chips are down,
Yeah.
he'll be the one who'll score you runs.
I mean, instead of playing anchors and
I
saying
think
that you want to stabilize your batting lineup, just play bowlers who can bat till number 9. Elongate your batting lineup and fill it with hitters. I
And
think that will always be a better way to win trophies.
the
I
other
think
thing
depends on the
what
resources
happens
that
over
you
here
have.
is,
I think Sanket is trying to make a point. Sanket, yeah.
yeah, tell me, sorry, Sanjay.
Yeah, I think it depends on the resources that you have as well. Like for Pakistan, they can't afford to leave out someone like Babar Azam, even though he's an anchor, because they don't really have enough quality hitters. Whereas for a
But I
team
mean,
like India, with the kind of
they
resources
cover
they
it up
have,
with their bowling attack. I mean, no one will have a bowling attack like Pakistan does, and they have quality all rounders as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Shadab Khan was one of the player of the tournaments in the World Cup.
Nawaz did decently as well, sure.
So basically,
even-
like Mohammad Nawaz, Shadab Khan, you have Kushdil Shah who can bowl, Iftikhar Ahmad who can bowl.
Yeah.
You have almost 8 options of bowlers.
Yeah, this is where I mean the point that I mean if India would have played uh, Sundar ahead of Chahal in this game, the contribution that he could have made with the bat would have been a lot more significant than difference in their bowling.
And exactly. See, if you want to have a team, then have somebody like, okay, fine. You have whoever, like Prithvi Shaw, and who's the other on Ishan Kitchen or Rishabh Pant / Rishabh Pant as your opener, and then you have at number 3 Tripathi or Iyer, either one of them, and then
Or maybe
Surya
Huda.
Kumar, maybe Huda, and Surya Kumar Yadav. Then comes Surya Kumar Yadav,
See, yeah.
and Hardik Pandya.
And then Samson. And
then
see, the
Samson.
point is 3 to 11 still sorted. The point is at this point of time, I don't know who Indian openers are in T20 cricket.
If
If they, my biggest fear is if they are not able to identify one, they will inevitably bring back KL now.
my point over here is, like, if you want to go like all baseball, all out, like strengthen it with bowlers who can bowl at least 1-2 overs. So if you say
Batters who
that
can bowl.
batters who can bowl 1-2 overs. So you say Washington Sundar, you have your 7 as Jadeja, probably, 7 as Jadeja, Sundar at 8, bring in Tewati at 9. You have Deepak Hooda who can bowl 2. You have Tewatia who can bowl 2. then you have your two bowlers,
maybe
and you can
maybe
have
that's
your,
a stretch.
you can have Hardik as another bowler.
Maybe
So-
instead of doing this, what I would say, what I would do is maybe have try Abhishek Sharma as your opener.
Yeah, fine. Even you can have Abhishek Sharma as well as you can have Rahul Tewatia. You can get like almost like you have four bowlers who can give you 2 overs or 1 over. That is what you can
Tewatia is
fill, no?
The only issue is Tewatia is not
I
bowling.
think still-
I mean, he's not bowling.
He bowled
In
in Syed
IPL, yeah, he's not
Mustaq
bowling
Ali.
in IPL. That's it.
He
He's
bowled
bowling
in Syed
domestic.
Mustaq Ali. Even in the IPL, even in 2022 IPL, he was not a 4 over bowler. He used to bowl 2 overs or 2 overs here and there.
Mhm.
If you're keeping him as a 2 over bowler, then fine, send him out.
No, ideally, if I have batting till 9, I wouldn't mind someone like Abhishek at top of the order.
Yeah.
Like, just go and do whatever he does generally. And if you can take on guys like Hashranga,
Actually,
Narayan, and
it's-
Rafiq, I'm sure. Sorry?
So when you say that you're going to have only two bowlers, like I'm presuming it's going to be two fast bowlers, Bumrah and maybe someone else, like whoever it might be, and then
Arshdeep
your
or
number
someone,
8
yeah.
and 9 will be Sundar and Akshar. So you still have four proper bowlers, right? If you have Sundar and Akshar,
Yeah.
like both of them can bat at 8 and 9.
I think
you still
Akshar
have
Akshar
and
at
two
9
fast
is
bowlers
like
at
a
10,
pretty
11.
good
So you
thing.
still have.
Or maybe even Akshar
I think
at
that's you
9.
still have.
That is also fine.
So
you
maybe
still
maybe
have, so you still have
maybe
batting till 9.
and,
You have four
and
proper
Abhishek
bowlers.
Sharma at top and
That's a good.
Tewatia at 7, followed by Aksar and Sundar 7, 8, 9,
Yeah, you have
and
like,
then you have two pacers.
And the
And
only
Hardik Pandya to bowl, Abhishek Sharma to bowl, maybe even a Deepak
So
Hooda to bowl.
that's
So you have
so
like eight bowling options in a team.
in
See,
some of
that's
the
a
grounds in West Indies, I think you can survive
great-
Hardik Pandya being your third pacer, right?
Actually, see, I mean, I know a lot of people don't
Yeah.
like Riyan Parag, but at least he is a proper T20 player, right?
He's a white ball,
He's a-
proper white ball
he's a
player.
proper white ball player. But the thing again, over here,
Been-
I mean,
been- but-
again, something that we mentioned at the start as well. In this day and age in T20, you cannot have a batting lineup which sort of ends at 7. There is
Yeah.
absolutely nothing after that. You might want to bracket and put bat and seam with Shivam Mavi, but I mean, give us a break. I mean, he's not a proper all rounder. His IPL strike rate is 90.
I mean, in an ideal 11, I think I would have Akshar at 9.
Yeah, at best 8.
I
No,
mean,
but I
like,
still want someone
at
at 9
least
to bat.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
even if you have Akshar or Tewatia at 9,
I mean,
it is
your 9
conducive.
has to be at least someone like a Deepak Chahar.
Yeah.
कि कुछ
Yeah,
तो
Deepak
कुछ
Chahar.
तो मारे भाई.
No, I'd want number 9 to be my bowler, like who will give me at least 3 overs every match. So Tewatia goes out of the equation there. But yeah, someone like Akshar, Deepak Chahar.
Yeah, Tewatia is not a number 9. He's
Yeah.
a number 7. Number 9 is too low for him because he's a decent batter.
Tewatia is someone who can be used as a
floater. See that when you know that in West Indies it is conducive to play 3 spinners. It's not that you have to have a pace attack, all out
Yeah.
pace attack or something.
But
like
the
that.
bigger question is, I mean, how are we sure that the wickets that we see in CPL are exactly what we're going to see in the T20 World Cup? Because if you remember the T20 World Cup in 2010, the wickets were pretty solid.
That's like
Ages ago.
Yeah.
But
Also,
Yeah, that's-
also depends on what venues they're going to use. So, Guyana will be a ranked turner. Port of Spain will probably be also on the slower side. Barbados, I think, will have good pace and bounce. It will be a decent wicket. Saint Lucia is another surface which will have good bounce, good pace. Saint Kitts is another decent batting surface.
I'm sure
Jamaica
USA
can
ground
be,
will be
you
like
know,
proper
bit of-
6-hitting ground.
But if you say like even if you
USA will be like batting.
even if we are trying to
Yeah.
even if we are trying to compare CPL and T20Is, if you remember like when Bangladesh lost the ODI series to West Indies lost the ODI series to Bangladesh, Nicholas Puran was complaining towards the pitch.
Yeah.
Like they have given the visitors an advantage, which is like completely. Even in the T20Is, the spinners had a very good say in that T20Is.
Entire series was in Guyana. The entire series was in Guyana, which is a ranked turner. Like it's one of the most spin-friendly wickets in the world, not just in West Indies.
good. While we are on this topic, Sky is dheere just hitting a few.
लेके जाना.
We have an
Cool
anchor
down.
anyway in Sky.
Yeah.
We have an anchor in Sky. Again, the another problem what raises is like okay, fine. what will be the form of them when they're heading towards the World Cup?
That's a separate question. I mean, that for that you form ultimately form can hurt anyone,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that all depends on the preparation and the mindset as well. Let time see. These are not your rookie players. Like they all of them they play a lot of cricket. That it should not take them longer to understand what is needed on the day.
I also had one question. Like, we keep talking about India having too many options. So, I mean, there's a saying, right? Like, a problem of plenty is a happy headache.
Yeah, I mean,
So, I
not
just wanted
really.
to, like, as a management, as a selector, if you have so many options, how do you handle it? Like, how do you handle it?
Yeah, I mean, it becomes very difficult because you ultimately as a human being you would never want to be in bad books of anyone. You want to be fair to everyone, and that is where the difficulty arises when you have a lot of options.
Mm. And Hardik,
But
that's
is
And
there
where
a
the
way,
pecking
like,
order.
is there a proper way to
the
handle?
best way that I mean, I've said on this
There are two.
Watchalong
There are
itself.
two words. Pecking order. That's where it comes down to.
I don't think pecking order is the right word. For me the right word is actually having separate pools for separate formats.
Oh, gone.
No, no, no. I'm
Oh,
saying pecking order
oh.
in T20Is. I'm saying like you have a
Hmm.
separate pool or group of 20 players that you earmark only for white ball or like how
Hmm.
England does. That's what we have
Yeah,
talked
but I mean,
about,
see,
right? You
if
group
you look at it right now, Gill is in this team only because of what he's done in ODIs. I mean, he has no business
and
being in a
IPL,
T20 team.
but
Here, Akash, the question, the takeover here again raises is like, how how long will they sustain? Like once when Arshdeep had that two good season as a death bowler, we thought, oh yes, we got another death bowler, the second best death bowler after Jasprit Bumrah. Before that, Harshal Patel. Oh yes, Harshal Patel is our next day best bowler. Like after like what around eight nine innings, again it was the same old thing. Like
See,
who's gonna
that's
be?
true. But then again, I think we are approaching the problem from a different perspective. I think before the World Cup, the biggest debate was कि भाई बुमराह नहीं है,
हाँ
बुमराह नहीं
बुमराह
है,
नहीं है.
तो World Cup नहीं जीतेंगे. But ultimately, it was the batters that cost India the game, not the
Exactly.
bowlers. So
The last two World Cups.
this is not a format for bowlers anyway. It is your batters who have the responsibility to put up an above par total because the game itself is skewed towards the batters. तो भाई bowlers का तो बात ही नहीं है. Even if you have above average bowlers, that is fine. That is better than most countries. I mean, England do not have a lethal bowling attack, but at least they have the batters to always go for that above par total. And I think by
and they have
this
so
time,
many.
yeah,
The other
Akash,
thing
go
is
ahead.
they have so many options, right? So that makes it, if say somebody has a bad day, then somebody else can cover up. Say somebody like Ben Stokes. I mean, Ben Stokes should be like Hardik Pandya for India, right? Hardik Pandya has to bowl just that 1-2 overs in the power play, and that's enough. You should have enough bowlers to compensate for that, and maybe like 6 or 7 bowling options. That's where India should be looking at, instead of going with say a batting depth till 9 and then having only two bowlers who can bowl and the others just not good enough.
Yeah.
No, I
Could you
think
not
one thing that I'd
compromise
like to
on?
say that even though England have a great batting lineup, the bowlers actually consistently restricted the opposition to below par totals in the World T20. Like even though they don't have a great attack on paper, but they were chasing 168 in the semi-final, which was a below par total on that flat surface. They were chasing 139 in the final, and they like had to chase a very paltry total against Sri Lanka, which is again another must-win game for them. So even though they didn't have a great bowling attack on paper, it was actually the bowlers that set up most of the games for them, like the crucial games towards the crunch. And
Yeah.
even against Ireland, the bowlers did a fine job. It was the batters that lost them that game. So I do think that in an ICC tournament, often batting, because it is more volatile of the two skills, batters can often be quite volatile. They tend to underperform, so the bowlers sometimes need to pick up the slack. Like I think I just like go back to the 2019 World Cup, wherein England had just prepared for the 4 years like leading up to the World Cup, being this hard hitting, power hitting side. They were amassing totals in excess of 400. Like they scored 481 against Australia at Trent Bridge just a year before the World Cup, and they were like this batting powerhouse. And all the talk before the World Cup was that it's going to be a very high scoring tournament, that England are just going to outbat everyone. And then actually come the World Cup, the tournament turned out to be quite low scoring, and England had to win a World Cup defend like chasing 240 on a really difficult surface in the final. So and in the semi-final again, it was the bowlers who restricted Australia to like 220, and it was chased down. So the bowlers eventually stepped up in crucial moments, both in the 2019 World Cup and in the World T20 as well. So that hasn't, like, Indian bowlers didn't do that in this
Shot
World
high.
T20. Obviously, didn't have Bumrah,
Mm.
and I think
But I think
the batters
apart from that
generally tend
England,
to
apart from that England game,
slow down.
I felt Indian bowlers did a decent job against all oppositions, even against
The
Bangladesh. Little Das put India under pressure, but they got things under control. South Africa were chasing absolutely nothing, but that I mean, if not for a few drop catches, India probably would have won that game as well. Against Pakistan as well, India started really well. So
number 4.
I think,
In
see,
absence
the
of
point is uh, when the team is bowling first, it's more for the bowlers to try and restrict the opposition as much as they can. But when it comes to the other way around, when you are batting first, then it has to be your batters who have to try and get that above par total. Because with England, it is that way. When they faced New Zealand, they were batting first, but they posted an above par total, if I'm not wrong. Or were they chasing? No, they were batting.
160,
But even I think the bowlers
161,
did pretty good.
161. Josh Butler 100, right?
कौन सा match?
Yeah.
The Josh Butler 100 wala New Zealand
Yeah,
New Zealand
Josh
ke
Butler
against
100.
161.
But Butler did not score
170
100, I
odd.
guess.
Butler
It was some 80 odd.
Not
70
But
not
yeah,
180.
England
Yeah.
were
The drop
England were
catch
batting
from
first.
Williamson.
Yeah.
He got 70 odd, and England got 170 something. It was not
Yeah.
200.
So the main thing over here comes up to, you need to accept and you need to be fearless.
And
Accept fear and accept be
understand your player
fearless.
pool as well. India have always been a batting country, not a
Batting
bowling
country.
country. I mean, you can't. I mean, you have the examples in front of you. Last two World Cups have totally been on the batters, not the bowlers. So if there is no lessons to be learned from that, then there is no point talking about it either.
But I think
I've
when
been
it
89
comes to the crunch matches, I think the batters are generally by nature conservative because they know that there is a lot resting on the wicket. Like England, after all those power hitting for 4 years for the World Cup, the batters actually had to slow down after losing the first couple of games. They had a bad start to the tournament and they had to slow down. And I think the same thing happened with India. Like they had prepared for this World T20. Like all the talk under Rohit Sharma was that they were going to be a new side, showing a lot of intent, and that is precisely what they did in the bilaterals. They were racking up big scores for fun, but come the big stage when the stakes are higher, I think the natural instincts took over, and they were again went back to their typical anchoring selves. So
Yeah,
I think that is an
that, but
inherent
also see,
limitation of batting because
there is a very fine point as well, and I mean, obviously, players can't think in that direction, but England have been very lucky in terms of getting to do things that they were comfortable as well. I mean, chasing against India, chasing in the final, chasing in the 2019 final. The one time when they were not chasing, they actually were favourites and lost in the 2021 semi-final against New Zealand.
yeah. Or in the
I
2016
mean,
World T20.
on that respect, if you think about it, India have been unlucky. India were lost the toss against Pakistan and New Zealand in 2021. Lost the toss in that game against England. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, things can go both ways. These are fine margins. Obviously, it's not in their control. But all I'm trying to say is, whatever it is,
Shot high.
if you know that
Number 4 by DC का.
you have lost your ace pacer, the idea itself of seeing off the first over was shoddy.
Yeah.
I mean, in an ideal world, the batters should have realized that, yeah, भाई हमारा main pacer नहीं है, तो we have to always target above par.
Yeah.
ले भाई डीसी का नंबर 4 तब से दबा रहा था ना डीसी का नंबर 4 डीसी का
दो
नंबर
बारी
4
तो
ठीक
था
है भाई
दो बारी
डीसी का
तो
नंबर
था।
4
भाई,
तो desperate
ले
है
भाई
already, एक और छक्का लो है
डीसी का नंबर 4
भाई स्ट्राइक रेट
भाई I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you
भाई
one thing. One who performs for international T20s doesn't perform for IPL.
और जो
One who
franchise
performs
में
IPL
perform करता है,
doesn't
वो
perform in
नहीं
T20Is.
Unless you are Surya Kumar Yadav.
Unless you're Surya Kumar Yadav.
or Rohit Sharma who does not perform in either of them.
These days, but
Yeah,
you can't
वो
take.
like
भाई
what
आज
Ash said.
2
like,
साल से ऊपर हो चुका है उसने ना इंडिया के लिए कुछ करा है ना मुंबई
कौन भाई?
इंडियंस के लिए कुछ करा है
Tests में
रोहित
तो करा
शर्मा
है.
Rohit
टेस्ट
Sharma.
में हाँ आई एम सेइंग T20s only. Rohit Sharma and Surya Kumar who play for the same franchise are at the opposite ends of
And-
the spectrum.
And maybe even obviously just Surya Kumar Yadav
the-
and Jasprit Bumrah.
like before at least if you had the time भाई अब तो एक वर्ल्ड कप खेलो दूसरा वर्ल्ड कप अरे
Shot,
शॉट है
भाई।
भाई
6 sixes and an
Three
overloading.
sixes.
वाह क्या बात है
भाई हसरंगा को मार रहा है यार ऐसे बिल्कुल जैसे पता नहीं क्या ही है जैसे चहल को खेल रहा है वो नेट्स में
बताओ।
I have taken too many dicks today.
अरे
I
वाह
had a
क्या बात
question.
है
Yeah, okay. So last watch along, there was a question if Jadeja, if Akshar Jadeja में से किसी एक को पिक करना हुआ तो फिर इंडिया किसको पिक करेगी वर्ल्ड कप के लिए?
मैं एक्चुअली इससे एक मिला के या इसके आगे क्वेश्चन पूछा अभी जस्ट पूछने ही वाला था कि इफ बोथ आर फिट वुड यू बी टेम्प्टेड टू प्ले बोथ इन योर 11?
हाँ बिल्कुल
मतलब
I would be.
Why not? I mean both are.
I would be.
Not if possible, but again, if you can
अक्सर
pick,
स्पिन खेल लेता है, जडेजा पेस खेल लेता है, लेफ्टीज है, इंडिया में लेफ्टीज की वैसी कमी है, दोनों ठीक ठाक फील्ड, जडेजा तो बहुत अच्छा फील्डर है, अक्सर भी ठीक ठाक फील्डर है, बॉलिंग ऑप्शंस है ही, अक्सर कैन बॉल इन द पावर प्ले, जडेजा भी बीच बीच में करा ही सकता
but
है.
again, if you can pick only one and one to pick on, and my answer that day was ki depends on the combination. If you need a batting all rounder, then Jadeja. If you need a bowling one, then Akshar. But by the way Akshar is batting, do you think he's getting close? He's narrowing the gap between him and
It's
Jadeja
true,
right now.
but the most bizarre
The
point is
only difference is Jadeja against pace is still, I mean, unheard of, unseen of. There's
But
no
the
other player that comes close to it.
yeah, but the most bizarre point is that Akshar faced only 9 balls in the World Cup.
यार एक मैच में तो उसको ऊपर बैटिंग के लिए भेजा था
कोहली ने रन आउट कर दिया
रन आउट करा दिया उसको भाई करे तो करे क्या वो भी यार
कोहली ने रन
I
आउट
was so surprised against England when Rashid Khan was bowling. It would have been a fair decision to promote someone like Akshar कि भाई जाओ मारो. As soon as Sky got out, probably sending Akshar would have been the most proactive
Adil
move,
Rashid
but
you mean or you said Rashid Khan
Ah,
Yeah,
Adil
yeah,
Rashid.
Adil
Adil
Rashid.
Rashid
We celebrate. We have one player
One-
Sky like Livingston, but England have all players like Sky. Not really.
मलान नहीं है भाई Malan is not
I think England don't have a Sky.
England don't have a Sky they have bashers
but Butler plays 360 he plays at a good strike rate as well so
भाई Butler also like nobody looks into it वो बहुत कम मैचेस होता है जहाँ पे he goes from ball one
हाँ
like
he does
till
not,
the
he does
fourth
not.
over
shot भाई
भाई।
चार छक्के यार
6 of the over.
till the
Sort of-
fourth over at
Butler
least
is
he
sort
takes
of
a time
on the-
he takes his time fourth over उसके बाद मारना शुरू करता है वो
ठीक है but again Butler has the liberty to take his time because
हाँ,
उसे
बिल्कुल,
पता है कि अगर
because-
वो लंबा
हाँ।
खेला तो वो कितना डैमेज कर सकता है और बाकी सारे मारने वाले हैं so that is the difference यहाँ इंडिया में वो चीज नहीं होती
नहीं होता
No,
भाई
the other thing is Butler has that other gear. We have seen him in the other gear also. We have seen him 50 or 4 overs, that
He-
kind of gear. as well.
Butler
It's
is
not
what
like
I call a complete T20 batter because he has all
Yeah.
the gears. First of all, he can access any part of the ground as well, and also he does not have a clear weakness in his game. So these are the three
Yeah,
factors because of
the
which I think
closest
Butler
from
is what,
current from current generation is Harry Brook for England.
yeah, a bit early to say, but yeah, of course, if you have to pick someone from the current younger generation,
Mhm.
then yeah, of course, Harry Brook is right up there.
Akash and this goes similar way to what Rohit Sharma was right we
Mhm.
we know Rohit if once he's settled he can be more he no batter can be as destructive as he is
Yeah. Mm.
so that is what it is but in the recent time because of KL Rahul he had to change the approach
Proper.
No, but Rohit, that's the thing. No, Rohit, the ODI batsman, and Rohit, the T20I it's completely different. That's what we kind of like. Just because he's playing well in ODIs, we think he's a very good white ball player. Maybe he's just a good ODI player.
How is this shaping up to be
That's-
as a 7th wicket stand?
7th wicket stand
Which is the
कहाँ
highest.
से?
I've
Is this the
seen.
most runs Hasaranga has ever gone for? We need you now. We need you now with your numbers.
most runs in an over Hasaranga 26
26.
भाई.
Maybe it's time for you to be on the other side of
Yeah.
the screen.
okay I'll be on the
So is
other
this
side of
special-
the screen
That is a very
So will
polite
the
way of
Indian
saying.
fans call it special
Now, bhai,
chappies?
Nikal.
Nikal. I'm worried about our quick bites as well. That's why.
हाँ, निकल.
No.
ओ
So
सूरज
special.
भाई गई कि नहीं पहले रुको.
गई
पार
गई
है.
भाई बहुत दूर गई है.
So will the fans now call it special chappies?
Could you like to react on that joke?
क्या बोलूं मैं अभी?
तू भी
Made a
निकल.
Bollywood joke.
मैं बस सोच रहा हूँ Sri only use 5 bowlers, so that means Hasaranga will have to bowl one more unless Shanaka balls.
Shanaka. Yes, Shanaka.
Aksar Surya are batting on a different pitch.
It
Other
is
batters
just-
playing on different pitch, particularly have great openers for.
I think it is about that Surya actually fit his time at the pitch.
Yeah.
And so did Akshar a bit.
Now they have nothing to lose, तो मार ही लो.
And also the ball is not swinging as much right now. So the काफी सारे factors होते हैं भाई.
I think Shubh was talking about this
Oh.
only, that the Indian opener should just see off the first 2 overs and then it will become easier wicket to bat on. Because Pune is known for, I mean, not just the underlights, but also the cross ventilation with the stands, right?
But having said that, both Ishan Kishan and Shubman Gill are not good players of moving ball. They are not really good in negotiating swing with defense as well. Gill, we all know that he has a problem with the incoming balls.
The answer to that question, that what is the issue with Indian batters, I think none of the Indian batters these days seem comfortable against the moving ball. चाहे वो पेसर से मूव करे, चाहे वो स्पिन से मूव करे.
हाँ, मतलब कुछ भी होता है.
सीधी आने दो.
सीधी आएगी तो ठीक है. Shot again, only once. अगर यहाँ पे इंडिया ने 2 विकेट कम खोए होते and the score was same, what do you think would have been India's
favorites? Now also India are favorites.
Hey,
Because
14 runs and over.
Dew is going to play a part.
But 14 runs and over is still too much, even if you have all 10 wickets in hand.
True, but Dew is going to play a factor. No, that's why I still feel that that's where India can win this.
So
if there's no, I mean, we've seen
Mavi
Dew
बचा है बस,
playing
right?
good
और तो कोई नहीं है.
यही तो बात है.
Last 30 balls, 73 runs. Nice. Karuna Ratne is bowling his last.
Shot.
भाई रुक
Shot.
यार.
13 off this over already.
भाई, the stroke play has been so good. First of all, I mean, छक्का जाए या ना जाए, that is वो सब बात की बात है. But the stroke play has been so pure from Akshar. 20 ball 50 भाई. Shanaka वाला हिसाब बराबर भाई.
Anirudh, too many questions. Fastest 50 by number 7 batter for India. Akshar Patel's fastest 50. Was that Hasaranga's most expensive over?
Shanaka batted at 6 or 7.
6, I
Shanaka
think.
at same position, right? 6 only.
7 was Hasaranga.
Yeah, 6 only. If Akshar had batted at 6, that would have been next. It's the first time 2 number 6 batters in T20 have scored. Unfortunately, there's one clear record that he doesn't have, which is the fastest half century for a left-hander, Indian left-hander, or for a left-hander.
Who? Yuvraj.
Yuvraj.
Actually, I did not get the
पूरा सवाल नहीं.
आंसर तो पता ही है भाई.
आंसर तो पता ही है. What is Akshar's batting impact today?
The golden bat is working.
Akshar's batting impact right now positive 22.4. Surya is positive 2.17.
Massive.
But Akshar also have the additional bowling points as well in this 40. In this
that's his match impact.
Yeah, this is his match impact.
Again, our lower order saves our pride. Our top order is useless as ever.
Yeah, I mean,
क्या करें स्टॉप ऑर्डर का, जिसको ट्राई करो कोई चलने को तैयार ही नहीं है.
सीधा नंबर 7 से स्टार्ट ना करे, जस्ट
बैटिंग ऑर्डर रिवर्स कर दो.
बैटिंग ऑर्डर लाइक ब्रैडमैन डिड.
बाय द वे कल ही था ना वो दिन.
कल ही था
वो दिन. We've written a piece on it. I mean, go check it out.
And Don Bradman finished the play on January 5 at 248 not out. On January 4th, which was yesterday, he finished the day's play at 56, then 248 not out today, and finally he got out for 270 on the next day, day 5. This match is still gone though, but again, but kudos to Akshar, he's showing intent. Yes, for
भाई
sure, and
68
also,
चाहिए भाई 5 में.
and also if the match goes close, I mean, it is still a good game to watch. It is still a memorable game to see. So why
Yeah.
not we winning of भाई मतलब एक बंदे ने कहा the match is gone, the second one is saying we winning with the fire emoji. भाई वो as I said, देश की आबादी भाई हर टाइप के ओपिनियन मिलेंगे.
सारे
There would be another comment after this saying tie. Who knows?
Arshdeep should
Arshdeep
open.
should
Yeah,
open.
why not?
What is the harm? अगर आउट भी हुआ क्या दिक्कत है?
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. वाइड है
और जो रन बने वो बोनस मिलेंगे अर्शदीप के बैट से.
Imagine if Arshdeep opens and he scores a 20 ball 40. That's it.
Sunil Narayan, our very own. Okay, this is a white.
So 2 overs from Madhushanka, 1 over from Rajita,
One
1
from
over from
Hasranga.
Tikshna, 1 from Hasranga. That Hasranga over again will be a very crucial. I think the last time Hasranga was hit properly in an entire game was against Australia.
ये
Six.
अलग ही पिकअप है भाई ये तो.
इसका अलग है पिकअप. हाँ. His pickup is more like a scoop. You're scooping the ball up, not pick up in the true definition of the word. सही है भाई.
50.
This is some match यार. यहाँ से जीत गए then it would be low key India England from 2017.
70. लोकी भी नहीं हुआ उस मैच में भी ऐसे ही हुआ था. इंडिया was 61 for 4.
Yeah, I mean
chasing
the
360.
players. हाँ ठीक है.
उसके बाद
सूर्या का वो औहदा हो चुका है जो कोहली का थोड़ा उस वनडे टीम में था.
और अक्षर पटेल भी केदार यादव से कम तो नहीं है. In that game, I think Kedar Yadav got a lot of cramps. फिर कोहली got dismissed and then Hardik came and finished off. I was at the long off boundary. वहीं छक्का मार के जिताया था हार्दिक ने. 61 of 29. अब तो भाई ये थोड़ा हालात जज्बात बदलते हुए दिख रहे हैं मुझे. 60 of 28.
Sri Lanka की भी go team में होगी इस time. Shanaka must be thinking same. Whatever the result, Akshar is making it hard for selectors to keep him out of the team even after Jadeja returns. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think even after Jadeja returns, the management will have to assess his fitness across formats. I mean, it's very difficult to, in this day and age, to expect a player to be playing all formats.
And IPL as well. All 14 games with Jadeja would be bounded to play. So.
Good that Akshar is batting well. With Pant not in the team, his batting in Border Gavaskar Trophy would be very essential.
Border Gavaskar Trophy के perspective से बोल रहा था.
हाँ भाई. तो भाई तो Delhi Capitals से आगे बढ़ ही नहीं पा रहा है अभी.
अलग मसले हैं हमारे. So this is a very different kind of wagon wheel for Surya Kumar because mostly his runs would be behind the wicket. This time he has scored a lot more in the covers and especially long off as well, which he does not. उसका long off percentage is less than 10.
दे रहा है दुरुस्त है. बताएं.
भाई, before that, this comment from Vikram Mohanty. Do you think Akshar will be
on mute? Yeah. Do you think Akshar will be kept out of the game after this match?
He's trying to win it for India.
Maybe.
So he's the first ever batter to score a 50 plus for India, batting at number 7.
Oh भाई.
Okay, 50 ही पहली है.
भाई ट्वीट करवा दिया ना ये.
हाँ भाई करवा रहा हूँ, वही कर रहा हूँ
भाई करवाओ. तुम्हारी जरूरत हमको वहाँ ज्यादा रहती है.
पता है गेम बहुत बोरिंग चल रहा था तो इसलिए वहाँ पे आ गया. अभी बना दिया गेम को, थोड़ा माहौल बनाया.
वक्त बदल
गया, बाजी बदल गया.
टाइम फॉर मावी ना, जितना खाया है उतना सूद समेत
अब देखें भाई,
बनाओ भी।
मावी द ऑलराउंडर भी देख लें आज।
So this is the highest stand, right, for sixth wicket. I think this is the highest stand for India.
So, Akash, do you think Sky stat padded today? Low and
I
touch
don't
knock.
Stat padded.
What
He
about the
rotated strike
participants?
and gave enough deliveries to Akshar, so it's not like.
Yeah, 91. This is the highest.
For sixth wicket for India ever?
Yeah.
So is the
Sixth or
next
lower.
one?
It actually tells a lot
The
about
next
our
one,
number 7
Hardik.
choices.
Hardik
Number
and
7
Kohli.
का कोई ढंग का
That
player मिला ही
Ahmedabad
नहीं.
one.
What was the
Hardik and
record
Kohli.
before, Anirudh?
I think Ahmedabad, Kohli and Hardik, right? That Mark Wood.
Oh,
Yeah,
last
was-
2021 it
But was Hardik batting at number 7?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think he was batting
Kohli and
six,
Hardik, yeah. Kohli and Hardik, 70.
Okay.
Okay, and what was the highest score by an Indian number 7?
High. So he's still batting, no?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
before this.
Before this.
Yeah,
Of course,
is it
that's what I
already
mean.
the highest? Is what we're. Yeah.
This is the highest. This is the first ever 50 by Indian number 7. So, what was
So
the
it
previous
has to be.
highest?
10,
Okay,
15, 20.
number 7 or lower, right? I'll tell you. Number 7 or lower before 44 by Jadeja against Australia in 2020.
Oh, it is that same match where Jadeja went out because of cramp
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then
Yuzvendra
played
Chahal.
him and
Chahal
Best
replaced
possible
him.
combination. Leg spinner who's a lefty and an all-rounder.
Oh,
And a batter.
and there is no other player like that actually if you look at it.
कोई नहीं है दूर दूर तक.
There are three leg spinners.
Maybe Rahul Tewatia, but that is why
there
Rahul
are
Tewatia is so unique.
Three leg spinners who are good with the bat: Shadab Khan, Hasranga, and Rashid Khan. All of them are righties. One guy who might be there, Ryan Bull. He's a left-handed batter and a leg spinner.
The Burley. And what about Hasaranga? The most expensive over for him ever?
Yes, this is the most expensive over. This is his most expensive over, 26 runs. Before it
What was the record
24.
before?
ये भी ट्वीट करा दिया क्या?
24. हाँ भाई बोल डाल दिया मैंने.
24.
Was the 24 against Australia?
Yeah. Marcus
Stoinis.
Yeah.
Stoinis.
If this
That was
game was
Shivam
played
Mavi bringing out
5 days back, both of his record would have come in the same year.
अबे क्या कर रहा है अबे?
ओहो.
Shivam Mavi bringing out his Kapil Dev with the bat. भाई पहली बॉल देख के लगा तो नहीं अभी ये. But hopefully. Also Kapil Dev's birthday tomorrow.
भाई
शायद यार रेमन का भी बर्थडे है.
हाँ.
गुरकीरत का भी बर्थडे है.
गुरकीरत का भी है. And who's the guy who played Mr. Bean?
Ron
Mr. Bean.
Atkinson, right?
Rowan
Okay.
Atkinson.
Yeah, he's
कौन सा वाला
also-
मिस्टर बीन मतलब एक्चुअल वाला है
या फिर वो
Actual वाला भाई, actual वाला.
Yeah, but उसका भी बर्थडे है कल. Yeah, so
I still
Actual
can't
वाला
believe what
Mr. Bean.
happened उस वाले गेम में और उस वाले पूरे
भाई वो
situation
बंदे ने कितना कॉन्फिडेंटली ट्वीट करा था, हम तुम्हें हराएंगे, तुम मानो या ना मानो.
तुमने हमें गलत हील दिया. अरे बाप रे. It will go down as one of the best anecdotes ever.
मतलब अपने आने वाली पुश्तों का जब बताएंगे वो मानेंगे नहीं, बट उन्हें मानना पड़ेगा. देख स्कोर कार्ड देख, ट्वीट भी देख उसका.
बट हो सकता है क्या ना उस टाइम तक जिम्बाब्वे might be dominating cricket and पाकिस्तान नहीं, तो फिर वो विश्वास कर लेंगे क्या चलती है. Who knows, of course.
And then 20 years later, somebody will write on this day.
On this day, yeah.
Always
On this
cricket.
day. A bean who changed
क्या
the game.
पता हम ही लिख रहे हो.
Yellow shirt. भाई अनिरुद्ध नाम है उसका. We should be having
Yellow
name tag.
shirt.
Yeah.
The boy who was in the box has come here. Come here with luck. Why are you going? Oh, अच्छा. Oh, actually, he has a point. You were lucky.
Oh, not out.
कितना टाइम लग गया उनको इनको ये डिसीजन फाइनल करने में?
भाई वो देख ही
आगे
रहा है
बढ़
किस
गया
बात में
यार.
विकेट उठाया उसने.
ये तो वही जानता
Now
है.
he's going to play the helicopter scene.
Pranam, I am saying we deserve at least one no ball. मैं पहले
भाई एक तो बनता है.
मैंने उसको पढ़ा we deserve at least one no ball.
One noble. Guys,
हमको भी नोबेल प्राइज मिलना चाहिए ये पेशेंस दिखाने के लिए. Is there a Nobel Prize for patience?
पुजारा might have won it then. Oh, भाई बॉल की लाइन में तो आया यार, क्या घुमा रहा है.
ले भाई वही सिराज वाला सीन हो गया.
भाई who's a better batter, मवी या फिर नवदीप सैनी?
मवी,
What a question.
ऑब्वियसली
Seni.
मवी. मवी है
Navdeep
भाई.
Seni.
सैनी bro.
Navdeep Seni has a 50.
वो in England.
No,
न्यूजीलैंड.
New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Okay.
When a top order could not score combined 50, Navdeep Seni stood tall.
Stood tall.
Cannot insult.
Literally.
अगर
Hey, it's Harry Potter. OMG.
बहुत देर हो गई, बहुत देर लग गई तुमको रियलाइज करने में.
वैसे कब से बैठा हुआ है यार बंदा अपना.
कितना और बचा
तो
है?
अगर इतना लंबा टेल खिला के भी 200 रन पड़वाए तुमने, तो मतलब सोचो कितना लंबा मचाया होगा.
I just want Akshay to bat through. इंडिया जीते या नहीं अब.
पर अब से सारे कोटे के रन इसी मैच में बना लिए तो
उन चीजों का तो कुछ नहीं कर
Sushant
सकते.
saying Saini is better than Mavi.
So 3 people here have said that Saini is better than Mavi. So Saini is officially a better than Mavi.
Majority
I
wins.
would like to ask Akash. Akash, who is a better batsman, Saini or Mohammad Wasim?
Mohammad Wasim.
Mohammad
Who has a
Wasim,
test
yes.
half century? Who has a
Dude,
half
take the
test half
5th
century?
century's opinion.
Scored a half century, right? Or 42? What did he score?
43.
Yeah, that's a half century for me.
Chell is the
record book
best
will say
batter.
that.
He teaches main batters to hit sixes. Yeah, of course, he has more T20I runs than Don Bradman, Gary Sobers, Imran Khan, Kapil Dev, so of course. Viv Richards. So, I mean, the list is endless. Democracy wins, bro.
Not always, Sushant, not always.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, choka. That's
Mavi,
why
Mavi
Shiva
scored a
Mavi.
boundary as soon as we said that he's a worse better than Mohammad Wasim and Navdeep Saini.
Yeah,
He has just
Baburao,
shot.
I agree. Umesh Yadav is actually a very good batter.
Yeah. I think even Shami is quite
Shami is good. Yeah, even Shami is good. I mean, like a good proper hitter, not like Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
At least they have more intent
good.
than KL
Bhuvneshwar Kumar is
Rahul.
a very good
This
red
batter.
ball batter.
Yeah, very good red ball batter. The whole of 2018, he scored more runs than
Why
anybody else. I guess
he
no,
has a 50 at
2014.
Lords.
2014.
कितने legends की नहीं है पता है तुमको?
भाई
Lara
पूरा
Ponting.
2014 whole of 2014, I guess he was the second or third highest run getter for India.
Yeah, and that game against 2 games against Sri Lanka, one with Dhoni, one with Deepak Chahar,
Yeah.
which Bhuvi has won. That both are by white ball games. Yeah, so Shami Bumrah combo in Lord's Test, of course. When England got carried away with fast,
Still
with
can't
short
believe that a
balls.
player as experienced as Anderson can opt for those tactics. He can keep his ego above the match result. And Joe
वो सब तो ठीक है, 50 ओवर में ऑल आउट कौन होता है?
that too then. वाशी जी कुछ बोलने आए हैं. क्या ही बोला होगा कि भाई
ये बोला होगा कि भाई जिता देना, नहीं तो मैं खेलूं अगली मैच में कई जगह तुम्हारी मैं खेलूं.
पांड्या ने क्या ज्ञान दिया होगा यहाँ पे.
और what if he is saying
situation is simple, मारो बस, लगा तो लगा वरना आउट, क्योंकि मैच तो पहले ही हार चुके थे बहुत.
no, what if he is saying ये सब मैं कर लेता हूँ, ड्रीम 11 पे टीम बनाओ.
cricket.com का क्रिक लेटेक्स विन प्रेडिक्टर देख के Mavi heard you guys went and decided to play a boundary silent listening. This is how we create a positive impact in the society.
Oh, very good bowling. I think Akshar not getting the strike has also like sort of derailed this momentum.
Bold.
Akash, so anything you have thought about writing an analysis on this game?
Akshar
What are the
Patel.
pointers? We can discuss it right here. Live discussion so that we can take input from our audience as well. That
Wow.
what would you like to
After that
read?
day. Yeah, comment what you would like to read. We won't write that. Don't worry.
अरे यार सिंगल तो ले ले यार, डॉट बॉल मत खेल. Anirudh, how many did Sri Lanka score in their last 5 overs with the bat?
71.
71. Akshar can't hit back off length balls. Don't know.
Sorry,
Sri Lanka
77,
bowlers
not
know
71. 77.
77. एक छक्का और ऐड उसमें. Akshar's game against back of a length balls. Any opinion? I've not seen him struggle at all.
ओ भाई,
भाई ये तो
ओ भाई, तो बॉम्बे में
Oh,
नहीं
ho,
है।
ho, 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 ho.
पुणे में दूसरा
On
venue
your
कौन सा?
face,
नेहरू
everybody,
स्टेडियम,
on
right?
your
वहाँ
face.
वहाँ पहुंचा दी.
I remember Mavi hitting 2 sixes against CSK in the IPL final.
On your
after
face,
the game was
everybody.
done.
Of course you.
After the game. That's what. After the game was done.
After the game was done. Oh, what is that?
Mavi is doing
Over
Kapil Dev.
sixes.
चलो ठीक है, मावी once again turning into that player जो आईपीएल टीम के लिए नहीं परफॉर्म करता, इंडिया के लिए परफॉर्म करता.
6 और मार दे यार इन 2 balls में से. And 37 of 2 overs would be pretty tight.
Shot! Like this.
On your face.
By
On
the
your face.
better than both Saini and Mohammad Wasim. This has been
and
clear
Shami and धीरे धीरे उमेश यादव को भी
now.
pick
Shami,
कर रहे
Umesh, Bumrah, all of them collectively.
हैं.
Mavi बहुत cute. यही कहना.
भाई साहब,
Should have said Mavi बहुत hard. On your face, yeah.
मुझे वो गोलमाल के डायलॉग याद आ रहे हैं. पहले मैच में बॉलिंग से दिल जीत रहा, दूसरे में बैटिंग से.
गोलमाल कब था भाई ये?
अरे पहली मैच छोकरी ले गया, दूसरी में नौकरी.
अच्छा, that way.
ले भाई, on your face once more.
भाई मैंने एक छक्का मारा था, इसमें से 2 छक्के और 1 चौका मारा.
भाई अपने स्टैटिस्टिशियन के
भाई.
ऊपर थोड़ा भरोसा रखो यार.
Mavi should open now. I agree. More
रिवर्स
intent
कर दो
than-
भाई, बैटिंग ऑर्डर को ही रिवर्स कर दो. मैं बता रहा हूँ भाई, वही सही है.
Mavi more intent than Rohit, Kohli and KL Rahul combined.
In the last 2 years.
अजीत
Last two years.
अगरकर की बैटिंग याद आ गई यार मेरे को इसको देख के.
Ajit Agarkar would be a very hard name to pronounce for the Bengalis because they pronounce A as O. It would be like a tongue twister
Ajit
for
Agarkar.
Ajit Agarkar.
अभी वास्तव सुन रहा होगा, हमको तो गालियां देगा.
अरे वास्तव को once I said
शौनक तो सुन ही रहा है.
शौनक तो सुन ही रहे भाई यार. वास्तव को once I said something in Bengali and his reply was भाई मैं बंगाली नहीं ओडिया हूँ. मैंने कहा ठीक है भाई, offense मत लो. 33 of 12 अक्षर on strike.
वो कौन है? जैक था क्या?
हर्षल क्या भाग रहा है भाई.
बहुत खुश लग रहा है हर्षल.
अच्छा ये मैच नहीं खेला मैं. और करियर और डाउन हो जाता.
यहाँ तो हर्षदीप ने भी रन खाए हैं.
Oh, not a wide.
होना चाहिए.
Given wide by Nitin Menon.
टफ.
चलो भाई, तुम्हें भी छड़ गया मतलब.
12 में 32.
So from this point, if just imagine you see Shivam Mavi playing in India's first T20 World Cup game in West Indies, what are your
No ball.
thoughts about?
भाई नो बॉल था भाई, नो बॉल है भाई. पिच के बाहर गिरा है वो.
सलाम लगा है.
एक ही आएगा।
कोई बात नहीं भाई, बेस्ट बैटर तो स्ट्राइक में आएगा अभी।
अभी तो एक भी लोगे तो भी चलेगा।
हाँ, बेस्ट बैटर तो
So
स्ट्राइक में आ
basically,
जाएगा तो।
boundary of the first ball, right?
Hmm.
4 runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these shots were pretty good, yaar. I love that boundary of this shot.
Hmm.
This had a Dhoni-like finish to it.
I was thinking more Hardik. It looked like Hardik Pandya shot.
Why, you know who will be the most happiest person? Ian Bishop.
Because
He's the
Finally,
fanboy of
everybody
that
will remember
2018
He's a
his name.
fanboy of
2019
Kamle.
World Cup match.
He's a fanboy of Nagarkoti and Shivam Mavi.
And Shuman.
That's
Yeah,
what
Shubman Gill and Shaw as
finally
well.
everybody will remember Mavi's name without saying.
Who will be the saddest person for that?
2018 से भाई पूरा फैंटेसाइज कर रहा है कि हाँ शिवम मावी,
Saddest
शिवम
Venky
मावी,
Mysore?
Exactly.
कि छोड़ा और भाई ने परफॉर्म करना शुरू किया। और लिया कौन है? शार्दुल ठाकुर, जिसको मावी ने इंडिया की टीम में रिप्लेस करा। मारने वाली बॉल थी यार। 2 When Ashwin said they were worried about social media reaction, I still had doubt, but now that Mavi has upped his game after getting compared with Sani here, I totally believe. भाई मतलब इससे ज्यादा instant success तुम्हें कहीं नहीं मिलेगी, so do follow and subscribe cricket.com. You will keep getting this kind of stuff because both Akash and I are kind of serial jinxers. An excellent example of this was when in the morning I tweeted that Keshav Maharaj in this series 66 overs, none for 247.
और बस
Next ball he picked a wicket. मैंने कहा भाई बोलते ही अगली बॉल पे कैसे? So yeah.
सबको टाइम की चिंता हो रही है because I think they are
Because of
well
the no
past.
balls bowled by India.
The game is already 3.5 hours old.
भाई अगर ये IPL गेम होता ना, this would have been the 12th over in the second innings. Okay, वो तो चलता है 4-4.5 घंटा.
KKR have converted bowlers into batters more than batters into bowlers. Thinking of it, Pat Cummins, Shivam
Narayan.
Mavi, Sunil Narayan, Umesh Yadav now. I mean, Umesh Yadav is already bona fide batter.
But the one batter they have converted into a bowler is Nitish Rana.
Shot, yes.
4 runs. भाई किस last में?
So 21 of last, right? Last over. Asaranga to bowl or Shanaka?
Okay, this is
I
very
think Asaranga.
easy. But yeah, Asaranga.
I think Shanaka will bowl. He has a
But
tendency
first
to
over of the match, straight into the
He
last
has a
over.
But he has a tendency to bowl last overs. He's bowled it in the past.
On last over is fine, but only the last over of the innings. That is quite tricky.
See, that's the risk is if Mavi takes a single, you expose Hasaranga against Akshar Patel. So it's like a.
But since Hasaranga is a better bowler, in any case, I would back Hasaranga to just find his way through.
Isn't playing spin easier? Has it like playing spin easier on
Okay,
this wicket?
forget it. It's
Shanaka.
Shanaka. He's
Yes.
warming himself up right under the eye line of the two Indian batters.
And Anirudh, if you're listening us, please just check your WhatsApp.
His economy is 8.1. Sri Lanka will take it if he even if he goes twice the amount of that. Shanaka bowling.
Anirudh, where are you?
He has an economy of.
Was this ball in the slot or it was a full slot, right?
slot.
अगर सीधा खेलता तो it could have been dispatched for a boundary as well, but ठीक है.
Yeah, just give me a moment. Crucial juncture.
So 20 of 5 now.
The last 5 overs, he has an economy of 10.4, which is not, it's terrible, but still
But
better than
if
most.
given what should be your realistic expectations from Shanaka, it is fine. You can manage with that, right?
Yeah, yeah. How much can a
थोड़ा
man do?
नहीं
He
हुआ
can't be a
ज्यादा.
finisher with the ball, finisher with the bat. Stage
Okay,
set
I
for him
bet
to
this
be the.
ball is going for a 6. This or the next one.
I think Shanaka will win
Let's
the
see.
match
Let's see.
for Sri Lanka.
Sorry, what?
I think Shanaka will win the match for Sri Lanka. He'll get a wicket.
आज शानका का दिन है.
अबे यार, I almost thought जो मैंने कहा था छक्का जाएगा, that has happened.
But what a knock.
If Virat Kohli was batting or if he was in the field, he would have converted this into a no ball. Too many dicks for a
Wait,
day.
Akshat got out?
Yeah, caught at long off.
What's. So, true. 1 wicket.
Hey, check for the no ball at least, man. They're checking.
It's
I
not an
think
over.
fair है. Fair ball.
Yeah, yeah.
इस एंगल से तो
But
समझ में आ
stranger
जाएगा.
things have happened.
Not a no ball. Could have placed it in the gap. He was looking for a 6. He could have placed it in the gap and got an easy boundary, 4 runs.
या फिर प्रॉपर टाइम करता तो निकल ही जाती.
यही होता है यार. The batter sometimes try to hit the ball too hard, and in the process, when the ball is actually there to be hit, they miss out on that.
But I mean, it was just a matter of little connection. No? If he had got little better connection, it would have gone. So the process, I mean, the idea was not bad.
But top
Just he
knock.
couldn't get the.
Match बना दिया भाई. Otherwise, this was turning into a boring one-sided game.
Crowd के थोड़े बहुत पैसे तो
Exactly
वसूल
the
हुए.
opposite of the first game, no? There,
Huh?
Sri Lanka made a match out of.
Nowhere in the last game, and
so
now
game 5 officially over now. 17 needed of 2. उमरान, so मतलब basically अर्शदीप और चहल की बैटिंग में बिल्कुल भरोसा ही नहीं है मैनेजमेंट को.
Silverwood, why
Silverwood
does he
उदास
look
लग
like
रहा है
he's
यार.
losing?
I think Silverwood अब तभी खुश होगा जब श्रीलंका इंग्लैंड को हराएगी.
Okay, it's done.
So guys, what was, I mean, where did India lose the game?
Okay, the couple of points. First of all, with the bat, it was the start. But before that, they had lost Arshadip's first over, actually, I feel. The number of no balls that he bowled, he actually gave the Sri Lankan batters a head start.
But was it the first over or overall? Because I mean,
Overall,
even
Arshdeep,
in the
yes.
19th over as well, there were too
You can
many
say
no
that.
balls for
But
the
yeah.
for that particular over. I mean, a really off day for him. Mavi also did not have a very good day with the ball. Essentially, I think India lost the game with the ball itself.
With the ball itself.
Because a team with.
But yeah, it was. I think it was Arshdeep's first over which set the rhythm for the Sri Lankan team.
And credit where is due, Sri Lanka actually bowled really well with the new ball. The ball was they moved it around.
That power play was the difference actually, and we keep talking about it.
Yeah.
People keep looking at the depth, but power play actually creates such a massive gap sometimes that the game is done and
exactly.
there
Actually,
itself.
India lost both the power plays, the batting and the bowling power play, and this is where the game got over. But having said that, I mean, I did not think that India will come this close after they lost those.
It was just the brilliance of Akshar Patel that brought India this close.
Yeah, I just hope
made this a watchable
they
game.
persist with Rahul Tripathi here as well, and probably for the New Zealand series as well, because I mean,
he's a talent, man, and just the way he started.
Yeah, I mean, busy with intent.
Either he will get out or he will give you runs. He won't waste the ball. So
yeah, Akshar once again showing that how good a hitter he is against spin. So that's a positive.
So
Sky doing Sky things.
unlike the last game, this game has more positives than the last game, I guess, because Shivam Mavi also showed that yes,
Yeah, he can bat.
He can bat. He can whack the ball.
Yeah.
He can make space and he can whack the ball. But
So would
do
you
you
call him
remember any
all-rounder?
positives for India in the last game?
None whatsoever.
But
I
today
mean,
there are at
in my
least
opinion,
one or two.
trying to make a finisher out of Deepak Hooda is not a positive. It's just cluttering the team even further.
You're just creating more options for yourself, only
Yeah.
to pick the wrong candidate in the end, which India have done a lot of times.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
think
Akash.
from last game, India had a good, big positive, that was Hardik's bowling in the power play, because that's something we have not seen, right? Him getting so much swing. So that's a big positive. That continued till this game as well. I mean, he was very good in the power play. At
Yeah,
least
that's a
this
good point.
overs, he didn't give a lot.
Yeah, and actually, if Hardik does that in power play, that sort of frees up Bumrah to be used at the death. Cool.
And
I
even
think,
Ashdeep.
That's it for the day. Stumps.
Stumps.
It was a T20 game, but we
decider.
saw
I mean,
stumps
all set for the decider now.
in Rajkot. And Rajkot will offer a good pitch again if it is
probably
another
high
high scoring
yeah.
game, and India keep
But
making
it'll be a
mistakes with the
one-sided
ball.
game.
We will have another close game.
Looking forward to have India bat first, actually.
Yeah.
It'll be a one-sided game. India will win.
Yeah, sure.
He
why
has
not?
said it, and now when India will lose that game, we can play
ये
this
clip
clip.
cut करेंगे हम.
No.
मिल
I
गया
said no,
हमें
Shanaka.
content भाई.
I said no, Shanaka will bowl. He'll win the game. See, Shanaka bowled.
ठीक.
But that was
So
still
it
an easy prediction.
Cool. I mean, thanks Akash for joining us. Thanks Shubh, Hardik, Anirudh.
Will you thank
Sanket.
yourself as well?
Thankless job hai. Yeah, and everyone who's watching.
Also, thanks
who
to the
watched us.
17 people who are with us right now, and also to those who commented and are not and they left the stream midway. But thank you for your lovely comments and
do
giving us
subscribe to
more
the channel,
things to
like
talk
this
about.
video, comment on it, share it with your friends.
And hope you have the app already and you keep checking it.
And you can keep asking us questions. We have all the stats in the world, or even opinions as well. I mean, opinion ही दे रहे हैं हम यहाँ पे बैठे बैठे. So thanks everyone. Have a good night. See you on Saturday. Shaunak,
Cut it.
let's have dinner now.
उसने time